Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
Well, what's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. You already know what it is. We're back with another one of them things. You already know what it is, man. We got to discuss a whole lot of Liangelo Ball right now. There's a lot going on because Liangelo Ball is in the Drew League. We all know, but the Drew League is receiving a serious influx of NBA top talent, and I'm talking top of the top, top tier. So that's something that we must look out for. We obviously know with LeBron James when he electrified the whole entire building in the basketball world. People are still coming off the heels of that. You had Trae Young out there electrifying the world as Oh, my fault. I'm having some connection issues on my other end, but Liangelo Ball. Nah, yeah, I'm good now. Liangelo Ball, with he could really benefit off this influx of NBA talent that's rolling in right now because I want Jello to either face off against guys like Paul George and Trae Young and these guys, or either team up with them. I think that would be very beneficial for Liangelo Ball. And that's just gonna eventually get this guy to the NBA a lot sooner than expected. In my humble opinion. Let me know if y'all can hear me now, because I lost audio. I had to switch things up. Let me know if we straight. Um, but Liangelo Ball, this is a serious encounter right now here at the Drew League right now. It's starting to become bigger and bigger and bigger. And when you have Liangelo coming off the heels of putting up the points that he just scored previously, it's definitely going to work out for him. Shout out Thunder. He's a PG-13, my favorite shooting guard. So there you go. See, I think that's a guy who he's just going to continue to heighten the level of play in the Drew League. The Drew League will continue to be just, a dominant situation as it's becoming like the top pro-am league in the world. There's no pro-am league that's better than the Drew League right now. I think everybody can honestly say that, with a straight face, and Liangelo is soaking up all of it right now and just benefiting. It won't be long before the NBA is calling. And that's either Drew League, and pardon me, that's either the Greensboro Swarm or the Charlotte Hornets. Jello this is a summer to remember. I'm telling you, all of these events that we have seen from Liangelo Ball, from the training videos to what he's doing in game, even some of the adversity, the adverse situations that Jello has had to endure throughout this time. All of these things will be beneficial to him in the long run. Everything, all the roadblocks that he's overcoming right now. Liangelo Ball, his journey, I'm telling you, when it's all said and done, is going to be truly commendable for the way this guy persevered and strived to get to the position that he's at right now. Just alone right now, he's defying so many odds. so many obstacles. Nobody even expected him to be this close, and I'm telling you, he's on the brink of being officially on the NBA roster. We all know what's going on. Shout out CWE. He said Simmons in the gym. I'm excited that he's working out. That's facts. Who knows? Could he be coming to the Drew League? I think right now when you got these superstars coming in, it's right now it's to the point is who's next. And I hope that it's not just a showcase for them to come here and just put up 50 points and call it a day. We want them facing off against players like Liangelo, players with serious aspirations of getting to the NBA. Because just hear me out for 1 second. Could you imagine if Jello puts up 20 plus against a Paul George? You understand where I'm coming from with this? Or even just puts up comparable numbers. It don't even got to be nothing crazy on the points, but being efficient. Just looking like an NBA talent playing against an NBA talent. That's something that can only be shown d- being visualized on the court. There's no way you could teach this. There's no way anything. Jello got to actually get out there against these players. And I'm telling you, Paul George is the type of player that Liangelo Ball could, seriously benefit if he was to put up some major numbers against this guy. Paul George, we all know what he's doing with the Los Angeles Clippers. He will be in the Drew League. I don't know exactly what day. They haven't released the schedule yet. When they do release the schedule, we will be bringing that to you. We will bring that information. But I mean, until then, we will keep you in tune. So stay tuned to Flight Sports and all things Drew League and what's going on. Right now, what we're discussing is the Paul George situation and who else might come. We never know because they had. You remember they had Trey Young and then John Collins joined them. Who the hell knows who's going to join Paul George? Could Kawhi Leonard be there? Don't be surprised if you see some of these players that's recovering from injuries, just really trying to get out there and really get some game in, even though they could get game in anywhere. But expect with the NBA being involved for these players to really seriously utilize the Drew League as a serious avenue to get them and accomplish everybody to accomplish what they need. Everybody's needs are different. These NBA players, Paul George could benefit coming to the Drew League. Definitely getting his confidence up, an LA product. That they're gonna go crazy for Paul George. And will it be LeBron James level? Absolutely not. But it's definitely gonna draw waves. He's definitely a major star. He hasn't been there in Lord knows when. So this is good. I hope that is a situation that Liangelo could play against Paul George. I want to know your thoughts right now. If Liangelo was to face off against a Paul George in the Drew League, how would you think that would fare? How would his team fare? We all know the team BBB has had some ups and has some downs, but it's just something that would be good for him. The Jello would benefit. Y'all gotta really seriously consider what I'm saying right now. Liangelo Ball needs to face off players like Paul George in the Drew League. This is the talent that we want to see. I think NBA scouts would seriously take anything that he does against a top tier talent, and it'd be very considerable. Imagine if this guy G3 was put up like 18, but five, something crazy like that, against a LeBron James. You telling me NBA scouts ain't looking at that? Imagine if he faces off Paul George and he puts up NBA quality numbers. It's all about separating yourself from the pack. Liangelo Ball is one of those players right now in the Drew League that is separating himself from the pack. I think that's seriously where I'm going with this. Y'all let me know your thoughts on this as well. Is Liangelo Ball separating himself from the pack in the Drew League? Because like I said, it's the more and more as the talent ups, he's gonna have to separate himself furthermore. So it's only really the beginning. And I trust LeVar Ball. I think this guy's gonna be able to put Liangelo in the right situations to win. I see all of these superstars going to play on these other teams. I hope that they play for Team BBB as well. I hope there's a situation where they get a superstar. Obviously, who knows if LeBron will return, but it would have been nice to see LeBron return to the Drew League and play on Team BBB, and play with Liangelo. Could you imagine that? We need to see things like that. We don't know what team Paul George is going to be on. What if it's announced that he's on Team BBB? I'm not saying that's likely, But I'm just saying, you never know. So do everybody just need to keep their antennas up, because Liangelo Ball could benefit either way. So y'all be on the lookout. Somebody says I predict 16. Oh, y'all talking about my man Ben Simmons. Shout out Thunder. He said OKC George was an MVP convo, so PG 13, PG 24. Yeah, you're right about that. OKC Paul George was a serious problem. He put up big numbers. I like Indiana Paul George out of all of them. Paul George is definitely a player who definitely is a Robin. He proven that he's not a Batman. He didn't really get it done as the number one option. He had a lot of, and it's not all his fault. He had injuries, a lot of things that derailed him, but nonetheless, this guy is where he's at with the Los Angeles Clippers, backed up with my man Kawhi Leonard. So when you got a 1A like that, I mean, there's not much this guy got to do. They just got to get the other teammates involved, and the Clippers will be just fine. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the Clippers, too, because this is a big year. You got superstars coming into the Drew, and Paul George ain't coming in here just to, shake hands. He will be looking to dominate the competition and whoever the hell is in front of him. So I think it would be very electrifying. I just hope that Liangelo was playing either with him or against him. If they face off against Paul George, this is major. I hope that's in the cards where Team BBB could face off against some of these players, man, because we don't want to see, Team BBB facing off just regular competition when you got the influx of NBA talent rolling there. Why don't you pair them up with one of the hottest teams in the Drew League that everybody really coming to see? I don't know if they holding that out, for later on down the line, because it is business. Basketball is a business, so that'd definitely be very entertaining to see what they do, But nonetheless, I got Liangelo Ball doing this thing. Shout out my man Ted TV. Everybody go subscribe to my man Ted TV. Definitely holding it down. Y'all let me know what's your thoughts. What would Liangelo Ball do? What would Liangelo Ball do if he faced off against some of these top tier NBA talents? Would he be successful, or would it be, what y'all think? Would it be hard for him? Would it give him some trouble, or would it be very beneficial? I'm with the belief that it would be very beneficial for Liangelo Ball to face off against these guys. And let me know who else y'all think could possibly be joining the Drew League. Who else could be joining? Because the Drew League could be very it could be crazy if we get some more players. What if an Anthony Davis came to the Drew? Players like Zion Williamson. I know his injuries, but imagine Brandon Ingram. I think these are just perfect Drew League players. This is almost like becoming like, I ain't gonna say Rucker Park, but it's definitely something crazy where superstars are really taking this thing to a new level. They're not sending the B level players, and I think that's something to be commended, and hopefully, Liangelo Ball could benefit. I think it'd be a true disservice if we can't get Jello facing off against some of these NBA players, or either teaming up with some of these NBA players, because that could be something that truly gets him into the NBA. Imagine if he faced off with Paul George, if he had Paul George with him on the same team, and they established some chemistry. We heard LeVar Ball talk about the Los Angeles Clippers, and in the previous times he stated that on a few interviews, like, hey man, my boys could go to the Los Angeles Clippers. So I think that's something to monitor. Liangelo Ball, facing off against these players and catapulting him to the NBA. Don't think for 1 second that Liangelo Ball is not an NBA talent. All the work that he's done will, show and prove. And I want to appreciate all y'all that's even rocking with Liangelo, because this is a guy that you need to get behind, because this is a guy that's worth getting behind. Because when it's all said and done, when he finally graces the NBA stage, I think it's going to be a true triumph due to all the obstacles that they had to do. I don't think people are taking into totality, the events that even took Liangelo Ball to get to the point that he's at now. Everybody's so hell bent on the NBA. Oh, he got to get to Charlotte. He got to get on the two-way. He got to get. I mean, sometimes we need to appreciate the right now. Does Liangelo Ball need to work on things? Absolutely. Does he need to get better defensively? Absolutely. There's a lot of things Jello could do from right now to the time where his next game until when he reporting to camp, whether that's wherever, in Charlotte, Greensboro, wherever, is a lot of time that Liangelo Ball has, to get him to the next level. And if he continues, I'm telling you now, if you just keep knocking on the door, eventually you're going to kick the goddamn door open. And that's what Liangelo Ball is doing, with his journey to the NBA. He just continues to knock at it, continues to knock at it. You got a lot of NBA scouts and organizations are seeing this, and it's not just, oh, it's LaMelo's, Lonzo, that's my brother. Liangelo Ball could truly help a franchise, and I think people are slowly starting to see that. Unfortunately, they slowly starting to see that. But we need people to accelerate their thought process on Liangelo Ball because you're truly going to get left in the dust down here. I'm expecting Liangelo Ball to continue what he did in his next game. Catapulting the Team BBB hopefully to a win. They have not had the best success team wise. This Drew League situation has obviously been an up and down situation, but I mean, it is what it is. You just got to keep pushing. And, individually, Liangelo Ball is separating himself from the pack. He's definitely looking like the best player on his team. You could control what you can control, and he's definitely putting up buckets against the opposition, so we just got to continue to sustain what he's doing. Leading into camp, you need to finish the Drew League strong because everybody's watching. Don't think for 1 second that people got tunnel vision out here with the Drew League. There's too many eyes, there's too many antennas out here, and Liangelo Ball has to take advantage of this moment. He understands that this is a serious moment. That's why all the work is being done. I just like how everything is just carrying over. It's no stoppage in play when we discussing Liangelo Ball. It's not like he's got weeks off and he's literally going from he was in Team BBB, going to the Summer League, immediately back at the Drew. Ain't no game until immediately after the Drew. Yeah, immediately after the Summer League, he's back at the Drew. So I think that's something to be commended. And I think after the Drew, he's immediately going to report to camp or go to train. He's immediately going to be training to getting ready for camp. You understand? So it's just going to be a complete, I think going into camp wherever he's at, Greensboro, Charlotte, I believe Liangelo will have himself in the best top tier basketball shape as possible. That's my true belief. And firing on all cylinders, offensively, defensively, passing, cutting, everything. Not to say that he's about to come out here and be a triple double threat, but able to help out in all avenues and fill up the stat sheet wherever the coach may need. You heard him say on numerous occasions, he just, he's going to let the game come to him. And I think that's what he's going to do. I don't think Jello does not the guy that's going to force things. The game just got to come to him. And if he's get put in the right situation, I expect all of that to come alive. Who's to say? Let's say it's a situation that Jello plays in the preseason with the Charlotte Hornets. What if he's established some chemistry with some of the active roster? We don't really know how this whole thing gonna shape out. You got a lot of people just already just casting aspersions, just spreading lies. We really don't know what's gonna be the outcome of this whole situation with Liangelo. For all we know, Liangelo Ball could be on his way to the NBA, and then we just sitting here, looking crazy. It's a plan in place. Because I tell you this right now, you mark my words, and I know there's a lot of people around here that believe this as well. If this guy get an opportunity to play on the same floor as LaMelo Ball, if for a half a second of a preseason game, you might as well get the paperwork signed out right now because I'm telling you. Not only is LaMelo Ball gonna be hunting Jello down and feeding him, Liangelo Ball is gonna punch his ticket. He gonna understand what's at stake if he get that opportunity. Do not put Jello and Melo on the same floor, for the preseason for whatever, especially in some type of NBA sanction. Oh, it's over. I think that's what the doctor is ordering. And I don't know why we haven't seen that just yet. Hopefully during the preseason, because you never know how these rosters shake out. Liangelo Ball, for all we know, he could be on that preseason roster. And let's hope that, he continues to work to get to that point, because the Hornets ain't going to give him nothing, as you can see. It don't seem like they're giving handouts over there. Liangelo Ball got to take something. So, let's see if Liangelo Ball could go up here and take this opportunity, so he could finally get on the floor with the active roster. Imagine him playing with a Terry Rozier, playing with some of these guys, a PJ Washington. These are the players that's on the active roster. So I think he need to establish some chemistry, show a new coach, Steve Clifford. He know Jello, but I mean, he's a new coach. Hopefully he's coming in open-minded. So I think this guy Liangelo Ball could seriously benefit if we got an open-minded head coach rolling in here. This guy's gonna be able to do his thing. You know, um, so y'all let me know what y'all think about that. What's the chances of Jello possibly even gracing a preseason situation? I think that's something to look out for. But he's got to do it himself. Jello's got to definitely sharpen up the blades, on his games, just like every other player. Liangelo Ball is not exempt, just like nobody. LeBron James got things to work on. LaMelo Ball is actively working on things to sharpen his toolbox for next season. Lonzo Ball has things they have to work on, and none of them are exempt. I think we're very critical here with all of them. And the things that's needed to really get them to that next level. But Liangelo Ball is definitely on his way. He just got to continue to keep knocking at that door, and eventually the whole goddamn thing is gonna go open for him, man. That's what I truly believe for him. He's definitely got good representation, with Rock Nation. I like what's going on with that. They definitely putting him in a good situation. This is good to be in Charlotte, but let's hope eventually down the line, if they have to pivot, they could get this guy in a different situation. Josh Jackson says he could shoot the best of all of them. That's facts, and I think that's definitely been validated that this guy was the best shooter, out of all of them. I think everybody has acknowledged that. But some people may argue that now because you see the Lonzo Ball up in his 3-point percentage and vice versa to all the other counterparts. But I mean, it was definitely it's definitely good. You just got to keep going. Jello is definitely probably the best, maybe pure shooter. I think he was like a born shooter. I think obviously Melo could shoot. He could shoot from goddamn maybe a low the half court if he wanted to. But Melo is like an all world scorer. Definitely a complete all around player, a elite playmaker. We all know that. I think obviously Melo. I think they all could work on their defense. Obviously, Lonzo Ball is an all-world defender. I think this guy can definitely make a first or a second. And I think that's something that Liangelo Ball has to improve on. Definitely, just on-ball defense, and then just stand in front of the defender. And if it doesn't work out individually, that's up to the coach to put players like Liangelo in the right situations, in the team. Because there's a lot of teams, there's a lot of players on these teams that are not elite defenders. Let's be real. It's not a lot of Ron Artest out there anymore. We obviously know Marcus Smart is out there defending like his life is on the line. But for the most part, it's some good team defense, and that's something that Liangelo's gonna have to get put in. So you're gonna have to get trusted. But I want to see a situation where he can get that opportunity to play with the actual roster, and we could actually see that live. But one thing that will help him with that is him going off against some of these players. If he can go off against the players like that influx of NBA talent that's rolling in, like the PG-13s and these players like that. Let's see if Trey Young comes back. I want to see him go against them. That's the opportunity, and I hope that's in the cards, man. Because we see what's going on. I didn't like the situation where the Team BBB was the first game. We need a prime time game. Definitely it needs to be star studded. That's how it needs to be rolled out. That's how we want to see it. Shout out Josh Jackson. He says Jello already has NBA ready skill set. He just needs consistent minutes. That's major. Sauce Buzz 33 says Jello also played against LeBron in an open run in UCLA when he was in college for a brief time. That's facts. Ted says, "Amen. His journey should be saluted. Once he get in, he will be rewarded for the road he got in. Trust. Now that's a major key, Ted." Marv, shout out Marvin, shout out Basil. Salute to all y'all that's in the chat that pulled up with us tonight. We appreciate you. We can't do it without the people. But this is gonna be a epic, off season that's continuing for Liangelo. For all of them really, but obviously Liangelo Ball has active games going on right now. That's why it's so much to touch on with him. Because he's got a lot going on. It seems like he just dominates the summer. We want Liangelo Ball dominating all year long. Hopefully this is a catapult situation to get him to the league. That's what everybody truly wants. And I think the NBA knows that, just from a business standpoint, Liangelo Ball has to get into the NBA. I think he got to just, do his part. And I think that's what he's doing. And Charlotte is just, leaving no stone unturned, So I think eventually if they do give Jello that opportunity, it's not going to be a situation where people say, oh, they just threw him on the roster because that's his brother. People are gonna be able to really sit back and say, "Yo, this guy Liangelo Ball went through hell, to get on this roster." People are gonna have to acknowledge that. That's just number one. You can't say this has been a handout. He just been handed situations. Because we all are upset about the way he's being utilized, the minutes that he's playing. We obviously know he could bring more to the table, but with time, he definitely will do that. So you just got to be patient. We got to hope that, this guy's Suring camp has a plan for him. We got to hope that the front office in Charlotte truly, has something going on for him, to get him, to that situation, to the active roster. Because I don't think this is a situation where Liangelo just wants to sit in the Drew League, pardon me, sit in the G League, for an extended period of time. I think this is the time where Liangelo is looking to get called up. If he don't get called up, I think he'll be highly, highly upset. So it's just a matter of time. So everybody just be patient on Liangelo. You know, I truly believe that something special is gonna come down. For him. Something is gonna go down for Liangelo, man. I truly believe that. Uh, Jello also played against LeBron in the open run in UCLA when he was in college for a brief time. Yeah, I just gotta double check that. Maybe he did. I don't want to say that he did or he didn't. But we'll just have to double check it. Salute to y'all. Salute to Sauce Boss. He said, and it's crazy how he was a draft pick in the G League in the first round and not given chance. That's another argument. A lot of people are upset about that. They definitely. That's why I said it has to be some sort of plan, some sort of framework of something. For Jello, it has to be. Rave Kingdom, what's the deal?
What's going on, Fight Sports TV? The hottest in the streets, the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm just glad to talk about this right now. Um, I don't know everything else y'all fully covered, but I just do know, man. At the end of the day, Joe deserves the truest opportunities. He deserves everything that needs to come to him. I seen some news that there's teams that are interested in this guy Jello. Um, and I think we all this should come to surprise everybody. The New York, like seeing him in the New York Knicks or
No, it was rumored. It's rumored. I don't. It's not
right,
concrete. It was just some rumors. We don't know the validity of the rumors, but it was definitely a Sports Illustrated article. Discussing should the New York Knicks sign him or should the Miami Heat sign him. And I think Liangelo. And it's crazy that I stated that both of those teams are looming with a major trade could possibly be going down. So I think it's going to be some teams that need shooting. And I think Liangelo Ball could definitely provide that, but he just got to do what he has to do. Just control what you could control.
for sure. And another thing is, um, this man Jello. The beautiful thing about Jello is he fits in today's game. I think people don't understand that. They just act like he's just a guy that we're just talking about. He fits exactly with the NBA. The man clearly shown he can shoot the ball. Clearly shown he has no problem passing the ball. All of that. And I feel like those criteria that should fit the NBA as we speak. And it's just like, how does he not fit on no team? Like, I have a hard fit. I have a hard issue how that can't fit. They act like that can't fit. And for one, shout out to the chat. There's no way a chat can show me, like, there's so many bench players that, like right now. I know you have a bench player on the team right now, and you could easily remove on your team and be like, oh yeah, we definitely can plug in Jello on that. And if you say you can't, then you're lying. There's no way. Because you know there's a guy right now wasting a whole bunch of minutes. I mean, just wasting minutes. Like, Flight is just like, bro, come on.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, you got a valid point. Liangelo Ball definitely is an NBA player, man. So I don't like how he's definitely getting maneuvered all around like this. It's a true travesty. I think if a lot of obstacles, like even LeVar Ball stated a few things what he had to do, he had to make some pivots. I think if some of those, I think if he didn't have to make those pivots, I think Jello may have had a smoother transition. So I don't understand why, is being such a crazy thing when he was pretty much on his way. I believe he would have been drafted. I think obviously there's a lot of politics that's in play, unfortunately, and people know and people have voiced this situation, you know, um, but it's wild, that now that Jello has just, transformed himself, why he's not getting a fair shot out there and gracing that NBA stage, like he's truly supposed to, like he was on track too. I don't know if he would have been one and done. He probably wanted to, or that would have been on track. But let's say he stayed there and he waited for Melo to get there or something like that. I mean, who's to
Right.
say? You never know. You never know.
Unfortunately.
You never know. Everybody's journey is different.
And that part is facts. I feel like man, you don't know what can happen when a person goes to a certain place. So, there's so many examples of dudes like Jordan Clarkson. We got guys like I'm trying to think of so many names. I remember not Isaiah Thomas. Was Isaiah Thomas? No, he was on Celtics. I know there was a couple players. I can't think of too much off the top of my head that was there in the beginning, and it was like, oh, they was okay. They wasn't nothing exciting, and they transitioned to a different team and flamed out into this gigantic star, or if not a star, someone who improved to a maximum. So for example, Julius Randle, we saw the flashes on the Lakers, right? But at the same time, when he went to the New York Knicks, or I don't know if it's New York Knicks or Pelicans when it started to happen, this most improved stuff started to happen. He started showing a little bit that he could do a little bit more than what he was usually doing. So I feel like when it comes to Jello or even Melo at the same time, um, you never know when Jello goes to a different team, how good he's going to end up being. Melo, what if he decide he leaves? Let's say he leaves the Hornets. I know everybody wants him to be on the Hornets, right? But let's say he leaves. Man, we could possibly looking at an extra jump. You never know. And the thing is, that's the greatest thing because you have to take those risks. I think the big baller and the BBB they have no problem taking that risk. I feel like LeVar didn't have no problem taking no risk because you can't, what I'm saying, like what's that quote? You miss most of the shots you don't take. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that right there is important because you gotta take those risks. You never know what could happen, what could the biggest things is. And LeVar Ball himself, shown throughout his business, showed about how he conducted himself with his sons. That it's like, bro, you can go against the normal. You can go against what everybody wants you to do according to plan. And I feel like Melo, he went out there according to his own plan when he joined the Hornets. They want him to do his own little format. They want him to listen to the higher, older guys. They want him to go slow. And Melo said, "No, I'm gonna take grip of my career. I'm gonna take a grip of what I do, man." And not just Angelo himself, repeatedly, over and over, while they're telling him, "No, no, no, this, no that, no this." He continues to go out there and shows, "No, I'm not gonna back down. I'm gonna go out there and continue. I'm going to fight against the normal. I'm going to continue to play. If I gotta go to a Drew League and play point guard, that's what I'm gonna do. If I have to go to this place and play this, that's what I gotta do." He's gonna go against the norm, man. He's gonna go against all that people keep saying no to him and all that, because this guy right here deserves everything and opportunities he can.
No, good point, Rev. You definitely deserve all these opportunities. Before you joined, I was talking about the perseverance. You got a lot of clicking going on back there. Is that your mic?
What happened?
No, my fault. I thought your mic was making noise, but before you joined, I was discussing that Jello's perseverance. A lot of people look at with Jello where he's not at. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's NBA or nothing if he don't get the two-way." I mean, don't you think some people need to appreciate where Liangelo Ball is at right now? Because I think we need to commend what he's done. There's so many obstacles, so many roadblocks, so many times they had to, pivot and move in a different direction. And just get things going, and getting things on track.
I don't know. It's good facts. Um, if I may ask, Fight, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, I said that Leangelo Ball, a lot of people need to appreciate the journey that he's been on, because everybody's so caught up with that he didn't make the NBA. He's
Right.
he didn't I mean he's not in the NBA right now, but they're not considering where he's at right now, overcoming all the obstacles, the roadblocks, the media and all this shit, to get to the point where he's on the cusp of his NBA birth. What do you think about that?
Um, what I think about that is, I think a lot of people listen to us when we come on here and say he's ready for the NBA. He's what the NBA needs. You know what I'm saying? He's ready for it. He has all the abilities to do it. A lot of people's like, well, the mindset's like, well, where is he at? They want to see him there. And I think everybody's anxious to see, because if, check this out. Let's say if, okay, Jello goes to the, let's say Jello, he's in the NBA. If he goes crazy and he's a good player in the NBA too, it's gonna really talk about why it took so long for this guy to get in the NBA. And LeVar Ball is going to look amazingly uh truthful to everything that he has said, because now what can people say? You have three Ball brothers who was qualified and has fully shown that they can play in the NBA. So far, they seen Zoe, they seen Melo. Now imagine if they see Jello too in the NBA. How much can they? They can't say too much anymore. It hurts them bad, because their biggest question is always, well, can he play in the NBA? Can he transition to the NBA? And if he goes out there and plays in the NBA and balls out, they're like, hold on, wait a minute, LeVar. I know we was talking shit, but I think we might have to reverse everything we said, because we said Zoe wasn't ready for the NBA. That didn't work. We said Melo wasn't for the NBA. That for sure didn't work. Hold up, and now Jello too. All three Ball brothers. So I feel like that's going to surprise everyone. Itself. That right there is going to surprise everyone, because they're not even going to see that happen. They're not even going to see that coming. So that right there is just, a lot of people want to see it so bad, and that's true. I understand everybody wants to see Jello in the NBA, and that's what we're striving for, to make sure Jello gets in the NBA, yo.
No, that's facts. No panic. What's good?
What's up with you?
What's good? What's your thoughts on Jello? We got an influx of a top 10 NBA talent. That's coming into the Drew League. We've seen LeBron, we've seen Trey, we've seen Collins. The list goes on. Now we have PG-13 on the cusp of returning to the Drew League this weekend. Wouldn't it be beneficial for Liangelo Ball to either team up or face off against some of these guys? How would
Think
he
about
fare?
something, huh?
How would he fare against them? Let me know your thoughts, no panic.
I mean, he trying to be a Drew League Hall of Fame or something.
No, no, this is to get him to the NBA. Let's be in all seriousness. This is to get Leangelo Ball. If he gets a look against a Paul George, let's say he faced off against him and he put up some comparable numbers. Don't you think that's gonna go a long way in NBA scouts and teams or organizations' minds?
No,
Well, how could you? Why?
because it's the Drew League, like the NBA. Even though they back in the Drew League at some point, where they put money behind him or they putting them on, NBA TV. I don't think no scouts seriously looking at the Drew League and say, "Hey, this player right here can be an
Yeah,
NBA talent." I
I
don't think
think
that they're
so.
using it for that.
No, but listen, Jello was in. Let's be real. He's not trying to come up out the Drew League. Jello was in the NBA Summer League, coming to the Drew League. The Summer League is over. Let's be
Mm-hmm.
real. That's the avenue he's going through. It's not like after the Drew League he going home. He's either going to the Hornets or he going to Greensboro. Let's be real.
But let me ask you a question: in the Drew League, are they running sets?
Should I mean at times they do. I mean, right now Leangelo Ball just has the basketball. I think he's got more responsibility.
Okay, let me ask you another question. When he played for the Greenboro Swarm, is he playing the position that he playing in the Drew League for the Swarm, or he playing a different position?
And he's definitely playing a different position, but that's good. I mean,
So
this
how can they
the
evaluate his game and how could the NBA scout evaluate his game when his game ain't playing point guard?
no, yeah, but I know, but what I'm trying to tell you is it translates. Let's say he goes to camp and he's better off the dribble. We not necessarily. I think everybody's getting too caught up with the point guard position, and I think that's where you get yourself caught up here. It's bigger than him running the point guard. It's about adding extra facets to his game. Like let's say he catches the ball, somebody's trying to close out on him. He got it's time to put the ball on the floor. He got to show and exhibit. He could do that.
You don't
You
have to put the
can't
point
just you
guard
can't
position
just
to do
be a
that.
guy. No, I know. Yeah, I know. But what I'm trying to tell you is, it's not LeVar Ball is not training this guy to be a point guard. You understand? Necessarily being to be a star point guard in the NBA or go back to Greensboro and be the lead guard for Greensboro. This is to show and prove that he got different facets to his game, and this will be added. Let's say for instance Dwight Howard, is just a dunker. Let's say he starts learning on his shooting, and not even Dwight Howard, just a random player. Let's say he's working on his shooting. Now he's a 15-foot shooter. He can stretch the floor now. And just little shit like that. Just putting the ball on the floor, just adding different facets to his game. It's not about Jello being the actual point guard. But I understand where you're coming from. But I'm just sure we're trying to meet in the middle here.
No, I think what you must understand when it comes to NBA players is just because they play a role in the NBA, that don't mean they game limited to that once they're off that court playing in rec leagues or just playing, 5-on-5 at a program or something like that. Like there's plenty of players that play in the Drew League that when you see them in the NBA, they catch and shoot players or they just set screens all day or they just would do whatever or they just play defense. But when they get in the Drew League, it's like you see much more like, damn, they can do this. Why so don't let them do that in the league? You see that all the time. So I say my Jello is like, I get it, like putting them at point guard and try to showcase other skills. That's cool, but I mean, look at that turning out. Like they ain't won a game yet behind them being a point guard, so that making them look bad. And then you putting more NBA players in the Drew League will make them look even worse. But at the same time, I don't believe that the NBA scouts looking at the Drew League as, oh, okay, we gonna evaluate him. We gonna evaluate his game in the Drew League. So I mean, it don't help, it don't hurt at the end of the day. But if you got to make an argument between the two, I would say it hurt more than it helped.
What hurt him that he's playing point guard in the Drew League?
No, it's hurt him that more NBA players are joining the Drew League. Because now the attention going off of him, right?
No, I can't say that. The attention ain't going off Jello.
I mean,
I think it's just heightening the profile of the Drew League, but I mean, some people may take it like that, but I can't say they taking height off Jello. I mean, people were still looking to watch that game. I think if they position Jello's game, I think it definitely, do better. They had Jello's game like, in the beginning of the day, it was like 2 o'clock our time, so West Coast time and shit. That's bright and early.
but if I didn't want to use LeBron, but they say Paul George playing in the Drew League this weekend. If he got an 11 a.m. game, you don't think that gonna be posted all over Bleacher Report and all these?
Listen, let's be real. This is Paul George coming back for like he ain't been back in years.
Yeah, but
but Jello shut the Drew League. Jello shut the Drew League down numerous occasions. Let's just be real.
When
Listen,
when you say shut the Drew
year,
League down, what do you mean by that?
when you mean like you talking about selling it out and packing the building, that's what you saying.
Oh no,
He
pack
done
the building. I agree with that. He do
He
something down in that regard.
You see what he did in Greensboro? All the revenue he done brought out there.
Oh yeah, I always say if it's anything that Jello gonna make it to the NBA is gonna be on the strength of like business. Like who wouldn't want to bring a player in that got that much hype behind him and that much fan base already that can actually shoot the ball? I mean, it's a no-brainer for a team that got a small market and ain't winning. Like I don't know why Charlotte didn't bring him up already because it's a small market, but like I said, so if he makes it to the NBA, it's going to be on the strength of that, not so much what he bringing on the court. That's just how we differ between the situation.
Well, I got you. I mean, I still think that Liangelo's on the cusp of the NBA, man, because, I just feel like he is, and I think if he faced off against a Paul George, obviously, we all know that Paul George is an NBA player, but we talking about Paul. We believe that Jello's an NBA player as well, NBA caliber player. I'm just saying, if he was to put up some comparable numbers, I think that would go a long way. I know that you said it's because of the Drew League, but I just want you to know that Jello's not coming out the Drew League like some of these other players. He's actually got some foot to stand on outside the Drew. It's just an avenue that I think LaVar Ball is maximizing. And I think there's a lot of potential. And even when Jello makes the NBA, I believe he will return back to the Drew League. I think that, I think it's a point in time where all the Ball brothers will come to the Drew League. It's just a matter of time. We're just waiting for that to happen.
Yeah. But think about it. Even if Jello put up 30 points in the game against Paul George, they're gonna look different. You gonna see that. The thing about NBA players playing in the Drew League is you actually see the complete difference between an NBA player and a very good player that probably playing overseas. That's what hurt players the most because when an NBA player step on the court, he's an NBA player. And now you get to see firsthand Jello against NBA talent, and you can be like, well, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, I'm gonna say that one more time.
Okay, boom. Frank Nutty's probably the most known Drew League player ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
He the man when ain't no other NBA players on the court. But when other NBA players on the court, no matter how good he played, you still understand this why he ain't in the NBA and this why they is in the NBA. It's just a different level. It's easier to see when you got two things in front of you that you can see and compare. As opposed to, okay, we see Jello put up 30 this game, and then 2 games later, Paul George playing against somebody else, and Paul George put up 30. Then we be like, well, both of them put up 30, so both of them NBA talent, both of them NBA caliber. But then we see them on the same court, it's like, oh no, that is different.
No, like I said, I'm discussing comparable numbers. I think Liangelo Ball. It's not like he's going up against an NBA team. You're talking about one NBA player on the opposite team.
Yeah, I know, but you still can compare the talents. When you see Paul George playing, how you see
wasn't there a guy? See, and it's crazy. I'm happy you said this because when LeBron James had participated, in the Drew, it was a guy who played on the opposite team, and he went on his own social media to post his stats to show that he had comparable numbers against LeBron
And
James.
it still look crazy.
What you mean to look crazy?
Because he been up there saying basically LeBron had how much LeBron had again? 40 points. And he said he had 2 points for every point LeBron had, so he had 20 points. And no
Yeah,
one cared.
I think he had 20. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
but
like
I mean,
nobody cared. Like we knew you
and
ain't gonna
they
take that
lost.
from
They
LeBron. We know you
no,
even
no, it's not about this. I don't think that was where he was trying to go with it. He was just trying to show that he could be on the same floor with NBA players.
but that
You
don't
know,
matter
and
at
I
all
no,
because
yeah,
we see that he couldn't. Like we see that he couldn't. Regardless of what he's saying about scoring 20 points, he scored half of LeBron points, and he ain't even half the player LeBron is. We can clearly see that.
man, I don't know, man.
And he played
You know,
professionally now. Like the dude who posts him, he played professionally. And even another dude on the court too. He been like he said he had work at Best Buy. He clock off and come play LeBron.
like I said,
It's like we can clearly
Drew
see
League
what's
definitely
talent and what's not
got some
talent when they're
crazy
right next
dudes.
to each other.
No, we're not saying that he was obviously LeBron James. You know, he's arguably one of the top players in the world. We know that he's not on the same level. I'm just saying, okay, if that was LeBron, he had 20 against LeBron. Let's say Jello puts up similar numbers like that, you know, where he don't. But let's say Paul George don't get the numbers LeBron had. Let's say he got a little less, and Jello put up something similar like that. Obviously, we just brainstorming. We don't know if they playing off against each other. We just hoping that Jello
Yeah.
could play against some of the influx of NBA talent that'll be out there. That's where we headed with this.
Yeah, like I said, if both of them step on the same court, even if Gillo dropped 35 and Paul George only dropped 20, you still be able to see like there's a complete difference between an NBA talent player and Gillo Ball. Like you can see a complete difference. They ain't no knock towards him because it's Paul George. I ain't all that high on Paul George, but I mean, I mean, you feel like Paul George like top 20, top 15 NBA, right?
No, I never said that. I mean, I
No,
think
I
I
know if
don't know.
I
I mean,
ask
I
you,
don't have
you
the
got him
rank. I
at
mean,
in
I
the
think
NBA.
I think he's a good. I don't have. I would have to analyze the rank, and I don't want to go off the top of my head right now. But I think he's definitely arguable. He's a top player in the league. He's a second option on a championship team. You know, if the Clippers are healthy, they're a championship team, right?
I mean, I don't look at Paul George like that. I got him outside the top 20.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I mean. Like I said, I'm not gonna sit up here to fight for Paul George. You know what I mean? If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. You know, I would have to analyze the numbers, and I'll double check in a second. But he's definitely one of the top players in the NBA. You know, Marquez was good,
Chilling, chilling. How y'all doing tonight?
chilling. What's your thoughts on some of the stuff I made no panic, Ray? We was in there cooking, talking about.
Mm. Well, honestly, how I feel is, you know, I'm gonna take my feelings out of it. I'm just straight up what I believe. I
Uh,
believe that Joe's gonna showcase his talents, and I think that once there's more NBA players in the league, there's gonna be something else. You cannot deny if he drops 27 on an NBA caliber player, like Paul George, then what else is going to be the excuse, right, Flight?
I
I'm at
mean,
the point of
I agree.
I'm at the point where now where I'm like, Joe, screw everybody. If you're not the Charlotte Hornets, if you're a Charlotte Hornets, all these internet people and these Twitter people on these in these comment section, other than Flight Sports TV, I'm not listening to you. It's just straight solid as that because Flight again, I looked back up and actually looked through the game, and the person that came on here yesterday, no panic, right?
Yeah,
He said that
he's still
Jello didn't drop.
he's here.
He said, right. Oh, I'm sorry. What's his name? FYF. I'm sorry. No panic. But I went and did my research on Flight, and our stats were correct on Jello dropping 27 in the G League. Our stats was correct on that. So I just want to put that out that our stats are correct. So if he puts these same stat numbers on Paul George or NBA caliber player, what else will the haters say?
No, that's the argument I'm headed, and I'm hoping that Team BBB either could team up with some of these top talents coming in, or face off against some of these top talents that's coming in because it's going to be beneficial for Liangelo like I said, if he established chemistry with a guy like Paul George, even if it's not Paul George, let's say another superstar comes in. Let's say DeJounte Murray. I think, and that's just hypothetically speaking. I mean, just anybody. That was the Jordan Drew League. It'd be nice to see him playing. You know, alongside or even against. Because that would go a long way. It's better than going up against the average Drew League team. Is where I'm headed with this, or Drew League player.
Right.
Yeah, what do y'all expect from Paul George in the Drew League? We see all these NBA guys, they coming in there electrifying. What do y'all see from PG-13? What would his arrival do?
To be honest with you, I think Paul George might have the third best performance in the Drew League. I can see that.
I mean, who you going with, LeBron and Trey?
LeBron, Trey. Trey did what Trey normally always does. I put LeBron and DeMar a little bit above Trey, so it'll probably be LeBron, DeMar, and Paul George by the end of this.
Oh, y'all forgot about DeMar. DeMar was cooking. We forgot about DeMar because he played on the same team with LeBron.
Right.
Whatever LeBron did, that shit usurp anything he did. But that would have been good to see a DeMar going teaming up with a Jello or something like that. Him and Zoe as teammates. So it's something to think about.
Yeah.
I want to ask y'all a question. Well, I'll ask you, Marquez. I was discussing this, and even the chat. Um, I think a lot of people get caught up with Liangelo where he's not at. He's not in the NBA officially just yet. He didn't get the two-way. He didn't get this. I mean, at what point are we going to sit back and acknowledge, the obstacles he's overcome, and the journey that he's been on, and where he's at right now, on the cusp, and truly on the cusp of an NBA berth. What's your thoughts on that? Where people need to appreciate his journey and where he's at now.
I absolutely agree. I don't think it's the fact that it's not just his story. It's the fact that every single time you've always doubted him and said he can't do this, he can't do that. He's shown you and impressed you and show you that he can do it with his back against the wall when everybody's saying that he's never going to make the NBA.
Yeah,
And
people say that. Critics say that.
and it's funny because there's certain
The media. People forget what the media was saying. I remember the
right
media was talking crazy. I mean, we got to go back and get what people were saying.
and flight. Um, there's a certain son by a Hall of Fame NBA basketball player who did horribly in summer league, who did atrocious in summer league, and one could argue that Joe is better than that person right now. You want to know who that player is, Flight?
Who
Sharif O'Neal.
better than who?
Jello is better right now than Sharif O'Neal.
Yeah, that's well. What's going on with him. They basically paying homage and giving him the opportunity. He signed to something
Man,
crazy with the G League. He gonna be in the G League. So let's see what happens. With Jello, who he might
okay.
face off with. Hopefully, go back to the Hornets. But what if he face off against some of these?
What'd you say, Fight? You went in. You went in and out.
Yeah, he go against these people signing these multi-million-dollar deals. That'd be crazy.
And when
I
you
mean,
also forgetting Marquez, when you say when Jello better than him, you keep forgetting that Shaq's son 19.
what's that
Like
supposed to mean? I'm not using
that
age. I'm
mean
just
that means
using
Well,
the
you
tape.
turned it into a certain
Jello was
player.
better than him at 19. Just compare
Right. So,
the
But
ages.
he got look at us
No,
what his
let's
size
stop
is. Look
this.
up his size real quick.
no, Penny, you got to stop this because
Let's keep
Jello
it
was
on the
better.
Sharif. I don't want to turn this to a Sharif versus Jello because
Right.
Sharif
We
has
not
some
finna.
medical issues. He has some obstacles as well that need to be, so I don't want to sit up here and do that, but I understand where you're coming from. That there's a lot of people were sitting on contracts and opportunities that
And they haven't
Leangelo
proven
been
it.
had.
Right.
That's where you're coming with it, Nico. I mean, no panic.
And no
Sharif
panic. I'm
O'Neal.
comparing the two. No panic. I was comparing the two
He
because
older than 19. He 22, 16, 225.
right.
Like, he got good size.
But no
Got
panic. I'm
range.
comparing
His
those
range
two
is
because
good.
every time I bring up an NBA player other than that, you're gonna say, "Oh, he's a draft pick," and you're gonna bypass my argument as if it's nothing. So I'm comparing two undrafted people who didn't get drafted, are fighting in the G League, and I'm telling you right now, and from what the tape has shown me, Jello is better than the other guy.
Nah, I don't know about that.
I mean, you want to look up his stats in the summer league? 2.9. I'll just bring it up because I have the stats right here in front of me. I'm happy you brought it up. So let's bring it up
You wasting
real
your time
quick.
because I'm not a stat person.
2.2 points per game, 2.8, 2.9 points per game, and that's the last couple of summer league games that he was in.
Okay.
That's the problem. You based your arguments on emotions. I base my arguments off the fact. The fact is, right now with these summer league stats, Sharif wasn't really doing that much.
No, I don't. I don't base it off no emotions. I base it off what I can see on the court. What I see
Right.
on the
And I
court
saw
is
on the court that
Sharif
Sharif
O'Neal doing a
O'Neal
lot
is not
more on the
ready.
team than I see Liangelo doing. Not saying he can't do it, but I
Interesting.
mean, Liangelo's a 6'5". Well, they got him listed as a guard, 6'5" guard. He can shoot, but he can't really do
Okay.
not too much else.
A
Sharif's a
6'5",
16.
a 6'5" guard is not undersized. Guards are normally 6'3" to 6'4". So if
I see.
anything, Jello is taller than the normal set of guards.
All I'm saying is Sharif O'Neal 16. Usually when you look at 16 players that can move like him, that can handle the ball like him, that I ain't saying he can shoot the lights out, but you can develop a shot on him. Like, he can put some more weight on, like things like that you look at more so than you look at a player who just can shoot. I mean, like, what have we
But
seen?
but that's what LeVar Ball. That's the argument I'm trying to go there with. Panic. That's why LeVar Ball has moved him. To play different positions. And that's why he's training with elite ball handlers. To show that's not all he can do. That's the method to the madness.
Right.
I mean, I feel y'all, but I mean, I just don't see it.
That's fine. And maybe you'll never see it.
Probably won't.
That's fine. And fight.
Yeah.
Can I be honest and say this fight? I'm gonna just
Well,
say this
God.
because I feel like I want to start smoking on people's packs tonight. And
Oh wow, that's crazy. You said
tonight,
that.
tonight
Well,
is
Quez,
the
you just had a time a couple
tonight,
days ago
tonight.
now.
No,
You just
it's
had a
fine.
roast. You just
Your
had a
It's
man,
couple.
your
fine.
man,
Quick
your
said
man's
six couple
just
nights ago.
joined.
You trying to do that?
Hey, tonight is the night that the people are going to come on this panel, and I'm going to show every single one about it. We're not using any emotions. I'm going to bring up facts. I'm going to show everybody how your hate for Jello is just emotion and not bring up the stats.
Well, we got one of the number one guys in here right now. FYF, what's the deal?
What's up, FYF? Speaking
I,
of the
I don't
devil,
I don't know if I classify because I don't hate Jello. I love Jello's game. I'm a
So
shooter
I got I
myself.
got
okay,
a
sure.
question. I got a question for you then. If you love Jello,
I love Jello.
why don't you exhibit that a little bit more?
I do.
All right. Well, the people from outside looking in,
It's
that
like
don't
it's
seem
like
like
it's
that.
like when I was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
I never went to my right hand. The coach, my parents, everybody would get to you using your right. You ain't gonna be able to play on the next level if you don't start using your right. Right? The coach had me dribbling up and down. He tried to embarrass me. He had me dribbling up and down the half court line during halftime of games with my right hand, just so because he wanted me to, if you want to go to the next level, like I couldn't get mad at because people was criticizing me, right? Was my jumper nice with the left? Yeah. Could I go left and drive? Yeah. But if I wanted to evolve and get to the next level, I had to add to my game and I had to get better at it, which means not just do it in game because they had me working on it in practice. I mean, I had to really work on it when I wasn't in practice, when I was in practice, when I was in game. I had to really try to go to it. And so I couldn't, that's called positive criticism. It only made me better and it got me to the next level. So everything I say about Jello, I ain't running around. I'm not one of those people out here saying Jello trash. He just can't do it. I've always said he could play in the NBA. I said he could probably fit in the Dallas Mavericks system right now, as is, with no improvements. But I said if he's,
I want you
he's
to break
really
that
looking
down
to
after
get
your
to the next
statements.
level, he's gonna have to go dark mode. He has to get away from these shitty leagues where they're not really making him better. He's playing a lot of bad basketball. He's not really showcasing any new skills because he's not having enough time to work on them. He needs to go dark, grind with a trainer, a real trainer who's known for developing people as far as guard skills, and then
Oh man,
get into a
listen,
league where he can
he's doing
showcase it.
that.
No, hold on, Flight. He's not showcasing anything. The only thing he's showcasing, Flight, is that he's not good at it.
For this fight, this is what I'm
Listen,
talking about,
I
by the way.
respectfully, so you were on the right track. I
Hold on.
respectfully disagree.
What
He's
game
training.
is he showcasing these great handles? You said he went with ball
I
collector.
I never said these great handles. I mean, y'all getting too caught up with the point guard and this, that, and the third, man. It's just about adding different facets to the game that he already established.
You can't be a point guard.
Oh my God!
In pro-am
You see, that's
winning
the problem.
games at a frenetic pace.
See, that's the problem. That's
he needs
the problem
to get into
right
a
there.
real league. He needs to get into
That's
a
the
real
problem.
league where they can put
He's
him
not listening.
in a position to succeed.
Yeah, I understand. But it's like I said,
It's
where I'm
just
trying
not
to go
doing
with
him no
this.
good what he's doing now.
All right.
One day y'all come in here and say the Drew League ain't that serious. Now y'all saying today with the talent in the Drew League, he can be better.
I didn't say it was
man.
I didn't say it was that serious. I said that the wins and losses.
Okay. Right.
The wins and the losses.
I mean, he needs to worry about Chris Allen. Chris Allen's the one that just dropped 30 on his head with the 30-point win. Nobody in the world. He works at FedEx, by the way.
Right. I mean, like I said, Liangelo Ball had what?
Yo, also dropped 27 a day ago, though.
That's right.
You're still stuck on that.
No, I actually have the facts right here, and I will be happily
go
in the private chat.
Right. I mean, you were doing good before FYF. We'll just move on from the numbers.
Yeah,
and all
right.
that. You just continue. Like you said that you believe he could fit in with the Dallas Mavericks right now with Luka Doncic. Break down why Liangelo Ball is a good fit in Dallas.
Because Dallas are looking for specific types of players. And it's very obvious. They're looking for catch and shoot shooters who can make shots at a 40% clip or better. And they love guys that can get hot and reel off 2 or 3 in a row, because if you get hot, they love going to you. I mean, we saw Maxi Kleber hit 8 against the Utah Jazz. We've seen Tim Hardaway go crazy and hit 6 or 7 in a game. We saw Jalen Brunson expand his game to the 3-point line, making that corner 3. We saw Spencer Dinwiddie, a guy who was known for being a slasher, able to expand his game to the 3-point line, catch and shoot threes from Luka. I mean, basically, even Dorian Finney-Smith, a guy that was never known for shooting threes, made 5 or 6 of them in the playoff game this year, because these guys know, because Dallas is really good at telling people, okay, this is your role. We either want you to work on this, or if this is already a skill set, we're going to put you in a position where we can utilize your best skills. They're not going to go out there and ask Jello, be a point guard, take it up the court, cross people up. They just gonna be like, do what you do best, and we gonna have Luka help set you up. But that's where there's an obvious need. They also run split actions. They're not gonna have him in a whole bunch of pick and rolls where he's gonna have to put the ball on the ground and create. They're gonna have him in split actions where he come off DHOs, pin downs, things like that, so he can get his shot off. Or Luka can overload one side, kick it to the weak side, and Jello's knocking out. Those are his strengths. Go somewhere where you know they're gonna play to your strengths. But he's not even. The only way he can do that, he's gonna have to take the risk of leaving Charlotte to do that. That's the scary part. That's where it gets scary for most players, because it's comfortable in Charlotte now because they're giving you a spot on the team. Your brother's there, so there's a little security. The scary part is to say, Charlotte, I'm walking away and I'm gonna pursue other things on my own. That's the scary part as a player, because that's the unknown. It's not you, and you really have, and you don't have. He's not going to have much of an opportunity to showcase. They might bring him in for 1 or 2 workouts, and he's going to have to go ballistic in the workouts, or it's a wrap. So that's the scary part.
Well, I think in Charlotte, like I said, we could just hope that now, this coming season, let's hope. I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to what camp he reporting to, because we're going to find that out in the coming days. Well, not days, but in some time. But let's say, hypothetically speaking, he went to Greensboro. Who's to say that he can't be possibly one of the first or second or third call ups because they were calling people back left and right. But I mean, you don't have to get into do you believe that happened or this that, and the third. I just hope that if most of these guys are gone, he's getting more opportunities. In Greensboro, vice to what happened a season ago, where I felt like they had a overload of talent in there. That they were sending. I think when they brought Book Knight in there, that was crazy. Because Book Knight didn't start in the Drew League, did he? No, he didn't start. I think they eventually sent him there.
In the G
The
League?
Book
Oh,
Knight
I don't
didn't
know where he
start in the.
started. I
No,
can't
pardon me.
remember.
Book Knight didn't start in the G League. They.
No, but I'm just saying, if you look at Charlotte, and if you look at remember last year in the NBA, only 30 players in the entire G League got called up. That's about one per team. And so when you look
Hit
at
home
Charlotte's
runs.
situation, what are the odds of them calling a player up that's not a two-way player or a draft pick that they have?
Right. Well, Liangelo Ball's got to definitely punch that ticket. But where I'm going with you, where you headed is, I'm expecting some of these guys to be there. Let's say that he only dealing with a McGowan's possibly, and the way he's been playing, he may be on the active roster. Let's say the only people that's really there that's signed is a guy.
You're going in and out, Flight.
Shit, like last year, if he had gone and play on the Bulls damn G League team, they had all type of people. They've been calling up.
Who's that?
When the play's been going down.
What team?
Chicago Bulls. They
I mean,
bring
name the players.
Matt
What
Thomas
players
in.
were they?
They bring Matt Thomas up. They bring Stanley.
Okay,
Johnson
so
up.
Matt Thomas is a guy that was a draft pick in the league. Like this dude, he's had time in the league with Toronto. He's a, he is G League. I don't want to compare Jello to guys that have been in the league with other teams, like on active rosters.
Well, can we compare it to a guy like Sharif O'Neal?
Because those guys are going to always have a leg up because they have the NBA jacket.
I'm tired of him using the same argument, though.
Hold on, Marquez. What I'm saying is to your point where you saying about he need to try to find other teams and start being comfortable with Charlotte. What I'm saying is if he had tried to find other teams, maybe like a team like Chicago, they've been calling players up. But now they had like I said, when they bring Matt Thomas up, I know he a draft pick, but at the same time, like that would have been somebody else you could have. I mean, another team you could have gone on and at least get a shot because you said like Charlotte ain't really been bringing up too much just random two-way players or random G League players.
May I ask a question?
What's up, Purple Baby?
Yeah, my bad. I have some connection issues. Purple Baby, what's good?
I'm okay. The question I was gonna ask, because hopefully I'm not too far off, is y'all was talking about bringing Liangelo onto the active roster to come off the bench, correct?
No, I didn't say that. I think I said that. I don't know what I said exactly, but I said that he could possibly go to in the preseason. I don't know if that's where you heard me. That maybe we don't know. I'm just brainstorming that. Ain't none of this concrete. I was just hoping that at some point that we could see Jello and Melo on the floor. On the NBA situation. Let's like the preseason. And I think it'll be all bets are off. I think Melo will feed the shit out of Liangelo, and Liangelo Ball will know this is my major opportunity right here to show improvement. That was one thing. I don't know if you heard something else. Can you hear me?
Yes, I heard you.
So what was your thought? What was your thoughts on that? Did you have something to say about it?
I mean, it's for me, it's a wait and see thing because us just to keep talking about it, it's kind of exhausting. So I'm just trying to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, that's why I said it. We just got to take into consideration where he's at now. I was just letting the people know, like even guys like a FYF or other people. I think we need to stop worrying so much about that he's not actually on the NBA roster officially. He's obviously in the NBA umbrella. He's with the Charlotte Hornets, Greensboro Swarm. We know all that. They're running the same offense as the Hornets. I would hope. I think that we need to just take in consideration the obstacles he had to overcome to even get here. That where he's literally a step away from the NBA, and people need to take in consideration that it wasn't easy. What do you think about that? That Jello is actually in a good position, even though people try to, just focus on where he's not at right now, instead of just thinking about the position that he's in.
I think I ain't gonna lie. I think differently. Like if I had some of the opportunities that was presented to him, because I have a younger sibling, so if I had some of the opportunities presented to him, I wouldn't have. If I see that it's not working somewhere, I would have just made the necessary adjustments and went somewhere else. Even if it's somewhere I really don't want to go, if I want to get to a particular place, I might have to take my shot in doing something else first. So I could get to that place.
Right. I mean, I feel you. It's a tough call.
I mean,
It's a tough call. I think that we just need to see what's going on. I hope that, he gets the minutes. We always going to know that that's always could be a possibility, but go ahead, Marquez. We could only hope, but I understand where everybody got some good points here. That's why I'm telling you, here at Flight Sports TV, we let everybody get their points across. It's not just a swan song here. Everybody comes on with their different opinions, and we try to meet each other in the middle here. But go ahead, Marquez.
how I feel honestly about this about the situation again, like we're all saying we think it's all like realistically it's spectacle because again you don't know what the Charlotte Hornets is promising Jello, and the Drew League is once again I keep saying the Drew League is once again not a place to show your talents for a guy who's already in the league. The Drew League is just for you to show is for you to show focus on your skills and showcase your skills so that when you get to the G League, that's already in your repertoire, it's already in your bag. You know what I'm saying, Flight?
Yeah, that's facts.
So it's like for y'all to say that he's not going to be a part of the Swarm's roster when it's politics to be played and Melo got the keys, it kind of feels kind of foolish for you to speculate that he's not going to be on the roster, let alone the G League. You know what I mean?
That?
Nobody said he wasn't going to be on the Swarm roster.
It's kind of foolish.
That's where y'all make up so much different narrative that nobody even said.
Everybody thinks he's going to be in the G League right next year.
But can I?
So you're talking about Jello and critiquing his game for him to make an NBA roster. If we all know he's going to the G League, correct? Wouldn't Jello be in the Drew League to show or to add more repertoires to his bag, to his game, so that way it could take him over the edge to get signed into the NBA?
You don't need a Drew League to work on his game. You need somewhere to go play.
I mean, but there's a lot of NBA players. Okay, they're playing Obi Toppin and Emmanuel quickly, going overseas and playing basketball right now as we speak. They'll get game right.
You don't need a Drew League to just play basketball.
Okay, but he's doing the Drew League because that's his decision.
Yeah, I get that, but what you saying is
so are we mad that
game and all that? You don't need the Drew League to work on your game. And furthermore, like, why would you want to play in the Drew League anyway to hone your skills?
Okay,
you should want to play against.
Why wouldn't you? Why
wouldn't
you?
That's why NBA players every summer they have these secret these secret pro runs. Where you just see videos popping up of different NBA players playing together. That's
okay.
The Drew League.
There's a lot of rookies right now that are not playing with other pros. There's a lot of rookies right now. As a matter of fact, there's plenty of young NBA players right now on the pro-ams in the streets of are literally playing rec league or pro-am in the streets of Miami. So what's your point?
What are you talking about?
I'm saying, like, what's the difference? What's the difference between Jello from trying to showcase his talents in the Drew League so he can keep those same talents
when you play in the
Drew League,
you may have one or two NBA players on the opposing roster, right?
Okay, what's your point?
My point is, you don't have to play in the Drew League if you want to just work on your game.
Listen, but he's already at again.
You just said it's
He
not open.
is doing it his way though.
Yeah, but I think he's in the Drew League because if you look at it, he's playing for the BBB team. He's comfortable there. He knows his dad is going to play him the whole game. He knows he can do whatever he wants, and there's not going to be much pushback.
I mean, that's
okay,
what he
bro.
needs. I mean, that's what he
that's
needs.
What he needs.
That's being comfortable.
That's what he needs.
I mean, how? It's not comfortable getting moved
because
all
if you
over
play
the
for another
lineup
team, there's a risk that they might bench you.
Well, he playing on the
There's a risk
Hornets
that they
and he's
might
getting
find
benched.
other guys that
All
ain't doing
Come
what
on,
you
man.
want.
All of that shit is
just
taking
because
place
his dad is
on the
coaching the
Charlotte
team.
Hornets. That's what I'm saying.
I
He's
can't
not
deal with
doing a
this
very
fight.
good job of coaching the team. He's doing a horrible job
Just
of
because
coaching
his
the team.
dad is coaching the team. Just because his dad is coaching the team.
Hold on.
Again,
they're 0-6, ain't they?
Hold on, bro. All right, you got it.
They definitely got to step their performance up, collectively as a team unit. But individually, Liangelo Ball is definitely
doing a great job. He's actually doing pretty good for somebody who's trying to add playmaking.
That's what you got to do. What'd you say?
I said he's actually doing pretty good for trying to add playmaking into his repertoire of skills because you need two things to make it to the NBA. You can't just have one.
I don't know personally, but I think LeVar Ball's goal is definitely number one is to get Jello into the league. Definitely to improve the other players on the roster as well. But I don't think he's hell bent on coming in here and winning championships. I don't think a lot of these Drew League teams are headed in there. I think all of them have aspirations, whether it is overseas, NBA. I think everybody's going in for their own individual purposes too, as well. Not only also Paul George. Like when you think of some of these top tier talents of LeBron, they all have reason to be in the Drew League. Paul George is going to the Drew League for a reason. You understand? So everybody got a reason that they there, and I think it goes the same for Liangelo. Slim, hold on, FYF. Slim, what's good?
Hey, what's up, Fly?
What's up, Slim?
What's your thoughts on this conversation?
I was listening, what I'm saying, in the chat, but what y'all talking about? Y'all talking about Liangelo in the Drew League, right?
Yes. I mean, what's your thoughts on Liangelo Ball individually in the Drew League? How has he been doing? Have you been evaluating?
I have not watched the full game, only highlights, right? But me watching Liangelo in the Drew League, I'm seeing him playing a lot of point guard, and he's very comfortable in LeVar's system. I would have liked to see him handle the ball and play a little bit of guard with the Hornets, but they keeping him in the corner, making him play a little bit of small forward. So they're not really showcasing him a lot. But I mean, he plays well. He's doing good in the Drew League, and I'm just watching this game progress.
Right. Good call. Do you think that Liangelo Ball could benefit playing against some of these top NBA talents? It's coming in like the LeBrons, like the, PGs and things of that nature. What's your thoughts on that? What if he was to either team up, possibly? Let's say, I think that would be huge too. Let's say we find out breaking news, Paul George is playing on Team BBB. I'm not saying that's necessarily gonna happen. But I'm just brainstorming right now. Or if we find out breaking news, they going up against Paul George's team. What if he was able to put up some comparable numbers against a guy like a PG-13? Do you think that can go away? To benefit his cause?
Then all question marks will be answered. If he goes up against Paul George and he puts up numbers against Paul George, one of the best defensive guards in the league, then Liangelo is league ready. If he teams up with Paul George and they go crazy and they give the BBB team, you know what I'm saying? He's solidified. He's already, in my opinion, league ready. He just needs to develop more and showcase more of his skills and talent. You know what I'm saying? He's already league ready to me. He proved that last summer. We hadn't seen him play since the JBA, and then last summer league he came in and did his thing and played well. So Yeah, man. If he goes up against Paul George and puts up numbers, then I say he's league ready. If Paul George destroys him, it's to be expected. He's a fucking NBA elite player. I mean, ain't no
Right.
shame in that. He's going up against Paul George. Damn.
Slim, I have a question for you, Slim Cahoot, because there's how do you feel about the criticism of Joe? Do you feel like it's kind of a little bit too much, or they're critiquing this game
Who's the critic?
brick by brick,
Who's the critic?
piece by piece?
Marquez. Who's the critic?
We got one of his biggest critics right now on the panel with FYF.
I mean,
Who
what's the criticism though?
critiques
Like,
it.
I don't get the criticism. Like, what are we criticizing?
The
Like,
criticisms is, oh, he's dropping 27, but he got to work. He got to work more better on his. His defense can be a little better, which we're not saying. His
first of
I can
all,
playmaking
speak
is
for
not.
myself.
hold on. First of all, like, we
You
don't.
ain't got to explain what I said for me. I can say it.
Okay, first
Well,
of all,
then
like,
please
I really
explain.
didn't.
I put myself on mute because I keep getting muted, so I'm gonna wait till y'all done.
First of all, man, what was I finna say? Y'all niggas argue too much, but the critics with Liangelo Ball is mute. We haven't seen him in a large sample size. We're not getting him in enough minutes. Only in the Drew League, especially in Summer League, he's not getting the opportunities that other players and these prospects are coming into the league, and Liangelo is just not getting the time in. That's why we're not seeing a large enough sample size of Liangelo. And it could be the coaching, like Jello just get in the game, go stand in the corner, wait till the ball comes to you, But Jello makes the most out of it. He gets the ball, he takes to the hole, he scores at will. His shot is automatic. So there is no criticism we're not getting when he's not getting playing time.
Again, FYF, can you explain why your critiques are kind of off, because you're not really comparing him as the player himself. You're comparing him to his brothers, and then you're using that to critique him, which I feel like you shouldn't do that. You should critique the player just off what you've seen in his game. There's plenty of highlights out there of him being in the G League, him being in the Summer League, him being in the G League now. So make your opinion only based off of Jello and stop comparing him to his brothers.
All right, so I don't know when you've ever heard me compare him to Lonzo or LaMelo, because
he's done it multiple times on this stream.
Hold on.
He's done it multiple times on this channel.
See what I'm saying? All I'm saying is I've never compared them to those two. They're completely different types of players. And I actually tell people, let's stop comparing them to other guys like JJ Redick that don't play like Jello. His Jello style is completely different. The only thing I've criticized about Jello are things that I see on the film. When I did my film breakdown, I played multiple plays where I showed this is something he needs to fix. Because if you're working on being a playmaker point guard, you can't turn your back to, remember, if you're playing in a shot clock game in the NBA, so you can't turn your back to the shot clock, which he does a lot because he's not confident with the ball. He's allowing guys to turn him too much, which means, and if you know what that means the defender is able to slide to a spot before.
We all know that's an aspect of his game.
Yeah, we already know that.
Jello is never.
No, what I'm saying, I'm just reiterating what I've actually said. I'll cut it short. I'm reiterating everything that I've said that's critical is on court related. I'm looking and I'm saying this might be one of the reasons why NBA scouts as a free agent haven't picked him up, because he's been a free agent since 2018. So I'm saying,
so
I can't say that. I disagree with
you can say that about Book Night too, can you not?
No, hold on. We cannot compare players who've been drafted and
no. Stop that. That's the only. We're gonna do that because I'm not comparing. I'm comparing by skill.
I'm trying to
Ted was good. We got my man Ted in the building. So salute to all y'all that's rolling in here. What's good, Ted?
He on mute.
He probably get his mic together.
Hey,
Shut him
listen,
up.
and Marquez, you gotta stop trying to throw a little narratives in it. Nobody ever compare him to his brother.
Man, no
You need to
panic.
stop
Stay on the
doing that. That's the
sidelines.
second time you done
Stay
said
on the
it.
sidelines. No panic because
Every time
I
you
want
say
no. I
you
want
create a
FYF
new
to finish his
narrative
point.
or y'all saying that's standing
Yeah,
still. Nobody
FYF.
ever
I'm
I
said
trying.
was
them
trying to
things.
see what your
Let
point was because
FYF
I
finish.
feel
trying
I'm
like
to.
trying to
he
see
did.
what your point is.
I
He
mean, I'm
is.
waiting on y'all to be done so I can. I mean, yeah, I got cut off again. So,
What's the
I mean,
criticism of Liangelo Ball?
oh,
That's the
hold on.
question.
My criticism has just
yeah.
been on court stuff, and I'm not gonna go through it all now because it's documented on video. It's not hate. I'm not shaming him. I already stated earlier he has skills right now. If he goes to the right team, they could utilize the skills that he has now better than what Charlotte wants. Obviously, Charlotte
Mm-hmm.
to me is not prioritizing them. It's
That's
been
fair.
now they've already prioritized McGowan's and LJ. Because they gave McGowan's the two-way. They've prioritized their draft picks. They've shown him that for the last year and a half. Why stay somewhere where they're clearly showing you you're not a priority? In NBA, even if they promised him something without a contract, NBA teams screw players over all the time. If you don't put it on documentation and I don't have a contract, I don't want to hear it. So it's time for you. It's time for him to go somewhere and get with somebody who's willing to say, we know what you can do. Here's a contract, and we're going to, because we believe in you,
So he
we're
got to
going to
show
allow
you
you
the
to sign on the
contract.
dotted line with a two-way contract or some form of an
Interesting.
NBA deal that makes that team commit to him. Right
I think
now,
the Hornets have committed to him. He's
they
already
haven't.
signed to a two-way. That's what I
He's
think.
not signed to a
There,
two-way.
there,
Right.
He's
there's no
never signed a
reason.
two-way.
Hold on, FYF. Hold on. There's no reason why they would bring this man into the summer league and not give him minutes. It doesn't make any sense. Why just not
The coach
invite him
said why
back
he
to the
didn't get
summer league?
minutes.
Okay, what was that? Because I missed it. Can you
Well,
explain?
the first reason the coach said was he wasn't conditioned, and then the second reason that the coach said was he's great for the bench.
No, that's not what he
That's
said. He said he's good in
bullshit,
the
man.
locker room. He said a lot of good stuff, man.
Right,
I
man.
mean,
That's a
Right,
That's
but
what he
it's
said.
okay. It's again. We
I
see
mean,
how
it still don't make
when
no
it
sense why you don't play him, and there's
it
four
fits his
summer
narrative.
Okay,
games.
but if
Can
a
I
team
Right.
doesn't,
be the
if a
voice of
team don't
reason
play
here?
you, then leave.
Can I say something?
No,
Go ahead, Purple Baby, because FYF is going
because
around
I'm
in circles.
confused.
Go ahead, Purple Baby. You're
Okay,
going around
I
in circles.
think, I forgot who that is talking. Slim.
Yeah, Slim. Yeah, what's up?
Okay, when you keep saying you don't understand why he's not getting minutes, regardless of Bryce McGowan.
No, that's not what I mean, Purple Baby. I'm saying, like, why would you invite Liangelo to summer league and not give him minutes? You know what I'm saying? Not play him when
They invited a ton of players
excuse
and didn't
me.
give them minutes.
Hold on, FYF. Allow me latitude.
FYF, you have to let
please.
people speak. Continue, Slim.
Like, look, when his brother is the main folk, like, do y'all not understand business and who LaMelo Ball is? That's your star point guard. Do you know he will? The LeVar's plan is to have his boys play together, whether y'all like it or not. You feel me? That is the plan. LaMelo should have enough pull to say, look, I need my brother on the squad. You feel me? Why invite this man to summer league and not give him minutes? It don't make no sense to me. Maybe in my mind, they did this. They said, okay, cool. Liangelo, you played that once this year in this summer league. He played that one summer league game. Played well. We seen enough of you. We know what you can do. Sit down. You ain't getting no more minutes. Sign this two-way contract and be quiet. That's what I think, personally. I don't know. That's what I think.
Because why are you letting him sit on
Why
the
else would
bench?
you do it? Why else would you bring
You know,
him in?
having to go play in Drew League. Listen, if Jello was really worried about his contract concerns, he wouldn't be in the Drew League. He would still be trying to do pro-ams, and he would still be in the gym in the Greensboro Swarm, still continuing to work. Why is Jello in this Drew League right now, right? Enjoying himself, getting his skills up, right? When he don't have a contract, that's what FYF is telling me. Where's the proof that's saying that he doesn't have a contract? Are you inside the NBA locker room? Were you there? Do you actually know? How do you not know that the contract was already guaranteed? Just because the NBA teams are not going out on ESPN and reporting it, it doesn't mean it's not a fact.
No, Marquez.
Facts. There's no
all
news out of
NBA
Charlotte.
contracts are public. When the player signs the deal, it's public.
Interesting. So when Scottie Pippen was signed to the Lakers, you do realize that the Lakers could have signed Scottie Pippen Jr. behind closed doors and not said anything, right? You do realize that, right?
They couldn't sign him behind closed doors
For
because
sure.
they have to report it to the NBA.
For sure.
And the NBA makes all signings public.
Interesting. Interesting.
You can't secretly sign a player and nobody knows.
Interesting.
When that don't work like that.
First of all,
Where
I've
are you
never
getting this
seen an
stuff from,
NBA
man?
contract if it's public. I've never seen a public NBA contract.
Listen, all NBA
FYI.
contracts public.
Check
All
the
of them.
check the chat, the private chat.
That's public. That's public domain.
He's not going to do it. He's not going to
You
do
can
it.
even
Like
look up CEO contracts and everything of different
he's
Bundesliga.
not
That's
going to
all
do it.
public.
He's aggravating.
What happened?
He's not going to do it.
Oh,
But Purple
I'm just
Baby, I
saying,
didn't mean to cut you off.
I
What
think
was
it's
you
time
saying?
for him to move on from Charlotte.
I mean,
Thunder, that's not mine.
Man, I don't care if
My
he doesn't
mic
play
is
in
smoking
Charlotte.
because
I
there's
want him
other
to play
people's whose
anywhere.
mics
He
is
can
louder
go to
than mine.
Utah. He can go to Utah. All I care. He can go anywhere. I just want dude in the league because I believe if he's not that guy, if he's not NBA ready, let the fans see it because we ain't seen him play enough. We haven't had a large sample size of him playing against NBA competition for us to know that Liangelo can't play in this league. He proved it last year in the summer league. He was the focal point, even with James Bouknight and all JT Thor, whatever. Liangelo outshined them all. Am I lying?
You kind of is lying.
Not lying.
He actually ended that last year's summer league pretty bad, actually.
No, he didn't, man.
Y'all looking at like maybe 3 or 4 games of the entire G
See,
League.
where is your? That's what I hate, bro. Where is your proof?
He played bad the last summer
Exactly.
league.
Show me where.
I said
Where's your
he
proof?
ended summer league last year pretty bad. He did end it.
You're saying pretty bad. Where's your evidence of that?
Hold on, wait a second. Hold on, wait a minute. FYI, Malaya, we got Malaya in the building. What's good?
Can you hear me, Flight?
Yeah, what's up?
I just wanted I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good.
I just want to tell you some news. You might have already heard, but on Twitter, I put it in the chat, the regular stream chat, but I heard that Brady Malik, the guy that was they was kind of comparing Summer League this summer.
I remember.
He signed in give me a second. He signed with like a different league.
NBL.
The NBL, and he's playing for the Perth Wildcats. So maybe I just wanted to say that it could possibly give some room, I guess, for Jello to get maybe more minutes, maybe in the summer.
Yeah, like I think
a two-way contract.
Well, I don't think he was signed 100%. Somebody got to double check. Was he signed? I don't think he was signed. Or was
There was rumors that he was signed before he decided to make his decision to go to the NBL.
But I think that this definitely opens up opportunity, whether it's in camp or whether he's in Greensboro, wherever. That's what I'm trying to tell people. I don't think people understand, what's truly at hand right here. Like it won't be long.
Do you think he will get like a bigger opportunity this season than in the G League?
Absolutely. Especially if they were to have all of these people out. I'm expecting already people to be on the active roster. And now you telling me dude just went overseas. That's the second guy that left. The other dude went to Greece. So I mean hey, more the merrier. I think this provides more of an opportunity for Liangelo Ball.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Facts.
That's a fact. It's just like I'm just trying to get certain people on the panel fight to understand. And can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
No. If Liangelo can't get in the league, and all 4 of Giannis's brothers is in the league, and they trash.
They're atrocious.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on.
But
I
again,
think y'all it's like y'all gotta understand the team don't view Jello the way y'all view Jello. Like we just because y'all say like okay,
here we go with FYF again. FYF, you gotta have facts
That's
behind
not
it.
even me talking, bro. Why are you talking about FYF, man?
I'm sorry, no panic.
Damn.
I get y'all confused because you're hating and you're relicking. I get y'all confused because hey, I get you confused because when your rhetoric doesn't make sense, I just tend to mush you all together. But anyway, no panic. Again,
anyway,
who is this talking to me?
Now you're gonna act like you don't know who's talking to you.
Who is this talking to me? Say your name.
State your name, gangster.
Right. If you have something to say to me, just say your name.
Purple Baby says something. Son.
I got a question. With everything that the Hornets are missing, like a secondary facilitator / playmaker, how would Jello feel the role?
Repeat that last part.
With everything that the Hornets are missing, and one of the main things being some say they are missing shooting, but one of the biggest things that's coming up here of late is that they're missing a secondary facilitator and playmaker. How will Jello help build that role if given the opportunity to not only be on the main roster but get playing time in that role?
It's a very good question. Number one, they also need a wing who can play defense and also shoot. They need that. And also they need a wing that can also stay healthy. That's the problem. When you ask me about a second facilitator, you guys should already have that with Book Night.
Liangelo checks all the boxes is the
Right.
answer.
Liangelo checks all the boxes, but also yes.
As a secondary, come on, man.
He can be a secondary scorer. He plays just like his brothers facilitating.
Y'all really need to go watch his game, man.
Watching game. Y'all didn't watch his game. That's why y'all saying statements.
Y'all calling him a secondary scorer, and y'all calling him a secondary playmaker. That's crazy.
Bro, he was the main scorer when they all played together in Chino Hills.
All right,
he was the
best
best
glad
scorer.
you bring that up.
I guess that's
come on, man.
Stuff like that, but nothing's changed about his game, bro. He can score the ball.
And his game
his
game even in high school wasn't that of as an NBA score. His game was
the JBA, Lithuania. How many more examples do you need,
nigga? Up a
nigga?
lot of small high school
Jesus
players.
Christ.
Like, that's what we've been doing.
I ain't seen him play. I ain't seen him play in years. First summer league game. What he scored? 22 points.
I mean, but again, he's not really going to run the point. He's a shooting guard to a sport. He's a 2 to a 3. He's not really running the point guard.
Yeah,
position.
I agree.
He's a 2 running to the 3.
Point guard. He's probably 2 to 3.
And you know that's an oxymoron of what y'all saying. Y'all always say he don't get enough play time, but y'all also say
he's a 2 playing the 3. FYF.
You're missing it. So if Liangelo's going against NBA competition in the Drew League, he's getting minutes there, and he's looking pretty decent. But in the summer league, he's not getting these like big stretches of minutes. Like we're seeing him for like 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then he's out. And we don't see him no more till like the
fourth. He played 12 minutes and dropped 12 points in 12 minutes.
Like, we're not seeing him. Like the summer league is where we want to see Jello getting the minutes, not the Drew.
You know what's crazy about this though? We come out every day making a debate why Charlotte need him, and Charlotte not even doing the things to get him up there to you, man. That's crazy. Like
unstoppable. Repeat that last part.
I said what's crazy is we come on here every day giving reason why Charlotte need him, but they not even showing that they need him. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part about it.
Well, that's what he can go somewhere else.
Can I adjust some of my comments right quick?
Yeah, my bad.
Now, I didn't say that he was a point guard. I'm just pointing out what they're missing on their roster here currently. I know, he's a shooting guard, small forward type build, but it's what they're missing on their roster, and you got to take into account. I don't know why, but they are thinking about bringing Kemba Walker back. So I know what position he needs to play, but I was just pointing out what they are missing.
So let me ask y'all. So would y'all rather the Hornets bring back Kemba Walker or sign Liangelo? I would say sign Liangelo. Kemba Walker stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? At all. Thibodeau benched him for a reason. You feel me? Last year with the Knicks. So why would they bring dude back in? We don't.
They benched Kemba Walker, but Kemba Walker been a liability on defense.
Liangelo is 6'5", 6'6", a wing. You need him. They need him.
They need a player that Kemba bring. They need Kemba skill sets more than they need Liangelo skill sets.
Can I say
you'll be going backwards if you bring Kemba back in.
Can I say this before?
Listen, you bring back Kemba.
Excuse me. Thank you. Can I say
What's
this
up, Uncle Vern?
Thank you. Can I say this before you continue on? Remember, the reason why they got Jello was because of the fact that Jello did what he was doing last year. Not this year, but what he did last year when he tried to get on the team and everything. Think that. And then also at that same time, who was else they was trying to get?
Oh, that's right. Lonzo. Lonzo didn't show up. Now all of a sudden they want to throw Melo so far up under the bus or out of the way, you can't even find him. But what was the reason for they brought him in for? Because Lonzo was out there. And he wanted to get up on the team, but they wanted to get him on there for less than what he wanted it to settle for. So that didn't work out. So they can't get rid of him right now because they got Melo out there. Melo is a star. So they can't make Jello look real bad. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna put him on hold. They're gonna put him on the side until they can decide what to do with him or get rid of him like they want to do without making a lot of noise or controversy. But you can't get rid of Jello like that because of the fact that they tried to play him anyway by getting his brother. Not the one they got already by luck, but the other one they was trying to steal from. I want to tell you, the NBA ain't shit, and the organizations ain't, excuse my language, the organization leaders ain't neither. So if y'all want to keep on sitting up there saying it's Jello fault or this person's fault, that person's fault, it's the organization's fault because they ain't trying to do nothing in the first place. They had no reason to try to do something in the first place. They tried to get Lonzo. So y'all keep doing that. But that's the reason.
Yeah, you gotta fill out these rosters, man. That's all these is a roster spot to fill out
I
the rosters.
don't think they want him. And them people playing games, bro.
Yeah, like
Straight up.
And that,
Like, you got to
and
call a
then
spade a
it'll
spade,
be,
man.
if they don't want Liangelo, then they're making a mistake, bro. Because you're gonna lose LaMelo in return.
no,
I
but
don't think
I mean,
LaMelo will
that
re-sign
mean
with
he
that
making a mistake for
organization
staying around.
right. The
if
organization
Liangelo is not there.
Can I
organization
say
do
something
stupid
to you
stuff all the
guys?
time. But like I
Go
said
ahead, Purple
before,
Trap.
no
Go
matter,
ahead,
no
Purple
matter
Baby. I want
what,
to hear what you got.
no
Let,
matter
let,
what,
Purple
hold on, let
Baby
me get
talk
this
because I
out.
want to hear.
Let him talk. No matter how LaMelo feels, he's still stuck there for another 5 years. But I do agree, they
LaMelo is
dumb
not
as
stuck
hell.
there no 5
He
Boy,
years,
is,
bro.
wait.
bro.
2
He
He's
is,
years
bro.
at
getting
He's not gonna
paid for
pass.
another
because
He's
5
not gonna
years.
pass. He's not gonna pass up that max, man. He's stuck there. Just be real.
he
Come
don't
on,
need the money. He's making enough money with
yeah, bro.
Puma.
But
Yo,
y'all
listen.
gotta stop looking
They,
at basketball
oh my
from a
God,
damn
bro. Come on, man.
social media standpoint. He taking that money, he gonna be there for another 4 or 5 years. That's what all
No, he
NBA
won't.
superstars do.
No, he
All
won't.
of them
I'm
do that.
telling you
He will
that.
not. He will not.
He will not.
There's no sign.
Name one rookie that ain't signed an extension and leave before the third or fourth year. Name one.
Just because it hasn't been done, don't mean it can never happen.
It's
It
Exactly.
ain't
not
gonna
gonna
You
happen.
happen.
It doesn't
guys,
make sense
It's not
financially for
happening.
nobody.
this is Malaya. Can I say something?
Please.
Please.
One thing, I just want to say, I think, with LaMelo, because y'all bringing up his contract stuff, I don't know how much they gonna offer LaMelo. Hopefully, they offer him somewhat of what Ja or Zion received it this summer. I think they might like bring him. I think Mel might want to stay to get that max, and then maybe after he's done with the rookie extension, maybe if the team's not doing well, he might think about leaving. I think, and then on another thing, I think Jello to me is like more like a catch and shoot or like a 3-and-D guy. I think the best way of how he is used is being a 3-and-D and being a good rebounder. It's just my opinion. Um,
I agree.
and he's a good catch and
I
shooter,
agree
but
with you there.
I agree with that too. But do you think that with LeVar playing him as a point guard in the Drew League, could it transition into the NBA as a backup point guard for a team? Or shooting guard, or backup shooting guard. Because
I think he will be a good either backup shooting guard or a backup for just right now, a backup shooting guard. I always thought he was more of a shooting guard
me too.
type,
I think Liangelo would be a
or
great backup shooting guard.
I think
Real
he's more of a backup shooting guard or a small ball, small forward.
fact.
That's what I always looked at
Fact.
Jello as.
I agree.
And I just wanted to tell y'all guys that, and I'm gonna go back to the regular chat. I want to tell Flight and everybody, thank y'all for allowing me up. I really appreciate it. Um, I'm gonna head back to the chat if y'all don't mind, but thank y'all for allowing me up, and I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all night.
What's your name?
Thank you.
Malaya Batten.
Malaya Beck.
Thanks, Malaya.
What's up? Thank you.
Thank y'all for allowing me up. Y'all I'm gonna go back to like the regular chat. Thank you.
So,
Salute.
y'all
FYF, you still in
sleeping.
here?
Y'all think Melo walking away from that maximum set, man. Y'all sleeping.
Man, Melo not taking that max.
Melo's
I
not
mean, he
walking
might
away
Mark
not,
from
mi-
no
he
Quez,
might
super
not
max,
walk
man.
away
yo,
from it,
bro.
but I
He's
know
not
for
walking
sure,
away
like
from
his
no super
contract
max, bro.
negotiations will have
Like,
Liangelo Ball in it if
come
he
on,
ain't
bro,
got
stop
signed
it.
already.
Every NBA player when they get into the league, they come with that 4 years on their rookie contract. They sign an extension for another 3 years. If they want to leave in year 6 or 7, then they force their way out.
No,
Everybody do that. That's the
Hold on,
path you
wait a minute,
take.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
He gonna be there
you
for
So
see
about
him
6,
sign
7
up for
years.
rookie
Lonzo
foul.
LeBron
didn't
been in
sign
Cleveland for
up.
7 years doing the same thing
Lonzo didn't sign the rookie extension, and he went
because
and
he
became
ain't
a
get
free
there because they
agent.
ain't offered to him.
Even if they offer it to him, they can still decline it to leave. You know that, right?
No. Hold on. Alonzo
After
was not offered the max. They didn't feel like he was worth the max. The rookie extension, I mean. They didn't
But
feel like he was
even if
worth
he
it.
was worth the max, he could decline that and still went and left
No,
anyway.
listen, no, Marquez, stop right now.
You
Lonzo
stop.
was
You
never
know,
no, because you
Yo, my
always just
Quez, like,
talking. You
man,
be
yeah,
having nothing to
bro, come
say.
on.
I
well, look,
telling
the
you
you a
stop.
factual
Pelicans did
statement right
offer
now.
Lonzo a qualifying
They
offer, which
never
is the
offered
same.
Lonzo
They did.
a
They did. It was
They
the same
did.
contract that Markel
They
Fultz
didn't.
got,
Stop
which
it.
was
So you mean to tell
15
me Lonzo
per
turned
year.
down almost 200 million to take 85 million with Chicago?
No,
Yes, because
no, they didn't.
No,
You
they did not,
misunderstood what I said.
Marquez.
I said the
Come on,
Pelicans offered
man.
him a qualifying offer of 15 per year, and then he took the Bulls offer.
And how much you
right.
think he making with the Bulls in that 4-year 85?
He's making 17 or 18 per divided by 4.
It's
Yeah.
just
No, about
right.
21 each.
Right.
Well,
21
Okay.
million a year.
I'm just saying he didn't sign that extension with the Pelicans or whatever. That's what I'm trying to say.
And,
If
and,
Because
I-
the
and I trying to
Pelicans
tell you the reason
lowballed him,
why he ain't
fam. They
signed it because they ain't
lowballed him.
offered to him.
they were trying to give him the same contract as Markel Fultz, and Lonzo was like, "No, I want to
90
go
No,
million.
not
start
even
Okay.
that. Not
for
even
20
that.
more,
90
25
million.
more."
So what? Again, LaMelo can make that
So
decision.
you telling me LaMelo gonna walk away from $200-something million, man?
Absolutely, if his brother is not
Y'all,
Absolutely. If the
y'all,
Pelicans
no,
roll
no,
me,
Y'all
no,
are
yes.
y'all
some
tweaking, fam.
delusional
No,
hell,
no, y'all
boy.
tweaking. No,
Uncle
Y'all
he's
Valiga.
not.
tripping.
He's not. I don't
What's
even
good,
think
Uncle
I
Y'all
Val?
act
don't
like
even
he
think
gonna
his
be
brother.
loose.
What's good,
Listen
Flack?
here. Who just said that? Let me break down. Let me break this down. Who just said that? Y'all act like he gonna walk away from 200 or something.
He's not
Y'all act
walking
like he
away
gonna be
from that,
losing
fam.
hundreds of millions of dollars. He only gonna lose 30 million. Puma already gave him 100. You don't think he'll leave Charlotte? Come
No, he's
on.
not.
No,
That's not how.
no, no.
That's not
Talk about.
how Vince. Everybody in his camp will tell him to take the money.
Bro,
Take
what
the
is your
money. You
name,
don't need
bro?
the money
Who
on the
is
table.
cooking right now, bro? What is your name, bro? You don't know
Who?
how much money you get. What? Who just said that?
You know
Yo,
why
I
he
can't
take
see
the
everybody
money?
else.
people's
You know
name
why
on the
he take the
screen.
money? Because if all you got left is that Puma contract, and I'm knock on wood, but LaMelo can get hurt right now, and he ain't got them contract offers. You take the money when they offer you the money. If they offer you the max, you take the money, no question asked.
Sir,
Even if you
So,
don't want to be in
so
sir,
we're
Chicago.
gonna,
sir,
so we're
sir.
gonna,
That
Okay,
sound
let's
real
just say,
stupid.
sir.
let's just say he doesn't accept the 230 million or whatever from Charlotte, right? And then he
Can't
goes
even
to
say that
the.
because he is.
Can I get my thought out first, sir?
Right,
Let's
no
just say
panic. You're over talking
if he
people.
doesn't accept the extension, right? And then he goes with the Lakers for 179. What did he lose? He can make that up in
Bruh,
LA with
the
endorsements
NBA
and
don't work like that. If he don't
what you
accept the
mean? It
offer,
does work like
no,
that
hold
because
on, hold on. Let me tell you what's gonna
James
happen.
Harden just did it.
No, let me tell you what's gonna happen. Let me tell you what's gonna happen.
What you talking
After his
about?
4th year, they gonna offer him a tender, or they gonna offer him the max. But they should just go straight to the max or whatever the extension. If he turn it down and he goes into his 5th year, with a 5th year he gonna be restricted.
Right.
They got ties to him for as long as they got his bird rights.
Sir, wasn't Lonzo Ball a restricted free agent? And look at what happened. Where he at?
Exactly, and he signed a 4-year, 85 million. He signed well below a rookie
He
extension.
ain't a
What's
fucking
your point?
all-star.
It
He
don't
wasn't
matter
an
if you're an all-star
all-star.
with a rookie extension. You don't
What
need
the
to be
hell
an
you talking
all-star for a
about?
rookie extension. What are you talking about?
Lonzo Ball got the contract that he deserves. He deserved that
Facts.
85. Lonzo could have
Listen,
got 100 if he would have went to Boston. Boston was prepared to offer him
and that's
4
so
years.
less than a rookie extension. What you ain't understanding about that?
Okay, you want a
Bruh,
cookie?
I'm gonna be quiet because Lonzo's contract is fair. Is what he deserved as a
No,
as
but
a
no, hold on. The conversation is not about if it's fair or not.
okay.
Marquez said,
He should
"Look
have
at
got more
Lonzo.
money, though.
Lonzo turned it down. Lonzo ain't turned down no rookie extension. Lonzo was never offered the max rookie extension. You don't have to be an all-star to get that rookie extension.
I
That just
understand that,
escalated
sir.
the contract.
I totally understand that. But what I'm saying is, you act like LaMelo is losing hundreds of millions of dollars if he decides to leave Charlotte. He will only lose 30 to 40 million. That's what we're trying to get you to understand.
No,
30
I
to 40
understand that
million.
completely.
And in
He got,
LA
That doesn't make
and
any
in New
sense.
York, you get that money back in no time.
thank you, Flight. Tell these
Right.
folks, man. What is you saying? If
Y'all,
he ain't gonna lose,
listen, y'all trying to say a rookie in the NBA is going to turn down a rookie extension.
Yes.
we
Well,
That
I
understand
don't
that
never
it's never
said
that
been
that. I
don't
done
make
never said
sense.
before,
that.
That's
but
Hold
an
on,
it's
wait a
bro.
possible.
second.
You
Wait a
putting
second. I
injuries at
never
risk
said
and
that.
everything
These dudes
over
delusional,
what? Not
They
bro.
for a
said
sign
that.
Like, straight
200
up,
million.
y'all delusional,
That
man.
sounds crazy. That
Hey,
sounds
yo,
crazy as hell to me.
I got a question, man. After your first year, you're not a rookie no more. So how does that make sense? You call it a rookie extension. That may
You
sound
still on that
stupid.
contract. You still
Because you're
got a
on a
rookie
rookie
Yeah,
contract.
contract.
there you go, Vern. There you go. You're on your rookie contract for 4 years.
All right, you got it, man. I just wanted to throw something crazy. I just wanted to break it a little bit, man. Y'all go ahead, man. Keep shooting.
I was just saying, like, it ain't like he gonna be losing. Like, I just think Liangelo is gonna be on the Charlotte Hornets with LaMelo. If not, they gone, both of them.
Right.
Period.
That's a fact.
Gone.
That's a fact.
In the win.
And
And if
remember,
Michael Jordan wants to lose, look, did y'all remember when LeBron left Cleveland the first time? What that owner said about
And
him?
you know how long it take for LeBron to leave? 7 years.
And look how much money Charlotte. Y'all didn't y'all hear that man, whoever he was from Charlotte, come talk about how, LaMelo making all this money for the city and Charlotte and all that other stuff. And you don't think Jordan is like, man, we need to do something so he don't lose his star point guard?
No, Jordan don't care. If Jordan,
I believe Jordan does care. Jordan is a very smart man. Jordan ain't no fool.
When you ask the question, brother, wait for the answer, please, because you just keep talking.
My bad.
You asked the question. You said you don't think that Jordan ain't gonna sit up and do all. Listen to me. You said you don't think that Jordan's gonna do all he can to sit up there and hold on to Melo. Jordan care less about a Melo.
I disagree.
He don't care. When you get it, when you get it, bro, listen to me. This what's the name was right. The best thing Melo could do is get the hell up out of Charlotte.
Right.
And as soon as he get the best chance to do, he better be wise to do such. Because Jordan ain't finna sit up there and change his organization to make Melo happy. And that's what Jordan need to do, but he ain't finna do that.
That's a good point, Vern.
Jordan is a shrewd businessman. Listen to me. If you feel as though it's such a good point, why you keep arguing the difference about what Jello do? Jello can't do jack sitting up out there in Charlotte with the swarm. He can't do jack sitting up there with his brother, because Jordan ain't finna go that route. Jordan ain't finna please them. He's not trying to. So why would y'all think different then? Melo ain't a fool for being out there. He ain't got no other choice but to be out there. But when he get a choice and get a chance, you think Melo just gonna sit there and say, "You gonna give me $200 million?" Jordan ain't gonna give him $200 million nothing. 200 million reasons why he ain't gonna give him 200 million.
I think once they move them two bad contracts off the books, they gonna start to make moves, man. Like I said before, they can't do shit, man. They got two bad contracts.
With Terry and Hayward.
Absolutely.
Uncle Vern, I got a question. What if he makes the All-Star team every year?
Who? Melo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that'll be good too. But see, Jordan ain't gonna make that move though. This is the only thing that's gonna work with that though. Melo gonna have to force his way up out of there. That's the only thing that's gonna happen. Because Jordan ain't finna turn around and spend no money, man. Jordan ain't finna spend no money, so that team's not gonna get better. And Jordan definitely ain't gonna let Jello sit up there and get good.
No,
because he has to deal with that. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. If y'all catch on to this, y'all catch on to when Mitch Kupchak came up and said, "Hey, you know what? We just discovered Jello. Jello is good." He was calling Jello by his first name. Right now, he act like he don't even know a goddamn Jello. Y'all don't get that, do y'all? He was doing that just to get Lonzo to come up out there. Y'all see, that's the point y'all just don't get. So it ain't no reason to keep Jello. Jello ain't gonna make them better. It ain't gonna. He don't care nothing about Jello playing with his brother.
He don't care about with Melo either.
Playing with Melo.
So let him leave.
He
And if
wanted
you
Let
think
him
Melo
Lonzo
gonna
out there.
force
He
his
wanted
way
to
out
get
after 4
Lonzo, and
games
his whole
I
thing
have a
was to
without
get.
question.
signing that
Listen to me.
contract, you
His
wouldn't
whole
do
thing
Melo
was to
like
get
that.
Lonzo out there and pull his shit, but he didn't get Lonzo. But
Absolutely.
now he pulling this shit with
I
Jello.
got a question, Vern. So
Go ahead.
what's the future with LaMelo? Then you think he's out? He's staying or what?
He out. He better get the hell up out of Charlotte as fast as possible on the first
I'm
thing
cooking.
smoking.
You hear
I'm
that? You hear
cooking.
that? So y'all think he
Yeah.
gonna sign
Get
that
up out of
extension?
Charlotte.
Hell no.
Charlotte
Yeah, he
ain't
gonna
trying to
sign
do
that
nothing.
deal.
Hell no,
Yeah,
he's
he
not
Sign
gonna
it.
gonna
sign it.
sign.
He
He gonna
not
First
finna
of
sign.
sign
all,
it. Do you know how much money he's getting from
I wouldn't-
Puma?
Signing
no,
the extension, that
y'all
don't mean
missing
that you gotta
something.
stay, bro.
Go ahead.
No, I was
Go
just
ahead,
gonna
Purple
say,
Baby.
Whenever they, and y'all forget the bargaining committee coming up, right, bro? They about to change a
right,
lot of
but
shit,
he's
man.
gonna take that money.
Why? Tell us why.
Why
Why?
would you take the money and
Because
lose?
the bargaining
Work out
committee
in 2
coming
Let her
up,
years.
bro.
talk.
They
Let her
about to take
talk.
his
Let her
power out.
talk. Let her talk.
Hey,
Tell us
let him
why.
talk.
Why would he gonna take? Why is he gonna take it?
Because there's going to be a lot. First of all, from his stats, just overall compared to it matters what's on the market and his competition. Jordan, he's not going to reach 230 anything. In order for him to do that, he's going to have to make an All NBA team, which he's not going to be able to make. That's first of all, and he needs to take it because in 2 years the CBA, well, 3 years actually, the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement is up, and it's going to be a lockout. So it's smarter for him to take his money. That way, if they locked out for at least 6 or 7 months, he can still be getting his money instead of
Well,
being on the free agent market and
That's a
taking
good point.
2 years
Very good point.
what
So
or
about the Puma
uh
endorsements?
so she's saying facing a lockout, LaMelo should sign the extension uh to keep face and have income or something like that,
No,
right?
he's
No,
getting
not even
income
just for
from his
income.
Puma
Should be locked in
endorsements.
with a contract. And at the same
He's
time, you
getting
gotta think
his
about
income from the
injuries.
Puma endorsements.
But you
That's what
keep
I'm
saying
saying.
Puma
So
endorsements, bro.
y'all talking
Like
about this
you
Puma
gotta
shit,
remember
man.
that he get $100 million deal. That $100 million can be spread over 10 years. That's $10 million a year.
It's
That's
for 4
$5 million that's
years.
getting taken out just
It's
for
for
taxes.
4 years, by the way. It's for 4 years,
so it'll
Oh,
not
be
for
it's
up
for
10
there.
4
years.
years. So
4
he
years.
probably only really
Did
collecting like what,
anybody? Did
15 million off of the
anybody
bills
ever
a
did
year?
figure? Hey,
Did anybody
look, did
what?
anybody ever figure out why did he sign what's his name to all that what's his name? Gordon, whatever his name, Gordon Hayward. Did anybody ever figure out why he signed Gordon Hayward like that, knowing that he was glass anyway, that knowing that was the stupidest signing in the world? Did y'all ever figure out why Michael Jordan did that?
I think he was banking
I
on. He
think
was
that
You
was
know,
banking
I'm gonna
on.
tell
good
you
check.
why he did that. Let me tell you why he did that. Because it's already understood too. Because I realized that when he did that, what he doing with Terry Rozier, he wanted to sit up there and have high price players and pieces that he can't move and do nothing with. The reason why, because he want to stay right where he is. He want to be able to go to the people and tell them, look, I can't go ahead and get no bigger players because I'm sitting up here playing 50-50 with these bombs I got already. And I got all this money added out to them. So don't say Michael Jordan. Don't look here. Don't say Michael
Oh my
Jordan
god, bro.
ain't the type of person or a greedy person that won't give out no money. Now he's a smart person. He'll give it to the people that don't deserve it and hold them on so he can stay 500. And he keep everybody else being 500 or less too. Messing
I
with
think.
him. That's why people's in the pros and in the NBA don't mess with Michael Jordan. Back to
I
y'all.
think he took a gamble on Gordon Hayward and it wound up backfiring, man.
Exactly. I agree.
Hey, listen to me. And listen to me. When you say that, you did nobody else, everybody else, all the other owners in the league looked at him like he was stupid. And him
You
and
said what?
Mitch kept looking stupid. Now look how they look right now. Look at
Yeah.
Gordon. Whoa, listen to
Why
me.
I said.
I want you to get this part right here. Look what Gordon Hayward is doing right now. And look how bad they're trying to get rid of Rozier.
That's why I said he took a gamble on him because we all got to admit
That wasn't no gamble.
when Gordon
Cooking, man.
is healthy,
I'm
he
cooking
can
right
ball,
now.
bro. He
Man,
can
come on, man.
ball.
Y'all stop with that Gordon
I
Hayward
think
stuff. Gordon
he,
Hayward
bro.
ain't gonna never get
He can
healthy no
play.
more in the NBA. He ain't.
Again,
He can play, but he don't fit with
again,
He
LaMelo.
don't.
He
right.
don't
Gordon
fit with
Hayward could
Look,
LaMelo.
play right now if he wanted to, but he don't want to play because he want to sit up there and get paid. He know what to do. Jordan know what to do. This is a business. This is the
again,
business of the NBA.
he
That's the
took a
business.
gamble.
That's why
He
they're in
took
this
a
position
gamble.
they're in.
Yo,
He
Vern, let
took
me
a
ask you this
gamble.
question though.
He took a
Go ahead.
gamble and lost. That's why I say
Right.
when they can get rid of them two bad contracts, that's when I think yes, I feel like Charlotte start making moves. They just stuck right now. They got two bad
But
contracts
see,
that they
Well,
can't do
look,
nothing
look.
with.
that's my
Gordon Hayward's contract will
That's my
be up in
point. They
2
don't want to
years,
get
and
rid of those
then
bad contracts. They know they can't
Terry
get rid of
Rozier
them.
just
They just
signed an
want to keep on
extension.
telling people. They want to keep on. I'm sorry, brother. They want to keep telling people that they doing all they can and they ain't doing jack shit. They want to keep on
But
telling the
it's
fans because the fans are the ones that put their butts in them seats, and they wonder
but
why Charlotte
it's
ain't
only
doing nothing. They say, "Well, we can't do nothing because Gordon Hayward don't want to play." I mean, they Rozier ain't coming through.
it's only a certain amount of time they can do that. That's why I say when them contracts is gone, then it's really time to put the nail in the coffin on Charlotte if they're gonna do something because they don't
I
have
don't
no
believe
excuse
that.
no more.
I don't believe
Yo,
that.
Brian, let
Yeah,
me ask you this, man. With
go
everything
ahead.
that you're saying, I want to bring it back full circle a little bit back to Liangelo. So
Bet.
with everything that you're saying, what's Liangelo's route to getting into the league, in your opinion?
His brothers.
In my opinion, he better off just sticking it out there with Charlotte as long as his brother's still out there. As soon as his brother start
But
making moves to get
the
up out of there, he best to get up out of there fast too, because he tried to make his availability around his brother. Lonzo trying to do the same thing. All of them trying to do that same thing. They should stick with that same program. You understand me? Because these teams ain't finna start doing anything for them, man. Even to the certain extent with the Bulls. I'm sorry looking at the Bulls cross-added too, how they playing Lonzo out there with these weak and not making no future adjustments to make themselves better. So I'm looking at them cross-added too. That's another organization they got to answer for themselves down the road. Because Lonzo
all
got
right,
to
but
make a decision
Strength
to
of
get up out of there too. I'm sorry.
but
I
peep
Go ahead.
mean,
game,
can I say
peep
something,
game.
y'all?
Go
No,
ahead.
hold on 1 second, bro. The reason why I asked you that question though is because you made that statement about Melo, and you said basically Jordan don't really give a damn, right?
No, he don't.
So I guess right. So I guess I'm confused. How is that going to be beneficial to Liangelo?
Liangelo can sit up there and sit around there as a shot at home swarm and sit up there and get as close to he can with his brother playing in game time situations with his brother, as long as they allowed him to be there and do such. But until then, until his brother make a move, just sit there and just be patient. Because
So
that's all
basically,
he can do. Because I want you to understand this too. Remember, Jello came up out of college real early and stuff like that. And he ain't got that too much experience. And when Charlotte signed him, Charlotte wanted him to get playing time experience as far as what goes with the pros and the terminology and everything. That's how you learn. Jello ain't got a chance to do all that because he ain't got no court time. He ain't got no playing time. So
Thank
they
you.
know
Didn't I
this
just say
already,
that?
so they'll keep him behind. The coaches will give him little hints. Jello, do this, do that. This is what this means. That's what that means. But if you ain't on the court doing anything, Jello ain't getting no experience. That ain't on the court
Thank you.
experience.
but
Thank you.
that's
So they gonna
I.
make sure. Listen to me. They gonna make sure he don't get no on the court experience.
But you making
So
my
that's how
point.
they judge it.
But
Go
you
ahead.
making my you making my point for me a little bit because what I'm trying to say is if he hangs around the Swarm for that long, I mean, how long you expect him to hang around the Swarm for? Because I mean, Melo
Hey, look,
contract is another
Jello,
5
Man,
he's
not
years.
a
like
young man.
Christian Woods and
He's
being in the
not
G
even
League
20.
for
He's
7
not even
years.
what
Hell
23,
no.
24 years old yet.
Yeah,
He's
it's
just getting
time.
his feet wet. He's in a position right now where these people have to deal with him. He's real close to his brother right now. Stay real close to your brother right now because he gonna make a move. And when he start making his moves, Lonzo gonna be ready to make his moves too. And it's already understood what they gonna do. They done already talked about it.
Nah, I get what you're
Facts.
saying.
Yeah.
Facts.
I just want to know if it really
Facts.
makes that much
Nah,
sense to
I think Jello need to go, bro. I'm
to
gonna be
run that
real.
many years
Go where?
with your brother. I
Well,
mean,
look, I don't know about you being by how many years because it ain't number what 2 or 3 more years is gonna be down the line. Two at
that's
the
a
three at the
Two.
most.
Two at the most, and they gone.
Yep.
Sign him this year, or I wouldn't
And
even
he's
sign him.
and
Look,
Jello's he's still in his 20s. He's still young, and he still got to prove himself. You can't prove yourself until you
I
get some
want
time.
to.
He can't. Jello can't sit up there and run from Charlotte Swarm and then go to the Detroit or go back to the LA or Lakers or anything else. He can't do that. He's not in a position to do that. He's in a position to just sit still and hope these people just keep on holding him on until they let him go.
all right. Last question, and I'm gonna wrap it on my side. So
Go ahead.
basically, are you trying to say that Jello his game won't get him into the league?
Nope. His name won't get him to the league.
No,
It ain't
not
his
his
game.
name. I said his game.
Well,
Go ahead.
listen to me. Understand this. When you ask the question, listen to the answer, please. His name won't get him into the league. This game is good enough to get into the league because
Somebody
he's a
cook him
shooter.
tonight.
His game will get him into the
I'm gonna
league,
tell
but
you,
we
this is
ain't
the difference
seen enough
between
of
Charles.
it.
It ain't no difference between Charles Barkley and Jello. To a certain extent, Jello do the same things Charles Barkley do, except Jello shoots better. So he has an NBA game, and he can be effective in the NBA game and in the NBA. But Jordan and the Charlotte ain't gonna give him no raps, no nothing. They ain't finna do that.
I
Go
was
ahead.
just to make an observation, and point out Liangelo Ball will be 24 this year on the 24th of November, so we need to keep that in mind.
Right.
He's old, dog. He needs to be in the league sooner rather than later.
He needs to
Well,
leave.
24 is
He
when you
needs
study
to
come out of college.
leave.
That's
Like I'm
actually
not saying
Jello
like
should be
he's an
coming out
old
of his
man, but
first
he ain't.
year of college.
What I'm saying is he ain't got the experience in the league yet. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like
What are you
24.
talking about?
He's making my
24
point.
is only 2 years removed.
He has
Huh?
to leave,
Say that
man.
again,
That's the
Marquez.
obvious. He has to leave.
24 is only 2 years removed. You're doing college the right way.
Yeah, but
Right.
I'm
Am I
saying that he
tripping?
hasn't had the court time with because look, Marquez, if
All right.
you was to plug
It was-
Liangelo Ball right
I'm
now
dumb. I don't know
into an
nothing.
NBA game with zero
I'm
experience,
stupid.
I believe he will hold his own, but he would probably be getting cooked by, because he ain't had the time to be on the court with these guys. He ain't got the experience.
You're calling him old,
He
but
don't
he's
have
only
the
2
game
years removed
speed
from
yet.
college.
You know how they say like once you get into the NBA, the game
Bro,
slow.
nobody
Once you
stays
get
for
in the
4
league, the
years
game
anymore, bro.
slows
Stop it.
down for you or whatever. The game will probably be a
Kyle
little bit
Kuzma stayed for
fast.
4 years. And one can argue helped his game.
But look at Kyle Kuzma, he was at his ceiling within his first year, and everybody seen that. They kept saying they don't see how much farther he could grow.
Amen.
Only thing he got better
Hey,
at.
Kyle Kuzma is low key. Okay.
Same
Hey,
thing with
that's
Josh.
the
I'm
example
high
you
on
just
Kyle
gave.
Kuzma.
Don't
He's
shit on it
peaking, man.
now.
Kyle Kuzma low key. Hey, okay.
He
I
works
didn't
well
say
with
he was
Lonzo.
a bad player. He
Okay.
I
was
fuck with Kuzma.
Hey,
Now,
okay.
I'm not trying
Okay.
to go
Yeah.
against.
Hey, can I get my final thought off? And I'm out of
Yes,
here.
sir.
Look, check
okay.
this out. I'm not gonna act like things are so grim in Charlotte that we just like they are just so like a disarray franchise. Like they had the 4th best offense in the league last year with the only all-star being in one LaMelo Ball, and he led them in every statistical category: rebounding, scoring, shoot. I mean, almost everything. You feel me? He don't have a team around him, and then for Mitch Kupchak to be coming on, media and shit, and be saying like Gordon Hayward is our best player and stuff like that. It should make Liangelo Ball feel some type of way when him being like leading your team in statistical categories and even in the play-in, because Gordon Hayward, you ain't even really been there. You've been glass. And LaMelo still, in the first 2 years he's been there, has led them into the play-in. He needs help. Bring his brother up and watch how things change in Charlotte. They'll be so crazy. It'll be ridiculous.
Jordan ain't gonna do that.
I know. I mean, he might not, and that's okay. My bet is that LaMelo Ball will leave Charlotte Hornets if they do not sign Liangelo. Period.
Absolutely.
Period.
Hey,
That's my thought.
and
Y'all can have it.
I got a
Hey,
question.
Flight, I
I
appreciate you,
got a
man.
question for anybody that want to answer because they had already suggested it. Why Kimball Walker again? He just bombed out in New York. Why Kimball Walker of all people? Because Jordan love him.
No,
I
he
can't
fit
Or,
the
answer
or
league.
that. I
y'all
don't
love
know.
him because y'all don't love Kimball Walker like that because you didn't love him when he was in New York. So
No,
why
listen,
Kimball
he a
Walker?
cheap. He's a cheap option to what they trying to do. They need another ball handler. They need somebody who can make
They need a
plays.
star. They
What
need a
happened
star.
to Ish Smith? What happened to
Get a
Isaiah
star.
No,
Thomas?
but that's
Hey,
what they had one Ed Smith for. But Ed Smith
You
ain't for
just
that
said
role.
that.
why not get K-Bay back?
Jesus. What happened to
Right.
Book Night?
He was a
Like,
piece of
why
a
ain't we giving
Pelicans.
these people opportunities in
I
Charlotte?
think they bringing him back because they older to him because they ain't in on good terms, man. That's my
Man,
take
no,
on it.
man. You gonna leave that, man.
It's a
Come on.
Dwayne Wade situation
Yeah, that's what I
with
think it is,
with the
bro.
Chicago Miami.
Yep,
Yep.
that's what I think it is.
Wow.
This is a way of
I don't
making
think.
it
I
up
don't
to him.
think it's so. It could be some of that now. I don't think it's so much of that
Because
though.
if you think about it, they really don't need him.
I
When
mean,
you
but they
think
do
about it,
need him, though.
they don't. They
No,
don't.
okay, that's what they're trying to do right here. They're trying to find a ball handler that they can push LaMelo to the 2 guard at sometimes when he cooking because he can score the ball. So they try to bring Ish Smith in to do that, but as a backup point guard, I should say. But he couldn't really fill that role. So
Okay,
that
so
didn't work out.
It's
Now
why
they
Smith.
trying to
bring
bring
Kimba
another
in? You
guard.
got Terry Rozier, you got Ish,
You
you got
bugging, bro.
Yeah,
Book
Rose
Knight.
he ain't gonna run the point.
Yo, Kemba Walker right now compared to Ish Smith is the same thing, bro.
He's not.
That's
Kemba,
a fact.
You don't need
Kemba is
Kimba
not
Walker.
that ill right
And
now,
Charlotte
bro.
does not need
they
Kimba
may
Walker.
be the same thing, but it's this time. Like I say, it's not so much of what you're saying as far as they bring in Kimbo back because they feel bad as much as they just feel comfortable with him.
Fuck.
Think
Kimber
about
Walker
it.
coming
You
off
need
the
a
Being
bench.
guard.
Kimbo
Bring in
comfortable,
put
don't
up
lift
If
the
couple
Kimber
stats
wings.
in
Walker
one
coming
game,
off
man.
the
Charlotte
bench,
needs another guard. Bring in Liangelo. Not
Being
Kimba.
if Kimber
comfortable,
Walker
don't
gonna
lift
be
the
coming
wings,
off the
y'all. I'm
bench,
sorry. Being
Kimba does
comfortable, don't lift
not
the
move the
wings.
needle. He doesn't make
What,
Charlotte any better. I don't care if they need another ball handler. He's
But
not.
where they gonna find another player that's better than him right now at this point in the season,
You
other
act
than
like
making a trade?
better than Kimba, nigga. You can go look in Walmart parking lot and find him better than Kimba Walker
Don't
right now. Get out of
y'all
here.
got book night. Y'all got book night. Why y'all
Yeah,
lose book night?
your 14th
Listen,
overall pick.
listen.
yo,
I know we like to
what,
make little jokes about NBA players, but come on now, who you gonna
yo,
find? So seriously, who you gonna
what, Sha-
find a better option for what they need than Kimba right now in this
what,
market
Book night.
outside of
We
what,
Toronto?
have
what
book night.
Charlotte need to
Book
figure
night.
out is what
Book
Charlotte need to
night
figure
is
out is who's gonna replace Bridges.
That's a fact.
That's what they need to figure out.
I got to answer
they
that.
got that on the
PJ
roster
Washington.
already. Oubre,
PJ, it's gonna be a collective.
DJ,
Okay, my
Kai Jones, or what's the other one? JT Thor, one of them.
there we go. There you go. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a
That's
collective.
And at the same
like
time,
And
Miles
then they
Bridges does
still
start the
got
ball
Kelly
like that.
Oubre. They still got Kelly Oubre. So I'm not really worried about Miles
Yeah,
Bridges production.
Kelly Oubre is a ham sandwich, bro. He's not
No,
that
he's not.
guy.
He's pretty good.
He's
He's
not
pretty
the
good.
Yo,
guy. No, he's not that
He's
guy.
pretty. If you
they
go
need a
look at his
lob threat.
highlights,
Playing
Marquez,
with
he's
Melo,
pretty
you
good,
always
man.
need a lob threat, bro.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He played with LaMelo. You're not gonna find
Lob
another
threat.
small forward
Then
Lob
that's
again,
threat.
like
Melo
unless you
makes
get
anybody better
Pascal.
anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Like
Right.
Pascal, somebody.
it
So
is what
I
it
think
is.
Kelly fits real good with
Man,
Melo.
Melo is gone, bro. Why y'all keep making
Anybody
it seem
really.
like Melo's gonna leave? Melo's going. Melo's leaving.
Now,
I
at
mean,
the end
I
of the day,
really don't know if he's gonna leave or not. I'm just saying,
nah,
No, I'm
Liangelo is
stamping it.
priority. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Like
I'm
we
stamping
need
it. He's
Liangelo
gonna
on the
leave.
squad.
I'm stamping it. If he don't leave,
Melo's gonna end up in LA eventually.
Yeah, I think so. Clippers or Lakers?
LA or New York,
Lakers,
Huh?
Lakers,
Zoe's gonna end up there too.
and
Everybody
they
gonna
all
see
gonna be playing on Lakers.
Now, Liangelo, I ain't trying. I'm not a shit on Liangelo person, but I'm a realist, and I look at shit realistically. And at the end of the day, it's not just your game that gets older, but your body gets older too. You understand?
Oh my God, you goofy 2 years
Leangelo's
out of
young as hell.
college. You goofy.
You
What'd you
keep
say,
telling me
Clark?
with this two years out of college shit, bro. Nobody says 4 years, but go ahead, bro.
Goofy. Actually, I know there's multiple players that actually stayed 4 years in college, and one could argue their game is
That's
better.
considered old though.
But
When you do
two,
that, it's considered old. Football, definitely in football, but especially in
Okay,
basketball.
and
It's
you
old in
saying
basketball. Like
you
he ain't
saying
got no NBA court time at all except summer
hey,
league. Like,
neither college,
come on,
hey.
neither college, and that's the whole thing that I'm trying to get across to your statement. You keep saying
exactly.
it's 2 years out
Okay,
of college, but he did not play in
36, 8,
college.
and 7.
He played maybe 1 or 2 like
It
preseason
is,
games
and I
in
know a
college.
player
So
right now who dropped 36, 8, and 7.
My
we
whole
ain't
thing
shitting
is,
on him, Marquez. We just saying he ain't got the court
nah,
time.
nobody's shitting on him.
You
All
know,
I'm
he
trying to
just ain't
say,
got the court time, and it's a valid argument. But he needs
my
more time on the court with these players.
with NBA players, NBA minutes. But the problem I have with Liangelo, not even Liangelo, the problem I have with the league is that at the end of the day, Liangelo is a catch and shoot dead eye. At the end of the day, that's what the NBA is about. So I just don't see why some team other than Charlotte don't pick this dude up.
That's what I'm saying. Like
He's a shooting
Utah,
threat,
like
period,
go
and
put him
that's what's
over there
bothering me.
with Utah can grab him. Any team really. Houston could grab him. The Oklahoma City Thunder, Detroit. Fuck no, man, come on, man.
And my whole thing is when Vern said that he should stick with his brother, that's my
Man,
whole thing.
37 is old. 37
Yeah,
is
you can
old.
even Boston could use him. Even Boston could use Liangelo right now.
He's an automatic bucket, bro.
For real.
He's an automatic bucket. And if
I know
JJ
it wouldn't
Redick
be
could
none
have
of
a
that.
career, If JJ
Yeah.
Redick could have the career that he had, how the hell you don't pick up Liangelo Ball? That's my problem because he's a similar player when it comes to shooting.
Shooting.
I don't know
JJ
about, I don't
JJ
know about
Redick
I
similar
said that.
players.
J-
I don't know
JJ
about
Redick
similar
has
players.
no handle, but he had a long ass career.
Yeah,
JJ
that's
Redick,
true.
JJ Redick
That's
can
true.
run around screens all day. JJ Redick gets some shots off,
Yep.
difficult
Yep.
shots.
Them
Like
You see
screen
how
run.
we
That's
say
what I
that?
was about to
Listen,
mention that.
you
you
say
can't
how
you
we
can't
say you
compare
say.
Jello and Redick. Redick been his greatest
Oh, you
college
Yo,
can't.
bro,
basketball
what do you
You
player.
mean
can't.
you can't? You act like coming off a screen, bro. Who the hell can't come off a screen? All
All
you got to do is
game,
run.
all
You're not
game,
setting the screen.
all
Nah, there's an
game.
art to running off screens, dog. Like you can't.
Nah, but
I mean, you
bro,
got to
Oh my
fight through
gosh.
picks and all that type of shit. You
That's
got.
all
I mean, and
game.
Liangelo's a big guy. He ain't. He's a big
no,
6'5". He ain't just like
you're
Yeah.
making
skinny,
my
skinny
point.
like
So
JJ.
you're making my point. So if he has to fight through something, he has the body to fight through it. So you
But
making
Right.
my point.
well,
You
he ain't.
understand?
He
But if
ain't
And
you a
as
he's a
bigger guy,
agile
you gonna
as
get
he's
called
like.
for offensive foul a lot
and
more than Redick.
I don't know, bro. I don't know,
bro,
bro.
and that's not
It's
even the
always
point.
something.
If your teammate is setting the screen, all you got to do is get around what he's setting. You understand? And
But
like
That's
I said,
edge.
okay,
he's an
so
automatic
so the
bucket.
question
So as
is,
soon
have
as he
you ever
catches
seen
the ball, he
Liangelo run
releases.
off or come off a screen?
Say it again. I
Maybe
apologize.
like how JJ Redick runs, like he runs pretty much all game. Have we ever seen Liangelo do that?
No, we don't
That's
say,
not
but
his
he
game,
doesn't.
so there's no
No,
comparison there.
there is a
The shooting,
comparison.
I give you,
The,
but the
co-
running
the
from screens, no, sir.
but
I'm
you
not
brought
giving
that
you
up.
that.
You
No, I
brought that
didn't.
up. Yes, you did.
I didn't
You
say
brought
nothing
up the
about running from
I
comparison.
brought
screens.
that up because that's what Redick do
Okay,
all
there we
game. That what Curry do all game. That
Yeah,
what Clay do
and
all game.
and he reiterated what you said. And what I'm trying to say is, regardless, you find a system for him. At the end of the day, all right, Klay Thompson don't run all day.
He
Klay
Right.
runs up.
Thompson
He
No,
has,
run.
you're right.
He
But
run
he
but
as
gets
much as he
plays
can.
called for
Maybe
him, is
not
what you're
this.
saying, right?
so what? Cole plays for him too.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, call plays. Okay, yeah, I agree. I agree.
You understand what I'm trying to tell you? You got to
So what's
fit
the
him in.
difference between JJ and Jello? Can they answer that?
Now, Marquez,
JJ been a
we can
career
leave it alone.
40% shooter.
But no, this is the point that I'm trying to make, though. You got to find a way to fit him into your system. He's a catch and shoot player, period. Like, everybody keep making him a point guard, making him a small forward. Yo, dude is a dead eye, period, bro. The minute the ball leaves his hand, it hits the bottom of the net. I don't see how the
Facts.
NBA can't do nothing with that.
I don't really necessarily think LeVar was trying to make him a point guard. I would just think that he was trying to showcase Jello's, like, look, my son can dribble,
Playmaking
my son can
ability.
pass the ball, my son can do exactly the same things Lonzo and LaMelo can do. And I agree with
Right.
LeVar to an extent. It's just not as polished or as flashy as Lonzo and LaMelo. He has it, but it's just not as like around the back passes or, no look passes or nothing like that. Liangelo doesn't do all of that. You know what I'm saying? But he does have the similar same skill set that Lonzo and LaMelo has. Is just not as flashy. If
Yo,
that makes any sense.
Liangelo is a better
I don't know about
passer than Klay Thompson, hands down.
Oh, for sure,
Facts.
for sure.
Right? And he's a dead eye. So if Klay Thompson can have that career, why Liangelo can't have that
Y'all,
career? That's just the point I'm
Because
trying
the
to make.
name. It's
So
because
why
the
the
name.
obstacles?
to the
That's the
wrong
point. What's the
players.
NBA
It's
trying to
because
do
the
with this
name.
man?
It's the name. It's the last name. It's the name.
But there's two of his last names already in the league. So give it
So what's
up.
the excuses? So what's the excuse?
I'm asking you, what's the problem?
Everybody been
There's
trying to
already
figure
two
this out
balls
for years,
in the league already. So what's the problem?
Hold on. See, I don't when I give back criticism about Liangelo, it's never like versus how his brothers play. Because I can
That's
understand
Cap.
when you
Let
ever
him
hear me
finish,
say that,
Marquez.
Marquez.
Go.
That's Cap.
No,
He
hold
keeps
on.
going
Let
around in
Marquez
circles.
talk real quick. Marquez, when you ever hear me say that?
Yeah,
You literally
finish your
said that
statement,
2
bro.
streams
FYF say
ago.
that you say FYF say that earlier. He ain't never say
No,
that.
you
So
said
when
that
I
2
say
streams ago. And
Now
you're
let him
saying it
finish,
again
bro.
now with your rhetoric.
you would never hear me compare him to his brother because I know I can see firsthand
Really?
why and he that
Come
the fact that
on,
he
man. You
don't have
compared them 2 streams ago. You're a hypocrite.
Wayne. You saying 2 screams ago? What did I say? Say exactly what I said.
You
I would
said, and I
compare
quote,
them.
that Jello is you said, and I quote, that Jello is not a better passer, is not a better ball handler than his brothers. The fact that you brought up Lonzo and LaMelo and this is supposed to be a Jello conversation on this game, you're already comparing him.
First of all, what
But
you
I would
talking
compare
about? Marquez, what you talking about is when I was saying passing wise, I wouldn't put him on the same level as his brothers, and the only reason
But you
why
compared him to his brothers,
let me
did you
finish.
not?
Let him finish.
Let him
Let me finish
finish,
because
man.
I
He's gonna
clarified
literally
it.
say that I
I
compared him to his
clarified
But
brothers
let
by
him
this,
passing.
finish,
Marquez.
regardless of what he's gonna say. Let him finish.
I clarified this the same day when I said it. I said the only reason why I say his brothers because that seemed like the only basketball that you're familiar with is his brothers, and I don't want to compare him to LeBron passing or Chris Paul passing or Rondo passing. So I brought somebody that you would be familiar with and say, okay, look at their passing skills, then look at his passing skills.
There's
Outside of
other
that,
players that can pass the ball. You didn't have to
no,
compare him to his
listen,
brothers.
but no, Marquez,
You
we've
did
been
it
doing
because
this.
you wanted to.
Hold on, we've been doing this the other day.
You did
Everybody
it because
been
you
on the
want
panel.
to.
No, listen, everybody been on the panel challenging your basketball acumen, and you've been failing for 4 hours straight,
I don't give
right?
a fuck what
So
anybody say.
okay,
Answer
Hey
the
yo,
question, my nigga.
hold on, no, I telling you why I use the brothers. So the reason why I use Lonzo Ball and LaMelo Ball passing because I
I can name
personally
another
feel like
player right now
that's
that
the
can
best
has the
version
same
of
pass
NBA
level as
knowledge,
Jello.
bro. Like that's why I use them as a comparison point.
y'all
As a
comparing the way
comparison point.
they pass the ball, but I can tell
No,
you
no, no.
one
I
thing.
ain't comparing about the way they
I
pass
can
the
tell you
ball.
one thing
I
that all
talking about the
three of
You
them
just
have.
said
basketball
that, you
IQ
goofy.
offensively.
You a goofy nigga, bro.
Tell you one
which
thing that all
is
three of them have.
which is
IQ. I
I don't think so.
you
I don't think they got the
correct.
same level of IQ.
Correct. Very high IQ.
IQ. So
Very high.
regardless of how
IQ. I
Jello
like that.
passes the ball,
IQ.
he passes with
And look,
sense.
and y'all think the NBA don't know that? That's why they not finna have these niggas play on the same team together. They'll
Yeah,
dominate.
JJ Smitty, you
Oh,
can kiss my.
Genie
I'm gonna
Bus
shut up.
gonna make that happen. I promise you that.
I don't hurt people's feelings tonight.
Hey,
I listen.
it's
I
gonna
don't think they got the same
That's
basketball
crazy,
IQ
bro.
amongst the three of them. I think
you
LaMelo and Lonzo do got high basketball IQ,
Yeah,
but
of course, LaMelo and Lonzo are
but
higher,
like
but
that's my reasoning behind what I talk about Liangelo, right? Look at Liangelo and I know high school is different from the pros, but there's just the maturation of his game. Liangelo has always been in the same position on every team in high school. He gone from
Cap.
Lonzo being a point guard to LaMelo being a point guard. He never had
Because
a
he's not
chance
a
to
point
grow.
guard.
because he's
Hold
not a
on,
point guard.
hold
Great
on.
point, man.
No, no,
Goofy.
no, no, no.
Shots
I
fired.
He's
understand that.
not a point
I
guard.
yeah, I agree. He
He's
ain't
not
got
a
that.
point
Taylor
guard.
off again, bro.
listen. Whenever I can finish, I'll go again.
Don't be
He's
mad.
not a
Finish,
point
nigga.
guard.
No, because like I said, every time I
Go.
talk in 5 seconds into my conversation, the first thing somebody says, he's not a point guard. I never
Because he's
said he
not.
was a point guard.
Not
All
a
I
point
saying
guard.
is his game was never able to mature the way other players be able to mature because
That
when
is not
Lonzo
true. He was the
hold on,
all-time
Marquez,
leading
listen,
scorer
you
in
don't
high
even know
school.
basketball, you talking. Chill.
Nigga, you don't know basketball. You put Kobe Bryant your
Okay,
vote off of
okay,
feelings, my
cool,
nigga. Stop the cap.
cool. All
Yo,
right,
mature.
all right, Marquez.
Nah, you say
So
mature. You see, the thing is, when you say mature, you say mature as if he was supposed to turn into something other
no,
than
no, 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 no. I
what
ain't
he
saying
is.
Right.
I'm not saying he's
He's a
supposed to turn
shooter.
into a point guard. What
So
I'm
Shaq was
saying,
He's a
supposed to
shooter,
turn
my
into a
guy.
small
no, listen,
forward.
hold
That
on,
would
hold
be
on,
evolution to you.
hold on. Let's look at when Lonzo Ball been on the
Stop
team, right?
comparing him to point guards. You're comparing him to his
Here
brother
comes the
again.
relevant voice. But let's go back to when Lonzo been the
You have
point guard on the high
irrelevant
school
takes.
teams. Look at the entire roster. They had Lonzo, they had LaMelo,
Right.
they had
Right.
Jello, they had Big
Right.
O, they had
Right.
what his dude name was Eli Scott, and they
Yeah.
had players coming up like they had a damn near NBA roster in the starting five, right? When you play with
Okay,
that much talent, it's hard
What's your
for
point?
everybody. Damn, shut up. It's hard for
What's your
everybody
point?
to develop their game at the same pace or even at a pace that they would want to develop at. So when Lonzo leave, it's like, okay, cool. Now LaMelo moving to the point guard role. Now you still got Eli Scott there. So now when you got the same rosters, like Jello was never able to grow out of the role he been in because he
that's
always
not.
been
That is not
hold on. He
true.
always
Because
been think
his
about it.
role was never to be the facilitator. His role was to be the shooter.
See, that's why I'm talking about Marquez. You ain't
What are you
listening.
talking
I
about?
never say
What are
he
you
been a
talking about?
facilitator.
You're going on
Hey,
these
whatever
stupid
Always
your
been a
name
soliloquies.
is, I'm
facilitator.
lost as
You just
well. I
need to
don't
be
get what you're
quiet,
saying.
bro.
I'm
God
lost. Are
damn.
you
I'm
lost
lost as
too?
well. I don't get what you're saying,
He's
bro.
Chill,
on
Marquez.
consistent rhetoric.
Now Marquez, chill. Let him rock. He was almost
Let
at the
him
end
rock.
too.
He's saying nuts. Okay,
Now
go
he
ahead.
was almost at the end of
Marquez,
Let
what
him
he was
go
about
ahead.
to say.
Marquez, listen. The other day
Bro,
we
land his
asked
plane,
you,
bro. Land the
Bro,
plane.
the
finish
Land the
what you
other
plane,
was
day
bro.
we asked
finish what
you,
you was saying,
the
bro.
other
Finish what
day
you was
we
saying.
asked you a question. We asked you
Oh,
who did what is I forget his name? The
Slim.
Jazz coach. Who he coached? You say the Bulls. You don't know nothing about basketball. Like we play your
Bro,
card
finish
all
what
day
you
that
was
day.
My nigga,
saying,
he
bro.
Listen,
just
Stop
get
listen.
talking.
emotional.
Leave the
Back to
past
what
in
he
the
was
past,
saying.
man.
I
He,
get
he
back to
gets
what I was
emotional and
saying.
he doesn't have no taste.
You was literally
Land the
steps
plane,
away
my
from your
guy.
point, my nigga.
Yeah,
So
Right.
I
all
wasn't
right,
in it.
listen.
Land the plane.
You keep saying I stepping away from my point, but every
My
time I
guy,
try to
land
make
the
a point,
plane.
somebody
Just
talking.
land the
So
plane.
if you
You
can
was right
shut this
there,
no
bro.
dude up real
Land the
Yo,
quick,
plane.
I
Marquez,
can finish
Bro,
my
chill,
point.
bro.
land
Stop
the
talking.
plane.
He's gonna land it. Hush, man.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Land the plane
So
already.
oh my fucking god.
Yo, Marquez,
Go,
how
no
old are
panic.
you?
That's
Land
why
the
I'm
Yeah,
plane.
saying, but
bro.
how
I'm telling
old
you,
you
man. I
are?
Yeah,
be
All
in the
right,
come
cool.
on,
chat
man. Let's
frustrated.
get back to the basketball.
I think
Damn.
Marquez like to push no panic buttons, man.
He does, man. I be in the chat like Jesus Christ.
It's
Yeah.
And
crazy.
all he want to do is echo what somebody's saying. That's all he
Nah,
do.
Hey,
chill.
bro,
Panic. Don't
bro,
even
go.
stress it.
Goddamn. All right, so
Just
like
Panic.
I've been
Just
saying, I ain't
go.
even about to keep trying to
Panic.
argue
so
Just
with you no
LaMelo
go.
more.
took over
If
his
I
spot.
can't land this plane, then I don't even need to say no more.
Now, go
So
ahead, LaMelo.
I'll agree to
I
y'all
want to
done.
hear it, bro.
Go
You
Yeah,
said
ahead.
I wanted to
Land
hear
the
it too. I
plane.
was trying to
yo,
figure out where you was
Marquez,
going with it.
chill, bro. Yo,
Hey,
flight, mute
Mike,
this
you might
dude,
have to
man.
mute me Marquez, bro.
This dude is wigging, man. Now,
Not
you
wicked,
said
bro. Just he needs to make his point.
you
Other people
are
trying to
willing,
go. Make your
He's
point.
trying.
bro,
If you would shut
but
up,
you keep
nigga.
cutting him
Go,
off,
go
Marquez, you
ahead,
bro.
gotta
go
hold
ahead, go
on.
ahead, go ahead.
Marquez, you gotta have
Go ahead,
patience,
go ahead.
man.
Don't
Let
worry
him
about it.
do
Go
it.
ahead, go ahead and go.
So what I'm trying to say is, so when you look at every player that came out of high school or any team for in the history, if you were a team full of talented players, it's hard for your game to evolve past what you're doing. So we look at not LaMelo, Liangelo game. I'm not saying he's supposed to turn into a point guard. I know that's not his game. But what I'm saying is, he ain't never had a chance to where he had the ball in his hand a good bit of time playing the two guard where he had to break somebody down. So there's a lot of things in this game that he never developed. Even more so when you look at Lonzo coming to the league not really being efficient at running the pick and roll. So I ain't saying that. All I saying is right here. His game was never able to really grow into anything but a catch and shoot player because of the team he always had around him. Then when he get to college, that would have been his first chance to really blossom outside of his role. And that's why I bring up JJ Redick one time because I say even though JJ Redick can't really do much outside of shoot, he been able to put on a show or put on something for the NBA to see him 4 years in college. So when he did get drafted, even though he the one of the best, if not the best, college players ever, he still didn't get drafted in the lottery. Not that I can think of. I
No
can't
pain.
remember what number he get drafted in. But why
That's
he
your
saying
right.
all at the end of the day, all they saying is his game has never been able to grow because he always played around either his brothers or maximized talent around him. So us looking at him now, he's the same player since he been in high school.
I mean, I think we all agree that Jello is lacking court time, especially with professionals. I mean, we already established that. And as far as his development is, I mean, he is who he is. I mean, he does have similar skill set as Lonzo and LaMelo. It's just not as potent and is out there. You know what I mean? But he's definitely a great basketball player, a great scorer for
So let
sure.
me ask you a question about that then. So why do you feel like his skill set that's similar to his brothers is not as potent right now?
Lack of court time. I just said it. He needs to be playing with NBA talent, not these people. That's why I was saying in the chat when some dude was talking about like, oh, he's playing against Hezzy God, and I don't give a damn who he's playing. I'm not surveying them. They're not league bound. Liangelo could be because of his brother. I'm
Okay, well, I
scouting
got one more
Liangelo.
question when you done.
Okay, go ahead.
No, if you no, just so I would you done.
I'm watching like in a Drew League. I'm watching Angelo's point guard skills, how LeVar's playing them, so forth and so forth. When he gets over there with the Hornets and all these people in the summer league, he's standing in the corner, and when the ball comes to him, he's shooting up shot. That's not really showcasing his skills as a point guard, as him dribbling, as him bringing the ball up the court, etc. You know what I'm saying? That's not showcasing what he can do. So he's limited on whatever the coach is telling him to do. Now, I would have loved of him going into the Charlotte Hornets this year in summer league as a point guard of what piggybacking off what LeVar is trying to showcase him as. That way, a team can pick him up more easily. Like, okay, oh well, damn, Jello can bring the ball up the court. Jello can run offense, pick and roll offense instead of this advance the ball up the court real quick. Whatever style LeVar has been playing because he's comfortable in that system. You know what I'm saying? He's very, very comfortable in LeVar's system. He's been running it his whole life. Him, Lonzo, and LaMelo. That's why you said it was difficult for Lonzo Ball to come in and run a pick and roll offense because he ain't never did it before. And once
That's
he
my
got
point.
it, he's perfecting it. You know what I'm
That's
saying? He's
my.
very good in it.
But see,
And I
that's my
believe,
point about
excuse me,
Nah,
hold on.
Liangelo.
but
Let me
you
get my
see,
point off.
no,
Let me get this last point off because it's
Go
important.
ahead. Go ahead.
I believe if Liangelo Ball gets the exact same opportunities as his brother or any other NBA player, he'll pick it up quick. But he needs the court time. He needs time on the court. You can't learn it. I mean, he can observe and be like, okay, I need to be doing this, but he's not in the game.
see, no panic. I peep what you was about to say, but I kind of want to quote it off because he literally just told you. You saying that's your point, but listen to what he just told you. He says it's because he's not getting NBA time. You see, the reason why um, Lonzo got better is what he's trying to tell you is because Lonzo got NBA time. So don't say that's your point. You got to peep his
No.
point.
I ain't talking about as far as like him getting better. I ain't talking about skill sets. You can have a skill set and don't have a limit or how good that skill set is. It's just a skill set.
Nah, you said that's your point. That's what I'm speaking
No.
about.
That's yeah. And my point is, Liangelo's skill set has not grown outside of what it is since high school because he's never been in a position where he had to do more than what he was doing in high school. Like just to ask him, ask him a question or whatever. I mean to ask him when outside of high school, whatever the skill set, just the skill set that Lonzo got now and LaMelo got now. When was the first time you see that same skill set on the court after high school?
The JBA, Lithuania. What I mean, come on, man.
No. I talking about just okay, one at a time. Lonzo. When the first time you see that skill set after high school?
UCLA,
Okay, now LaMelo. When the first time you see that skill set?
Spire, the Hawks. Whatever he went over to Australia.
So okay, Spine Hawks. I'll give you that too. Okay,
Okay,
so with Liangelo.
I'm cooking you, bro. Come on,
Yo, who's that talking? What's your name, bro?
Slim.
Yeah, you cooking, bro.
I know.
You
I'll be happy.
Keep
mixing
going, broski.
you
Keep
mi-
going.
you
Come
mixing
on.
the hell out that pot right now. Go ahead, bro.
I no
more
no.
questions,
Listen,
please?
I'm not asking you the question like I'm challenging it. What I'm
No.
saying is,
I know. I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead.
so when was Liangelo first season after high school that he played extended amount of time, regardless of what league?
Okay, so after high school, Liangelo should have got extended time with UCLA, but the whole glasses debacle happened.
Yeah.
Right. And then so LeVar had to create the JBA. Excuse me, LeVar had to send him to Lithuania. Lithuania. How do you say that shit? Send him overseas, right?
Lithuania.
Okay, send him overseas. He was the man, the first year leading scorer on their team.
I'm
He
glad
was
you brought
balling
that
out
up.
there.
And what
You feel
was
me?
the skills? What was the skill set in Lithuania?
His skill set that he was a sniper. He brought the ball up. He rebounded. His basketball IQ, etc. He plays just like his brother when given the opportunity, but he has to
So
get
he
the
played.
court time in.
So
Yo,
he played exactly like Lonzo /
So,
LaMelo
so
in
let me
that
tell
1
you.
year at Lithuania.
So with his development, it is lacking because he ain't had the court time. He ain't played against nobody but the people from Lithuania or whatever you want, however you say that bullshit, and the JBA, and now the summer league. So yes, he's lacking court time. That's it. Other than that, Jello is ready.
yo, I was
NBA bound. You seen it last year in the summer league. I said the only question mark I had was, can he play with NBA competition? And then was first step on the court in summer league. What'd he do? Please tell me.
Listen, when he been in Lithuania, I feel like he ain't get the shot he's supposed to get. I feel like they've been playing him, boy. They bringing him over there for no
Lithuania was
reason.
garbage,
No,
bro, because
yeah,
it was
like they
a
ain't really giving
subpar
no time,
league.
nothing like that. The
Yeah,
JBA,
they was jerking him around there too.
yeah,
LeVar had to
that,
pull up that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
100%, 100%.
So he, like I said,
JBA,
he's
he get more
lacking court
time.
time. He's only lacking court time. If he was to get with, did y'all hear what LeVar said when he was on AB's channel? He said that Charlotte and the Swarm was supposed to bring Liangelo over there and develop him and all that other shit. And he ain't, and they're not giving him the goddamn court time. Even last year when he was in the G League, they wasn't giving him court time. They were barely even playing him because the NBA knows as soon as he gets, man, the minutes that he give him 30, 40 minutes. When has he ever played 30, 40 minutes in the summer league, the G League, or wherever, any damn thing? He
Yo,
has.
let me ask y'all a question though. You brought it up, and I want to see. I'm just trying to be fair here.
All right.
You understand? And I want y'all honest opinion based on this question. Is it fair to say, because based on the UCLA situation, is it fair to say the reason why he's going through all of this is because of him?
Because of UCLA?
No, because of him.
Because of the glasses debacle?
Because of the choice that he made. Is it fair to say that?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, hell no. Over some $1,500 glasses, he can't get a shot in the league? Hell no. It has to be something else than that. I'm sorry.
That's
There's
what
players. Excuse me. The what's his name? Caldwell Pope had a fucking ankle monitor playing in the league, and you tell me Jello stole some goddamn glasses and can't get a shot? Stop.
I love it. I love it.
But no, see, and
That's
that,
I'm
and
a
that I
grown
think
man.
that, I think that would be my, I think
love
that'd be
it.
my issue with what y'all be saying, right?
I love it, bro.
You saying about like you talking about his play time on the court, he don't get enough time. Cool, I can agree to that, right? If I sit here and say, okay, I agree, he need to get more time. Cool. So when he asks if that's a fair assessment to say that's his fault for the glasses or whatever, like the glasses been a part of the reason why he didn't get to play at UCLA. And mind you, now they say they're gonna suspend him indefinitely, but then when LeVar found out, they're like, "Oh no, it definitely means we ain't gonna tell y'all when he might play the whole season." He
can I
pulled
say
him out
something?
altogether.
See, the reason
Can
why
I
I
say
brought that up is because what I'm trying to say is there's something called a domino effect. You understand? And sometimes when you do one thing, it leads to or you make one decision, it leads to another decision and leads to another decision. So I'm just trying to figure out if, because mind you, you just brought up what LeVar did. You understand?
Mhm.
And so did that create that turbulence or that ricochet? You understand?
That's what I
have
was
him
about
in
to say. LeVar might have pulled him out of UCLA too soon, which is an unpopular statement, but that's his kid. He can do whatever he wants to. But he probably could have. He
No,
probably altered
absolutely.
Jello's
You're right.
future.
That's
You know
his
what I'm
kid.
saying? He probably altered Jello's future by saying he could have just waited it out. Jello could have got suspended for a whole year. Because what would have been the difference?
I can't say that he altered his future. I think that's a tough call.
He did.
I mean, like I said, they had
he
I can't
pulled
say that they
Liangelo
had
from
no. He didn't. Oh no,
UCLA.
they had to pivot. I mean, it was a pivot. I mean,
Okay,
you
but
can still. I mean, listen. Like I said, I mean, I'm not the parent, but LeVar Ball made an executive decision.
Mhm.
And like I said, that's what had to be done at the time.
Can I ask you a question,
So
Flight?
Do you feel it was an emotional decision though?
No,
more so than executive?
No, I think it was a business decision. Jello needed to get games played. It wasn't beneficial at the time for Jello just to sit there on ice.
Yeah, that's right, because LeVar wanted his son to keep on
Right.
playing and not sit for an entire year. I got you.
And there was no timetable on his return, and the way things was looking, it was looking like it was going to be a minute.
Cool.
So I mean, it's like I said, we gotta remember everything and take everything in totality. Sometimes we miss things. I do too at times.
Right.
But no, like he been saying, like that's a good observation, like a domino effect. Like how y'all, like right now, everybody's saying Liangelo need more time on the floor, but it's like I mean, like I said, that's a good observation with the domino effect thing, because I feel like I mean, I might not be within my rights to say it been an emotional decision, but it's like, I mean, he could have benefited from time to being at UCLA, like. He probably wouldn't be going through none of we going through if he really was NBA talent, like y'all believe. Like I don't think he would be going through any of that.
If he
2 or
was
3 years.
he is NBA talent. The
I mean, that's
NBA
your
just don't
opinion.
want to let him in for some reason, bro. I just think it might be because of money. They ain't finna give all them niggas that money. Because if you really look at it, man, they all first round picks, man. Maybe even LaMelo Alonzo maybe number 1 picks. Liangelo probably been in top 10 if he would have stayed at UCLA. And they would have been balling contractually.
That's what
they already are.
Now you cooking with what you're saying. I just figured that the UCLA light would have been a better light. You understand, more consistent light and a brighter light, so to speak. So you could have showcased his skills in UCLA, and at the end of the day, his acclimates would have been able to be totaled up a whole lot better instead of him jumping around all over the place. But it's the past, and what's done is done. So we can't sit here and really stress it that much.
Thanks.
But at the end of the day, I just wanted to see how y'all felt about it. That's all.
Well, we can be in agreement with that, man. But I believe LeVar did make a business decision. He wanted his sons to keep on playing and who he had a business plan, and it all worked out because, you know, the BBB brain is still thriving. Liangelo Ball is in the league. And Lonzo and LaMelo are both thriving. So they are all doing well, man. It's just only a matter of time. He is NBA talent, whether y'all like it or not. Where y'all think he can play or not. He's NBA talent. He just needs the court time. They gave him 22 minutes last year in his first game in the summer league, and he showed his you know what.
So let me ask you this question. You believe that an NBA organization will see a player that's NBA talent that's ready right now, that's a knockdown shooter, that's like how y'all say is a dead-eye shooter. You think they're gonna see that, have him on their roster, not put him on no two-way or nothing like that, like risk him leaving?
But you see, what you asking is what the problem is, though. You see, that's the problem that I'm having. You understand? Like, why is the team not picking him up? Because he is NBA ready when it comes to that, and that's where we're all confused at. No panic. So, asking that question is, you know, it's up in the air. None of us is in the NBA or in that top box to answer that question. The Knicks could pick him up.
Yeah,
you understand? Indiana could pick him up.
Indiana should pick him up. The Knicks definitely.
We could go on and on and on and on with teams that could pick him up, and nobody's not picking him up, and that's the problem.
So why y'all think he? If that's the case, if y'all like, not saying if y'all believe that, because this ain't me agreeing or disagreeing. This is me asking questions right now.
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all think Liangelo Wayne take it upon himself to try to go somewhere else, whether it's overseas, whether it's another G League team, whatever? Why you think he ain't made that decision yet? Because us as fans,
he has two brothers he has two superstar brothers in the league, and one of them is going either in the Bulls, Chicago, wherever. He's going to be in the league. And like, do y'all not hear what LeVar be saying? He has
no. Hold on.
Brothers.
Before you get into the LeVar thing, okay. I won't hear that question without bringing up the brothers. Just come on his own merits.
On his own, right? Like his own man, right?
Yeah.
I would answer that by saying he has more leverage by being here. You understand? Like, and yes, you're gonna say don't look at the brother thing, but you got to keep it 100. Like, why you go overseas? You out there by yourself. Your father ain't gonna go with you. Your brothers ain't gonna go with you. Your moms ain't gonna go with you. So why is he going to? I mean, you already see what's going on with Miss Brittany Griner. So you got to keep all of these things. You got to keep all of these things into. Yeah, brother. What you saying?
I was saying, like, why would you want to? I mean, overseas he could get paid right now if he really wanted to play. I'm pretty sure China would, any overseas team would love to have anybody. But why would you want to go over there when there's language barriers and all these obstacles and uncomfortable being over there, out of your element, not in America, and you got two superstars? I would wait it out.
You got two brothers in the league. That's what I'm trying to say. You got to put all of that into context to finish what I was gonna say.
Well, let me play devil advocate with this question.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody can make the assumption, or not assumption, somebody can make the argument that he went overseas when he been 18.
But he was with his family though.
Yeah, exactly. LeVar.
That's the difference.
Okay, so what was the purpose of going overseas then?
Because of UCLA, bro. Dang, we just said that.
The UCLA issue.
No. See, you answering the question like I trying to create an argument. I asking questions because I really try to understand it from a point of view of y'all instead of me just saying what I think all the time. Like I on this panel damn near every day. My opinion is out there already. I can't really talk too much more.
He went overseas the first time because of the whole glasses debacle, and then UCLA trying to suspend him. You know what I'm saying, for an entire year or however long they were suspended. But going back overseas to play, in my opinion, would be an okay idea. But I would wait it out. LaMelo has 2 years left. If he has to stay over here for two more years and wait till LaMelo either leaves Charlotte or they put Liangelo with LaMelo, then that's smooth. You know what I'm saying?
The problem is a lot of people don't consider the human element, bro. Just remember, you're a human first. You're not a freaking basketball robot. You understand that? And You gotta eat, you gotta drink, you gotta take a shower. All of these things are conducive to making moves and doing things. So you gotta understand: are you able to survive there the way that you feel like you could survive? So are you able to live the way you feel like you want to live? So you got to put all of these things into perspective too. It's not like you're not gonna snap your fingers, end up overseas, and just be on a ball court.
Man,
You
yeah.
understand? You got to
About being
live too, bro.
comfortable. Like they were so
Exactly.
uncomfortable in Lithuania. Like that TVs, they look really uncomfortable at times, man. You know what I'm saying?
So, in y'all opinion, from what I get from what y'all saying, y'all don't mind him going through what he going through now because it's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel when he comes
No,
out
no.
throughout this
Don't
contract.
get me wrong. I do mind it. He should be in the fucking league. Like I
No,
do mind it. Like
we
Jello
all
should
have
be
a
in the league.
problem with it,
Yeah, we have a problem with it. Over
but you
some
got to look at
glasses.
things
Like,
realistically.
yeah.
You understand? You got to look at it like it's how it really is, bro. Like,
So if they don't ever make a decision, if they don't ever make the decision that, like, okay, let's say G League season start, right? Let's say Jello, not only is he not starting, he coming off the bench and he ain't really getting the minutes. How, like, cause my personal opinion on the minutes thing next season, I feel like he should be starting. He should be getting more minutes just off of seniority and the fact that, like, I mean, shit, he did had a couple of highlight games last season with the 16 minutes, the 22-point game, or whatever. So my question is, if nothing changes next season, at what point do y'all feel like, okay, it may be time for him to try to seek outside ways? Because I mean, the main thing is getting them on the court, right? Right.
Right.
yeah,
So the
and
main
that's
thing is getting him on the court because we know if he get on the court, he gonna show what he got, and then at that point, whether you like him, whether you hate him, no matter what you feel about his game, you can make an honest assessment because you've seen a full version of him not being able to be on the court. Him being able to be on the court without having to feel like, oh, I gotta take this shot because if not, I get yanked out the game anyway. So at what point in the season y'all gonna feel like, okay, that's it, Brian, you need to go to another team, overseas, whatever.
well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I feel like he should shop himself to another team. But just to answer your question, ultimately, it ain't really about how we feel. The choice is
Mhm.
gonna be made by him,
Facts.
and it's really how he feels. Now, if
Yeah.
he don't feel like you don't want to do none of that shit, he don't have to do it. We can sit here and critique all we want, but we're not in his shoes. So that's the
Exactly.
best way I can answer that question.
So check
That's a
this.
good answer, bro. That's a
So
good
so
answer.
so if Jello woke up tomorrow, or if the G League started tomorrow, right, and they jerking him around and all of this stuff, right? And if Liangelo said, "Man, you know what? I'm tired of the NBA. I'm tired of the G League," and he decided to go overseas,
As a man,
everybody will be following him. We'll be all watching the games, figuring out how to stream it, look at his point stats, all that shit.
facts.
So it really don't matter where he played. He's gonna have millions and millions and millions of people, and NBA scouts is gonna be over there. Probably content creators, everybody. So it really don't matter. But I
Yeah, man.
believe his best course of action is staying put, sticking it out, and like I believe in what the big baller said. It's only a matter of time, bro. If y'all don't sign him now, it's only a matter. LaMelo was. I'm telling you what.
And also to add on to my answer. At the end of the day, bro, everybody gonna salute him for the work that he did put in. Ain't nobody gonna sit there and bash him, regardless of how it ends. You
Right.
got to give him credit for consistently putting that work in. You understand? Because there's a lot of players that have not made it. You understand? That put less work in. You understand? There's players that made it that put more work in. But regardless, at the end of the day, I mean, have not made it that put more work in. But regardless, you got to praise the work that he puts in. He's consistently there. That's the reason why we're talking about him. You
And if
understand?
the NBA
Right.
don't ever let him in or give him no, because they ain't giving him no fair shot, because they ain't giving him the minutes.
But at the end of the day, man, I just figure there's a team out there that's gonna pick that boy up eventually, bro. They're gonna need it. It might not be Charlotte. That's why I don't feel like he should be hanging around Charlotte like that, even though Vern feel the way that he feel. But I just feel like he has a skill set. You understand? I think he's the best shooter out of all three of them. I
I'd
mean,
agree with that too.
that's just my opinion. I mean, just straight up shooting, I think he's the best shooter. So I do think he should shop himself to other teams, especially teams that need shooters. You understand? But if the position is where it is that the NBA got a monopoly against him, well then there's not really too much he could do. That means no matter how he could shoot 100%.
I'm gonna
If you,
rebuttal that. I'm gonna say Lonzo might be the better shooter now, man, because of Fred Vincent. He done changed the shot. Lonzo shoot 42%, bro.
but you see, the whole thing is Lonzo is getting NBA regimens, and
Oh, you're right. Fact,
you
dang, he's still
understand?
young.
Yeah, he's getting NBA regimens, and if Liangelo's getting that same thing, it'd be a different story. You
That's
understand? And that's the reason why No Panic think his game hasn't changed, because it's not that he hasn't elevated his game. It's just that his surroundings or his atmosphere hasn't been elevated. And that's not really his fault. You understand? Because nobody's given an opportunity to play in a different atmosphere. You keep seeing him in a high school, college atmosphere. But you put him in an NBA atmosphere, you might see something different.
No, I
No
mean
panic. I have a question.
that may be right.
I have a
That
question
may
for
be
no
right,
panic.
but like I say, my personal opinion on Jello, like
Okay.
that ain't changing because of what nobody say, and same for y'all opinion, like shouldn't change because of not nice say. But at the same time, like if I can't see it, not because like he hurt, not because like if you saying the only reason why you're not being able to see his skill set and everything like that is because the Charlotte Hornets ain't playing him, I don't look at that and say, oh yeah, you know what, that is true. I look at it as like, well, go overseas, let me see. Oh, go another team, let me see.
Yo, no
And
panic.
that's if I a scout now. I know he don't have to care fuck what I saying,
You
but
ever
like
heard it?
as a scout for another team.
You ever heard of this phrase, man? You're only as good as your competition.
Yep, I heard of it.
No, that's 100% true. But
All right.
the competition in the G League versus the competition in like Europe and in those leagues, the G League don't have they can't touch it.
No, I understand, but we just and salute to Marquez. I'll let you come in after this if you want.
All right.
But nah, the point that I'm trying to make to you, I just told you, you got to consider real life situations. How comfortable, because you can't. You see, you can't just go somewhere just to go. You got to understand. There's certain ball players that go overseas because they hunger levels on that level. They coming off the street. You understand? You got to understand. With all due respect to Liangelo, he's not poor. You understand? So that level of hunger to go over there and take that level of a risk, because it is a risk going overseas, regardless of how you look at it. It is a risk, bro. So
Thanks.
people that go overseas, because they could lose their life. They live in like you could be living in North Carolina, come to New York and do something that you do normally in North Carolina,
Right,
and come to New York.
right. I got you. We understand. But I tell you one thing, Jello already went overseas. We done been there, done that already.
That
I'll
is
show
true.
you too.
Right, Flight.
So he ain't going
Flight.
back overseas, flight.
No.
I mean, I think they're gonna exhaust all options and then head
There we
that
go.
way.
There we go.
I got a
That's all
I
right.
got a question for no panic.
Shoot.
So you're talking about Jello's environment and everything, correct?
No, that but tell you.
You're saying from what you've told us, you're saying that you haven't seen Jello's game developed.
I mean, same thing y'all saying. I haven't seen him enough on the court. Every time I see him, is like he's playing the same way. Even
Is
when
that
like
what
not
you
the
said? I'm not trying to misquote you. Is that what you said?
no. What I'm saying is I have not seen his skill set growing outside of how he been playing that in high school.
So you don't think his skill set evolved when he dropped 16 points in 16 minutes in the 2021 Summer League?
No, I think he been doing kind of probably the same thing he been doing when he been in high school.
Interesting.
So
So
wait a minute. You don't think he's improved at all since high school? That's
No, 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 no,
gapped
no,
like a
no. See, y'all
motherfucker.
misquoting me. I'm not saying about if he approved or not. What I'm saying is
Oh,
I don't think his skill set expanded since high school.
as in okay, skill set as in what? Like what he doing the
Okay,
same?
like okay, right. When he been in high school, you
He
notice a
was
lot of his points been coming off of catch and shoots, off a lot of fast break points, a lot of backing down his defender, which he always usually been bigger than in the post or whatnot. That's how he been getting his points. Like I mean, I'm making this up. All of us can go back and look at him, right?
my
So when you
hair.
look at him when he scored a 16 points in G League or whatever, look how he been scoring his points, catch and shoots. If he had a if somebody been get up on him, he'll get a rebound. I'll get up on him, but he'll get a rebound and a putback or whatnot. Garbage type points. Not saying it's garbage himself. What I'm saying, like like little putback points, like points that you ain't breaking somebody down off the dribble, or where you ain't running pick and roll with the as a ball handler, like
You know what?
things like that. I ain't see him doing those things, so I can't see his skill set been expanded. And like how we keep seeing, he ain't get enough time
But
on the court. So what
but
I
I'm gonna
say
say
I
is,
that's
unless
fair.
he goes
I'm gonna
somewhere
say
to
that's
show me
fair.
that, I can't
don't
really
think that's fair.
see expanded.
Why not, Marquez?
I don't think that's fair because when he's constantly talking about the catch and shoot players not being to elevate himself, I don't think he understands that majority of the players that get the NBA players that get their shots off are catch and shoot players.
Nah, well, it's just not about catch and shoot. He's saying like he don't see Liangelo doing a whole lot of stuff like taking players off the dribble or bringing the ball up. He's saying he
He
still
has
sees
shown you
them.
that
Not
before
not not
though in
bringing
the
the ball. I
JBA.
mean,
Not
like
in.
being the ball handling, the pick and roll scenarios or whatnot.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, that's
even
what
I
I'm
being a
mean,
saying.
well,
a
he
role man.
But
he didn't get much
that's more of a
opportunity.
point guard.
And that's
It was
my
only
point.
2 games
Like
really.
that
He
now point
remember
I
he
was
missed.
saying.
It was protocols, only a 4 game preseason. It was shortened, so he didn't
But
get a real good opportunity to exhibit that. But he definitely showed some bright spots, and y'all got to acknowledge that. You understand? But y'all getting to, like I said, he had opportunities. He did take people off the dribble. It was one possession, and I believe it was I think it was the second game that he played when he got some minutes. He
Yeah,
did
yeah.
have a possession where he did put the ball on the floor and go to the basket.
He put his
Like
body
I
on the
said,
floor.
it was limited opportunities. You got to put all of this into perspective.
I got a
That,
like
question. I got a
go
question.
go
ahead.
go ahead. I
Well,
don't want to cut nobody off.
Nah, but do you get, because I look at his highlights. Do you guys see him really pull up off the dribble a lot though?
Like a
like I
mid
said,
range?
I
Yes.
think that's something that he's trying to show
Uh,
NBA scouts and executives that Liangelo Ball is a shooter, a sniper. We all know that's his calling card. But the things that you're saying, I believe that's what he's trying to exhibit and show to people. That he could do more of all. That he's a multifaceted basketball player, but it's just going to take some time, like I said, to perfect all of the skills that he's doing on the actual NBA floor, whether it's Greensboro or on the regular camp. So just be patient, y'all. I feel what everybody's saying though.
Facts.
Yeah,
I have
because
a problem. I have a question for No Panic. I got a problem with No Panic saying
What's the
No
problem?
Panic.
Go
You're
ahead.
talking about the pick and roll. You're talking about taking somebody off the dribble. You do realize you're describing what a point guard would do in a half court offense, correct?
Not necessarily a
not
point guard.
necessarily.
You got wings and twos that do the same thing. You got Giannis that do the same thing at the four.
I kind of see No Panic's point just a little bit because he
Me
is
too.
making.
Me
He
too. It's
is making.
fair.
He's not. He's
It is
not really
fair.
making it make. I see it, but it's not. I can
Now the
understand what
reason,
he's saying, but
Marquez,
it's
this is
not
why
really.
you ain't understanding why he's
It's
saying
not making
is
any
because
sense.
you looking at it like I'm trying to bash him. I never sit up here and try to
I'm not
bash him.
looking
I
at.
just critique
All
what
right,
he's
bro.
saying. So what I say,
No,
I
I
no,
guess
no
you know what
panic.
I'm
He's
thinking
trying to
now. You
figure
got
it
to know,
out. It's
Panic.
a question.
Nah, what Panic is trying to say is most of the shots that he take, he's usually flat-footed first. You understand? I mean, that's what I see. I mean, Flight could probably say something different, but a lot of the shots that I
Y'all
see,
got it.
he's flat-footed before he jumps. So
Right.
what
I just
Panic is,
love how somebody can
I,
tell me
I
what
mean,
I'm
I ain't
thinking.
gonna
I'm
lie.
not bashing you.
I think we're getting very, very nitpicky. Now
It's
we're getting to the
nitpicking.
point where by the
Facts.
way
Like,
his feet is
yeah,
positioned. I think now we getting out. It's getting out of hand.
yeah.
it's like
Because
crazy.
his shot is wet. I
Nah,
mean, whether
I'm
it's
just
flat
going based
footed
on
or
what No
whatever.
Panic. Nah, you got, come on, man. You got to know ball, man. So
no, like
I
everything
don't, I don't.
Ted said, like yeah, like
I'm not.
that's kind
I'm
of part
going
of what
off
he's
of
saying.
what No Panic is saying. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm kind of putting it into perspective. You understand? When I say flat-footed, I mean before you take your shot, you're usually standing. Well, he's usually standing, so he
Yeah,
will come down, dribble the ball. A person will be in front of him, and he would be flat-footed. Then he shoots. You understand? What I'm trying to say is like a fadeaway jump shot. Two
What's the
dribbles.
problem? What's the
Nah,
problem with it though?
no, I'm not saying that. No, what I'm trying to say is what No Panic is trying to say is that the evolution of his game. What I'm trying to say. So most shooters, you understand, they would develop a shot off the dribble, meaning that if they come off, if they hit you with a crossover, bang bang, they'll fade to the right. They'll have a shot where they fade to the left. You understand? And that's all I'm trying to say. I mean, I'm kind of seeing where No Panic is going
Y'all,
with it. Go ahead.
Oh
I'm
God, bro.
I
saying
mean, I could be wrong.
with
Look,
the
yeah.
highlight.
Listen,
I'm just saying with the highlights that
Y'all
I've
can't
seen
just sit
over
there
the
and get
years of
mad because
Jello,
a
he's
person got
already
an
shown that.
opinion, bro.
No, I'm not mad.
I'm not getting
just
mad.
like I'm not
Y'all
I'm not
sound like
getting
y'all
mad.
getting
I'm just
frustrated because
listen, he ain't
somebody got.
necessarily agreeing. He just saying he see what I trying to say.
That's what
I
I'm
right.
just
trying
don't
to
get the
say.
point whether he
Right.
shoots flat
That's
footed,
fine.
jump
No,
shot, whatever.
listen to
Like,
no. I need you to see what I'm trying to tell you. Maybe
I
you can't see
understand
it.
what you're trying to say on me. I
I
understand. I
wasn't
can see
speaking to
it.
you. I was not speaking to you. I was speaking to that other gentleman. If you see it, that's great. But I'm telling him that he needs to see what I'm trying to say. If he can't see it, it's understandable. But Klay Thompson would give you a shot fade into the right. You understand? He'll give you a shot fade into the left. What I'm saying, trying to say, most of the time I see Liangelo shoot, he's standing straight up. That's all I'm trying to say. So catch and
Okay.
shoot, usually a catch and shoot player, which he is, and he's great at that. Usually that's what he does. He catch, he shoots. But in order to catch and shoot, usually you're standing straight up. That's what I mean by flat footed before you jump. Now, if that's
Right.
too technical for y'all and y'all can't handle that type of technicality, well then I don't know what to tell y'all.
I
That's
get the
not.
technicality.
I
I
was
just
just trying to
don't
make a
get
point real quick. But go ahead.
what's the critique of his shot, whether it's flat footed, jump shooting, whether he face the left, right, up, down, sideways.
Evolution of your shot. I'm just going based on what
Does he need to shoot better, or what are we
no,
talking
we're
about?
not
No, he's just
no,
talking about his
bro.
jumper. He's talking about like
I'm
he.
just saying the
Uh,
evolution of your jump shot. That's all I'm trying to say. I get what you're saying, and you want to keep it to that level. But I'm just trying to explain to you as a jump shooter, you understand, in order for you to get better, you understand? Meaning, when I say better, all right, maybe better is a strong word, but what I mean by better is that you're adding more to your arsenal. So basically, you're shooting in different ways, different forms, but you're still shooting. You're still a dead eye. But
Okay, now I get it. You're saying like Jello just has a set shot. It's just one kind of
right.
way. It's not okay, I got you.
That's all I'm trying to say.
No,
So
there is no
no
evolution in the
panic
shot.
is
He
saying
shoots how he shoots.
no, I got you. And if you want to roll with that, that's fine. But what I'm trying to say is in order to see, instead of trying to be a point guard like his pops got him doing, what I'm saying is maybe he should try to switch up or
His
evolve
style
the
of
way he
play.
shoots.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
even the style of play. You're still a shooter. You understand? But just be able to knock down shots in different formations. I don't know if I'm using the right
So
right
in
word.
other, hold on. So in other words, you want him to change the calibration of shot. You want him to still shoot, but you want him to show. In other
No.
words, for example, a fadeaway to the left on the right hand side.
Right.
Even though
Facts.
he's
Or
shoot, even
or
though
two
he's
dribbles through the
shooting,
legs. I mean,
right.
or two
Even
dribbles
though
to
he's
the legs.
shooting and is going in, you want to see more evolution. You want to see a little
It's
pizzazz
not a matter of what I want
to
to
the
see.
shot.
It's not necessarily what I want to see. What I'm just trying to say is when you do things like that, it steps up your rating a little bit. You understand? So now it's harder
Interesting.
to
Interesting.
you're adding more to your game. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So
Yeah.
a point guard would add more to his game based on the way that he dribbles. Whether he could do a snatch back, you know what I'm saying? Whether he could throw it behind his back, whatever. But what I'm saying is he's a shooter. You understand? So how most shooters step their game up is that they find different ways to let that ball go. That's what I'm trying to say. He comes like more of a set shooter, meaning that he spots up, and he'll catch the ball and shoot. And when I do see him come down the
I
court,
completely understand.
if the defender is 5 feet off of him, he'll set his feet and then shoot. You understand? So most of his shots come off of a set foot. That's what I mean by flat footed.
Facts.
Okay. I
Okay.
I completely understand. That's not what I absolutely agree with you on there. But
Leangelo just need
coming
better court time, bro. He gonna be cold as fuck in the
that's
league.
what I'm saying. Like
On guard.
again, I don't want to sound like repetitive, but people got to understand him shooting the fadeaway, him being able to not have a set shot, all comes during the basketball being on the court.
No, he does have a set
And
shot.
and if I was to be
Right.
honest, to
He
me,
has
that's
a
just
set
what
shot. It's just he don't have the basketball experience of whether he got to hit a fadeaway or not, or
Well,
he got to
that's not bad.
dribble through the legs or not.
See, that's what I mean. I want to argue with you, but I mean, argue your point a little bit. But I know how you are. But
No, I'm just no.
nah,
I have no problems. I
no,
have no problems. If you have a problem, just say what your problem is.
no. It's not a matter of a problem. I'm just saying. sometimes you say things and that's not really what you meant to say. You understand? But you do know your point that you're trying to make. It's just that the way that you say it is not really what you mean to say. With all due respect, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But all I'm trying to say is,
I don't care about none of that. But okay.
no, you're all good, man. I got a lot of love for you, Marquez. Trust me, son. It's all respect over here, bro.
Man,
You
F
understand?
Marquez.
Nah, Marquez my G. But at the end of the day, all I'm just trying to say is, based on what No Panic was saying, is that when he said that he didn't see that his game evolved, he's meaning it within shooting. You understand? And sometimes in order to get your game better or be more dangerous, you understand? That's what you have to do. You have to be able to shoot. And like even JJ Redick, bro. JJ Redick, when that man shoot, he always fading, bro.
Mm-hmm. And I'm about to bring that up.
And
That's
that
the
and
difference
and that
between,
shot he actually got in the NBA. He perfected it in the NBA.
Well,
You
I
understand?
mean, we just ain't seen Jello do these things, but he does shoot like that a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it works for him. But more court time, more if he gets that. Like I said, he will be just fine. He's gonna be a great player in the league.
Push back on that a little bit because yes, that's not necessarily court time. That's literally practice.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is
That's
practice.
developing. I mean, and so what? He don't got to look at
And
Giannis.
good
He's
word. That's an
27
even
years
better
old
word.
and can't shoot, bro. He can't shoot at all. And he's supposed to be considered the best player in the league. And he can't shoot.
Who?
Giannis doesn't fade. Giannis doesn't
Giannis
fade
can't
to
shoot
shoot a
ball at
2-point.
all.
7
Period.
foot, bro.
He's
Like,
27.
where you want him to fade to? I mean, if he fade, he's gonna end up in the goddamn stands, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But he's so dominant, and he can score in the paint. That covers up his deficiencies. That kind of like shushes the way to keep it quiet. Giannis really can't shoot. He ain't got no jump shot, no mid range, no 3-pointer, no
He
nothing. But he can
just
drive the
layups
ball
and
to the
dunk.
hole.
That's
though.
a good
and he a
example.
7-footer with a high arc. He
Nah,
shooting
but
from a
it is.
high spot.
That's
But
fine.
that is a
That's
good
fine.
example.
Like he said, but we're talking about development though. So Jello he's still a very young player. He's 23, going to be 24. He can improve.
I know I'm getting burnt for what I'm about to say, but listen, man.
Shit.
I listen to y'all all the time, and I have with utmost respect. But you see, a lot of times y'all treat Liangelo like that child that could do no wrong, bro.
I ain't trying to tell you, boy.
No. I'm objective.
You understand?
Come on now.
And I respect it. I respect the love, but sometimes you got to look at your kid and be like, "Yo, bro, what you doing right there? That ain't right." You understand? And y'all got to just keep it 100 sometimes. Like you can't just look at them like the person that just does no wrong. And just because you telling them that
Again,
he
it's
do
your
wrong, that
opinion.
doesn't mean that your kid is a bad kid. It's just that you just keeping it 100 with him. So don't think that I'm shitting on him. I love the kid. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if he doing something wrong, I'm gonna let him know. That's all.
I mean, but you don't think he doesn't know that in his head that some of the things that he doing possibly couldn't translate. You don't think LeVar is telling him that some of these things are not possibly translating for him to get to the place that he wants to go? We understand that Joe has some efficiencies, but we're also trying to
NBA is a
let you
long
know.
career, a long
Listen,
endeavor. He has plenty of time to work on these things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, being objective with Jello is fair. Like, of course, he's missing a whole lot of things that we can critique about him. But I mean, come on, he ain't even touched down in the league yet. Barely even in the summer league. So come on, we can't just be trying to kill the man because he's not doing X, Y, and Z. There's a lot of players in the league that can't do X, Y, and Z. They've been in the league for damn near 15 years. Russell Westbrook, Giannis, who else? James Harden ain't
DeMar
developed his
DeRozan.
right hand. Julius Randle ain't got no right hand. All types of players. So come on, man. We can't just be shitting on Jello because he's not doing a fadeaway jump shot or X, Y, and Z.
Julius Randle is a perfect example because Julius Randle used to back you down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He faces up now.
He still do. He still do.
Been doing that at Kentucky.
No, but he added Julius Randle got a hell of a fadeaway, bro. He'll back you down, turn around, give you a little juke, and he's smacking
I
that
know
shit
Julius.
to the rim.
I agree. I seen
But
Julius
the
Randle
point that
play,
I'm trying to say is but that's what I'm trying to say. The evolution of your game. It's like he still plays like Julius Randle, but he added this, he added that. but that shot still comes out his hand the same way. It's a left-handed jump shot, but it's
So
just
y'all,
coming from different forms and different angles.
so y'all
That's
saying
all.
Liangelo can't add this or can't do it,
No,
or
nobody's saying
No,
he can't
nobody's
do nothing.
saying
We're
that.
just saying
okay,
that it
okay.
would be nice if he
If he did,
showed his
or if he
game a little bit.
showcased it, right? Well, he got to get the minutes to showcase it. Damn.
No, bro, you got to get the
It
practice in the
goes
shoot.
in.
Yeah.
Everything they do in the NBA, they
Bro, he
practice
makes
it
that
first,
Man,
shot
bro.
first of
all
all,
the time.
stop right there.
I'm
Because in the
listening.
summer league, they have Liangelo standing in the effing corner. Am I right or wrong? He doesn't touch the ball. He doesn't bring the ball up. He stands in the corner and he plays defense. That's not showcasing anything. That's not doing anything. And then he comes out after 5 minutes.
I
Come
get
on,
what
man.
you're saying,
You
but
have to get
but
more sample size of Jello playing minutes. And then we'll see his game fully. Until
all right.
that, I don't want to hear
'Cause
nothing
I've
about
seen
what
Jello.
Jello need to be
I've
doing and
seen
can't
Jello
do,
make
or
the
none of that
fade.
shit. He can
But
do
see that
whatever
the
his
That
brothers
problem
do.
with what you're saying is like everything what you're saying wouldn't make sense except for the fact that like they any other option
I'm
anybody
out here,
bring up
man.
like going overseas or going to another team, you shoot that down. So it's like you on one end you complaining about the minutes he getting, and on the other end it's like oh he just need the minutes and then he can show you what he can
He
do.
does.
If I a scout, I can't see what he can do if he ain't getting no minutes. So I would want to see him overseas or somewhere else. I get all the other
just
aspects
Nah,
of going
just go
overseas
overseas,
is
ahead,
not
man.
an
but you
option,
still
bro.
want
I'm
to see
sorry.
him do these things.
No Panic keep throwing that man overseas.
Yeah,
No,
he
no, no.
want to see
And
that
it
nigga
ain't
in the
Nah,
that.
y'all
tropics,
both
It's
make
bro.
good
not for you
points, man.
overseas.
Y'all
I would
both
want
make
to
good
see you to
points.
go to another team and get more minutes. Because I'm pretty sure there's another G League team out there be like, you know what? We can give you more than 3 minutes a game. We can give you more than
What if
5
he
minutes.
goes overseas and he doesn't get minutes over there?
No,
Exactly.
trust me, he gonna get minutes overseas. They're not gonna bring you over there to damn sit you
What
on the
if he
bench.
goes overseas and doesn't get minutes there?
That's not gonna happen.
How you know? I
He
mean,
got
Okay,
more
how do you
they
know?
because
didn't
you know
give him
why I
no
know?
limit. Hold on,
Because
wait
he
a minute.
has more
That
leverage
it
going
has happened
overseas than he
before
got.
because they brought LaMelo and Liangelo to Lithuania and they didn't
Lithuania.
get no minutes. They weren't bare, and LeVar pulled them. So
They were high schoolers going out. They were fresh
Liangelo
out of
wasn't no
high
high
school
schooler. He
going
was
over there.
fresh out of college, fresh out of UCLA. LaMelo was the high schooler for sure.
Okay, but
And
what?
then he
No,
led them in
hold on.
scoring first year over there. So that coach in Lithuania, I bet you he's scratching his head like, man, I should have treated LaMelo better. I
Probably
bet you
is.
he is.
I'm disagreeing with you on
Fool.
that. He probably is.
Okay, yeah,
But
he's a
look at
fool.
Liangelo now. He got more leverage to go overseas. They want him to come overseas.
And I
You know,
understand
like
that.
he had London Lions that want him to come play for him,
They
right?
still do. I'm pretty sure
No,
I'm pretty sure he
all
has
right.
all the options in the world. But
Okay, so to
the
my
plan is here in the US. The plan
all
is
right,
here,
so to my point, you making my point. So
which
now
is
if you got more leverage going overseas, they can't just play you like that where you only getting 5-10 minutes at a time. They
but I'm
gonna play
saying
you
it's
most of the
possible.
games.
It's possible that they can be like, come over here to the London Lines and come off the
Just
bench.
for his
They're
just for
not
his
gonna
Because
play
name
him
and
LaMelo
that
just
went
for
way.
over
his
to
numbers.
Trust me,
Australia
bro.
and he
They're
was
not
coming off
no
the bench
overseas
behind
team.
whatchamacallit, Aaron, whatever his name was, wasn't it, until he got hurt. So come on, man. It's possible.
I understand you saying it's possible and anything is possible. You're right about that to a technicality.
Cooked again.
But
What else
no,
you
but
got?
at the end of the day, it's all about leverage. He don't got this leverage in the G
Well,
League.
Flight
He got
said
to
it,
get that
man.
leverage overseas.
I'm gonna roll with what Flight said. Flight said, "Look, man, they're gonna try their best to get it done here, and if it doesn't get done there, then we'll look into that option. I guess that's the route that they're trying to go."
Yeah. But
Thank
I
you.
mean, fuck some overseas shit, man.
You're
No.
just nitpicking. There's a lot of nitpicking
No,
going on right
no.
now.
See, that's not nitpicking. Listen. I listen to exactly what
You
y'all
want him
saying,
overseas
and
bad,
and
don't
it's
you?
no.
No panic.
Listen. It's confusing because on one end y'all telling me he don't get enough minutes to showcase it, but anytime somebody critique it, like how Tab been saying about the flat-footed thing, y'all not, well maybe not y'all because I only hear the one dude talking. You've been saying
The
no,
name is
no, no,
Slim,
no,
cuz.
no. You can't keep saying
It's
no,
slim.
no, no. He don't get enough minutes to do all those things, but at the same time, you champion him sitting on the bench for the full season.
I'm
It don't
not
make sense to me.
forget
Panic
that. I'm
got a
not
point.
championing him sitting on nothing. I'm
Okay, so
highly upset that he's
everything
not
Ted
getting
said
these
is now you
minutes
should
and
have
he's
no.
not getting
You
his
shouldn't keep saying
opportunity.
all he need to get in the game. You should be like, you know
Yeah,
what? Yeah, he
I
do
mean,
need to work on that a little more.
it goes the analogy that he's trying to say. He's trying to say if you want a specific job, all right, and you fill out that application for that job, all right. Now, are you gonna sit there and go hungry until you get that job, or are you gonna go out there and get another job and try to get some money and eat while you wait for that application to
But
go through.
come on, this is a
Nah,
poor
that's
analogy
a good
because the brother,
analogy.
he's rich
technically
That's a
though,
that's
so
what
good
he's
he ain't
saying.
analogy.
gotta go overseas to do that. He don't gotta go overseas.
No, I
For
get
He's
what
nothing,
making
no,
he's
money
rich
here in the
already.
USA,
He
no,
so
don't
no,
he's
need
not
that
gonna.
no. It's
money
not, you
over there.
see,
He's making a
Marquez,
ton of money over here.
you
He don't
see,
need that overseas
pause,
money.
guys, pause,
He wants
guys.
the higher
Hold
competition.
on,
Like he don't need the money to
brother.
go overseas, man. He
You're
the
no hold.
competition is here.
Because I said application, you guys are literally thinking about money. No, bro. What I'm just saying is now bring it back to the basketball that we're talking about. What he's trying to say is, or do you rather him sit here and not get the minutes, meaning equivalent to the job?
So
You put in the
y'all want him to go overseas and play, right?
no, I don't want him to do nothing. I'm just giving you an analogy to understand what this man is trying to say. You understand? So basically, you're saying that he should sit here, you understand, and go through what he's going through. You understand? And technically, that's equivalent to saying, all right, I'm gonna just stay home and do nothing. You understand? Up until I
He's
get
not,
that job.
man, fuck it, man. Look, bro, he's not staying here doing
Bro,
nothing. Whether
I
y'all, he
can't.
has 2 NBA brothers that he constantly trains with, bro. He's not doing anything. If he is, he
Okay.
would be a fat slob sitting on the couch.
He's working on his
he's a
game.
semi-professional basketball player with 2
Yeah,
highly skilled brothers.
I'm
He's
gonna
not
let you
sitting
rock.
over here doing nothing. Come on, man.
I'm gonna let you rock.
What I say wrong?
I get the analogy, Ted.
I'm
I
not
get the
finna just
analogy.
say.
I
I'm
agree
not
with
finna
you.
just
If
sit
you're
up here
sitting at
saying like
home,
Liangelo should just
you're
give
sitting
up
at
and just
home,
go
bro. I get
overseas.
the
Nah, you
analogy. If
ain't
you're
finna get
sitting
me
at
to say
home,
that.
you need to get another job. If in case that first job act like they don't want you, that's real.
I don't want y'all to not think that I
That's
don't
what
get
I'm
what
trying
y'all
to
saying.
say.
I know don't want y'all
You
don't want
understand? So I'm
Liangelo
not trying to
just to
say
keep
he
on
broke.
sitting
What I'm trying to say is he could put work in a different
Somewhere
venue
else
and
other
still
than here.
get to where he wants to get to, because eventually the call is going to come. You got confidence you're going to get that job, but they just don't have a spot for you yet. That's all it is. So what are
And
you
they
going to
don't want
do?
to.
Are you going to just
They
sit
don't
there and wait, or are you
Yep.
going to
If
sit
I
there and okay,
go
you
get
sit there and
yours.
yeah, but all right, if
I,
you're
I
just going to sit there,
understand, but I feel
that's what
like
I'm trying to say.
going
Like you can put
overseas would be
work in
going
somewhere else.
backwards.
And not
Going
only
overseas would be
that,
going backwards.
no, I understand what you. No, I'm not agreeing with the overseas thing. I'll be honest with you. I'm not in
Me
agreement
neither.
with it. I'm just giving you. But me personally, I think he should shop himself to other teams more
I
so
agree
than
with that.
more so
Other
than
than
what
Charlotte.
Panic is saying go overseas. But just to break down what Panic is really trying to say is just that at the end of the day, you should try something else while you understand you're doing what you're doing right there, trying to wait for that opportunity. You understand? Because guess what? Sometimes when you try something else, the other thing that you get, you might end up sticking with that because it might be better than what the hell you was sitting there trying to get in the first case.
Pretty much. And like I say, even though I saying overseas, that other option can mean overseas. That can mean other teams in the NBA. So it ain't
Nah,
necessarily
stop it.
overseas.
You're sugarcoating your shit right
No,
now.
that's what it does. Like
Sugarcoating.
at the
That's
end,
sugarcoating.
You
my
throwing
quiz,
some
you gonna
sugar
repeat
on there now.
everything.
You
Hold
throwing a
on,
little
hold on,
sugar
hold
on.
I
on. Nope.
understand. I understand, Ted, what you're telling though,
You
Ted.
man
No,
You
hold on.
overseas, man.
Ted, you're
Hold
making it
on.
make sense for
Hey,
me.
listen.
I
No
understand,
matter what somebody say, my quiz gonna repeat them. Just
Nah,
listen to what the rest is
nah,
gonna
bro.
say.
go ahead, man.
Bro, I'm
I got a
listening to you,
question. I got a
bro.
question for
But you
y'all.
keep going around in circles, and
It's not a
it's
circle.
confusing
I
me.
standing on my point.
Nah, he good. He good.
You just saying want me to give the answer that I given. That's all
Let's
that is.
You don't care about your answer.
let's
Exactly. And
shoot
that's
this
why you
question,
don't
man.
never know what you're talking about. Because you don't
Uh,
listen.
I don't
my
care about your answer.
You
my question
I
care.
don't
was,
care about your opinion. I
Oh,
understand.
you
I
guys
can
going
listen
back
to
there
it. I
again.
just don't
here we
have to
go.
agree with it.
All right, we need to move on, my quiz.
Nah, let's let him
Thank you.
shoot his
Let's move
question.
on.
Go ahead, Slim.
Yeah,
My
shoot the
question
question.
was this year the first year McClug played in the summer league?
No.
No, it was the second year.
Second year, and he got
Mhm.
signed by the Warriors, right?
Yes, he
He
did.
Mm-hmm.
got a 1 year contract. That's what I'm saying. Like Jello played last year and this year, and he still ain't got. That's what I'm saying. Like
Come on now. Matt
I
McClung
agree with the dude. Like he
even
should shop
dropping
himself
22 a
other than
game.
Charlotte though. Like
Well, let him cook. Let him cook.
go
Let him
ahead. What was
cook.
the
Let him
question?
cook. Right.
Nah, Slim, you was cooking, man. Let him cook.
I was talking about McClug because I had seen him get signed with Warriors with a 1 year deal with the Warriors, and
Bro,
I'm like, damn, Liangelo can't get a 1 year deal from nobody. That's why I'm saying he should be
And
already signed
I
with
agree with
Charlotte.
you.
He should already be
but it
signed.
means that he might have
I
to
think
leave
he's
Charlotte for him
already
to do
signed.
that.
Hey, you know
I,
Matt McClung averaging 22 a game last season, right? You know he been the G League's MVP 1 year, right?
No, he was not the G League MVP one.
He
No, he
wasn't.
wasn't.
Okay, he
No.
been
No, he
averaging.
wasn't.
Okay, cool. He been averaging 22 a game in the G League. Like he ain't just out
But
here.
that's the thing, though. He's getting the minutes to do that.
No,
Liangelo
okay,
isn't.
and okay, boom. I'm glad you said that. Stop right there.
Okay.
That's my problem. Because
This guy
any critique somebody gives Liangelo, that's the
is
first thing
goof.
y'all say is he ain't getting the minutes, which could be true.
I
I ain't
mean,
saying
what
that
you want
ain't
me to
true.
lie to you and be like,
No,
Jello's
no, no,
getting
no. I
30
don't. No, no,
minutes
no,
a
no, no.
game and
What I'm
he
saying
ain't
is,
scoring
no. What I
22
saying is,
minutes a point?
listen. What I saying, bro, is at the end of the day, it starts to sound like a broken record when there's other options. You just sound like you waiting on your brother to
Yo,
get
whose
switched
mic is
over.
that?
I don't know. No, it's not that Liangelo is wasting time or wasting his options away. It's just that, like, they have I believe that the Ball family has a plan and has a business plan, and overseas just ain't it. Other teams may
Okay,
be in
take the
play for
overseas
sure.
thing out of it.
Oh,
Take the overseas thing out of it.
yeah. Let's just the overseas is out, but other teams, he should be shopping himself. I mean, any other team that picks Liangelo up will be a blessing, and I'll be ready to see him play for New York, Boston, whoever. You know what I'm saying? But McClung got the minutes. He I guess he earned the contract. Liangelo
So why
hasn't
you
got the
bring him
minutes
up?
because, like, he played 2 years in the summer league the same way Jello did.
But it
But
don't go
Jello
by
didn't
how
get the
much years
same,
you play.
huh?
It don't go by how much years you play. You know, Seth Curry
Let
sat
him.
on the G League
No
for like
panic. Can
5
you let him?
years.
He wasn't
So
even finished
Christian Woods
cooking
was in
first.
the G League for 7 years. I don't care about them sorry niggas, man. I'm talking about this ball brother who ain't getting
And that's the problem. Y'all got to
equivalent
take y'all
treatment as
fandom
NBA
out of it,
stars.
man.
Well,
Huh?
I don't really think
I'm gonna leave it alone.
I don't think it's fandom. To be honest with you, I mean, I think he's making a realistic point. You understand? Like, granted, of all the things we do say about him, yo, the dude is still a knockdown shooter.
Facts.
I
Facts.
agree.
And the thing is about Jello, I mean, D'Angelo, to be honest with you, let's keep it 100. The reason why it's bothering me is because he's a knockdown shooter in the clutch. Like, he could win a game for you. You understand?
Shit, he can win
Like,
a championship for you.
yo,
Come on, let's go.
what do you call that player in baseball? I'm not good with baseball. What's that player that comes off he's a pinch hitter, bro.
No. He's a
Designated hitter.
DH. He's a designated hitter. He's
Yeah,
a
there you
DH,
go. Thank you, brother.
which
I
means
appreciate
that
that.
when the game's on the line, he gonna hit that. He gonna either give you a
He
single
can
or a
draw
home
up a
run,
play, a
but he not
3-point play
finna.
for Jello, and he'll knock it down.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
exactly, bro. You
Yeah,
understand?
I
And
got
like
you
and
there,
like
come
bro.
on, man.
Slim said, he
We've
can
been
win
all
you a
been
chip.
trying to debate for years on why Jello ain't getting the opportunities, man. This is the
Because
closest
of
that
his
he's been.
name. It's because of
You
his
feel
name.
me?
It's because of his
That's
So
name.
that's just my point, man. He's one of them dudes that would draw a double team ASAP. Like two people will cover
facts.
his ass.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you put him over there with Boston with Tatum, there ain't no double teaming Tatum. Y'all be a
Ted,
fool to do that shit with
Ted,
Liangelo in the corner.
Yes, sir.
You
hey
would
Ted.
not dare do that.
Liangelo Ball is such a great shooter. 5 seconds in the game, I'm gonna say I'm gonna just do a play. It's a half court situation. The point guard's getting double teamed. Drives it to the paint. He dishes out the Jello. Jello smash it. Wins the game. That's
Automatic
his
bucket, bro.
definition of being a clutch shooter. That's the problem.
And that's
I
just
think
my
that's why they
point.
was also deadly in Chino Hills when Lonzo LaMelo get double, Jello is in the corner. Or when they
Flash.
all running fast breaks and Liangelo goes straight into the corner. Sniper. He's a sniper in the bushes. Headshots.
And that's the reason why I feel another team should pick him up. Even a championship team, bro. Like
I
a
Right.
agree.
championship aspiration team, bro. Need that dude, even if it's off the bench.
You know who need
Right. But
Jello on guard right now?
exactly.
Phoenix.
Bro, he would
No.
hit that shot off the bench with no
What you
minutes, with
mean no,
just 2 minutes,
Marquez?
2 minutes
No.
left in the game, and he's
I know a
still gonna hit
team
that
better.
shot.
Listen, I know a team better than the Suns right now. He can go to and hit that exact same shot.
Tell us.
The Milwaukee. You gonna say that? You gonna hate me for this? But the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yo,
They
bro,
got some
Let's just.
snipers over there and
any
Grayson Allen. They don't need
any
I
him.
team
mean,
in the league can use that, man.
Yeah,
I'm just
you're
being
right.
the
You're right.
Milwaukee
You're right.
Bucks. Fine. If you don't want me to use Milwaukee, hell, we can
My
even say the New York Knicks.
Miami. Well,
yo,
Miami got no, not Miami.
Duncan Robinson can't put a motherfucking ball in the ocean right now, bro.
He
Cut
can't
him.
shoot.
Miami,
Sign Jello.
Miami can use him right now.
Yeah, Miami could use him. Cut Duncan Rob or trade him. Sign Liangelo.
And Duncan Robinson been running for how many years with Miami, man? And they claim he this
5
great shooter.
years.
And
Man,
Oh, you
he's
talking about
six
Jimmy
nine. He
Neutron?
got a huge contract. Didn't he get like 90 million or something?
Yeah, bro, and he cold.
You talking about Jimmy Neutron? I'm confused.
No, Robinson, Duncan Robinson.
No,
Uncle
you're
Robin.
not hearing me. Neutron. You're not
Jimmy
hearing me.
Neutron.
Neutron.
Who was that? A
Being funny.
cartoon character?
Duncan
Maybe?
Robinson. Duncan
Being
Robinson.
funny.
They got the same type head. They got the same size head.
I've been cooking y'all niggas all night though, man. You know what I'm saying? Who's next? Or is it over with?
Nah, Slim been
Okay.
doing his thing. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've been cooking me, but you've been doing your thing.
Right. I've been agreeing with you, brother. You probably been cooking no panic for the last
You've been
40
cooking
minutes.
panic.
But
Man, I'm better in the chat.
He said I'm better in the chat.
No, listen, I feel like all us essentially saying the same thing to its core. And I think with me it is more so like if you seen one scenario ain't working, it's like, bruh, be a man, like go do you gotta do. Like
Oh,
you see,
so no fun.
that's
So
how
you
I
just
look
don't
at
want
it.
him to hold hang on his brother's
No, I
shirt
mean,
tail or whatever. Right? You want him to go try
man,
to.
listen, if you
I
can
mean,
get the
I think he's
NBA, if you
tried
get
though.
the NBA on the strength of your brother, cool. Ain't nobody gonna knock you for that because you still gotta play the games at the end of the day. But my whole thing is if your fans like y'all, like me, because I a fan of him too, if we sitting there saying he ain't getting enough minutes, if y'all saying he ain't getting enough minutes, right? And then you got people that say, oh, X, Y, and Z about Liangelo. If every time they say that the response is, which it is a true response, that he ain't getting no minutes, at some point, you
You
even
say
as a
overseas again.
no, even
He
you as
did.
a fan, gotta be like, well, shit, why
bro,
isn't
he
he
gonna say
getting minutes?
overseas. Well, he's gonna go to overseas again.
No, man, listen,
He
we can
want
throw
Liangelo with the
listen,
London
we
Lions
can
on
throw the
guard.
overseas thing out the picture. Like we ain't even gotta talk
He
about
wanna go to
overseas
the
no more.
NBA. He wanna go to
We
the
just
Illinois
talking about
Hawks.
getting into the NBA right now. Forget all the bullshit. Just getting into the NBA right now. At some point, you gotta be a man and stand on something and be like, listen, this ain't working. I about to go to these other teams and see why fit in there. Y'all just name about 10, 15 teams now that can use them. So at this
Nah,
point,
but you
my
see no
agent gonna
panic.
be on the phone trying to get me at these different places instead
Nah,
of
but
just sitting somewhere not getting minutes. And whenever somebody makes a critique about me, my response is, "Oh, well, I just ain't getting the minutes."
yeah, but you see, the only place where I fight back on you with that one is that I don't think he should be going. And I know I said it earlier. I didn't even mean to say it like that. But honestly, I don't think he needs to be going to a team. I think a team's supposed to be able to see this and invite him.
Say that again, Ted. Ted, you're cooking. Say that again, Ted.
No, I'm keeping it 100. I don't think it's for
Ted,
him to
no,
go.
just say what you said again, Ted.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. I missed it.
Nah, I said I don't think it's for him to go out there and search for a team. I think they should already see it, and he should be invited.
Ooh, he
I agree with
cooking.
Guys,
that.
You understand?
What?
Marvin,
Marvin
what's
King?
up?
Marvin on
Oh,
Marvin, what's
deck,
up, Marvin?
boy. Salute,
what's
Marvin.
up, fellas?
Man, not much.
I've been listening for a long time.
What you
Hey,
got
one
for
thing
us?
about Marvin, boy, he'll be in here for 3 hours and listen.
Nah, he be on the phone though. He be doing other things,
What
but
you
he
what's
be
got,
up,
Marvin?
listening.
bro?
What's going on? I just had a question for y'all.
Let's
What
hear it.
would y'all do if you was not getting the minutes on a team and you knew you felt you had the talent to move on? What would you do?
Mm.
Oh,
Uh,
I already know what the answer is.
okay, I'm gonna answer. This is Slim. If I didn't have two brothers and I'm 6'5", and I knew I can shoot, and I knew I had Jello's talent in the league, and I'm 23 years old, I mean, the tough answer would be if overseas were wanted me, I would go overseas and get the bag. You feel me? Because
Mhm.
because I don't have two rich brothers now. You feel me? That's in the league. I'm only my own individual self. You feel me? The correct answer is to go overseas and play, especially if you love basketball. You feel me? And if you're not getting the minutes
And
here, they're not giving you the minutes. They're not fucking with you like that. You 23 years old, finna be 24. The answer is to move on.
all
The
right, now
tough
if
Can
you
I
answer.
go,
do have,
Marvin? Marvin, can I go? I want to
go
answer
ahead.
your question. To bring up Ted's little analogy, I would still get up every day, still grind. I already know in the back of my head, since the first G League season, it's a possibility that this might not work out. But I'm also telling my agent behind closed doors, hey, see what New York trying to do. See what Milwaukee trying to do. See what other interests I have, and that interest that I have from other teams is going to be is my leverage. Now, I didn't experience this thing for one season already. You know what I'm saying, Marvin?
Yeah.
If I can,
All right.
if it was me, I would realistically try to do it another season to see if I can get more interest from other teams because I know I'm getting interest behind closed doors. And then if they're not going to treat me wrong again, I'm gonna go leave and find another team.
Now, okay, good answer. Now, you guys do know how many minutes he's averaging in the G League so far since he's been in, right?
12, I think, right?
12.
Yeah, 13 minutes.
Okay.
That ain't bad.
Now, we can
It could
all
be.
say, hold on, we can all say that he should go to another team, but you can't just walk on another G League team. You have to be invited.
12,
You have
13
to
minutes.
be
That's less
invited.
than a quarter of play right there, man. That ain't even a quarter of basketball played.
I know it.
Okay.
So the reason I'm saying this is, to Ted's point, and to other guys' points who's talking about looking for other avenues, I understand he has money, but his goal is NBA. Now I ask y'all this. From what the Charlotte Hornet organization is showing in him, showcasing in him, do you think any NBA team will sign him?
No. It's too small of a sample size.
That's right.
No,
And,
it's
and
not
I, I
enough.
think I think it's purposely done because Charlotte knows what they have in GL. You should have seen what Mitch was doing on that interview. He couldn't keep his smirk off his face. That's why I'm saying, like, what's taking them so long to sign him? If y'all know what y'all have, y'all know y'all not treating them fair with the minutes. If y'all showcase him, other teams will be like, oh, look at what Charlotte got over there. Liangelo, come on over
But,
here and play with us.
but I can say this. In 13 minutes, his average is 4 points, guys. He has to bring his game up, too. He has to. You're going
How
to
can he
have
bring
to.
his game up if he's not getting the ball?
Listen, the only way you're going to get better is by, not just gunning when you get in the game. You gotta, listen, I know what you're saying.
I know,
They're not
Marvin.
giving you ball, this and that. So if you saying that, then it's obvious he needs to look for another avenue. I'm not saying overseas. I'm not saying whatever. I'm just saying something different.
Okay, so one
Because
quarter of play equal, and he's only averaging 4 points, and you telling me that he needs to bring his averages up?
what?
That's
So
basically what
No,
he's
I'm
saying.
saying
for
you
okay,
can
so
have
so
it
excuse me,
out of
hold
the
on, wait
seat.
for a second. So
Hold on,
if
hold
he's
on.
only
What I'm saying is
averaging
this.
4
What I'm saying
points
is this.
in 12
No,
minutes in play,
no.
right?
This is what they showing from you. So that means your problem is not what you can do, is what the organization is allowing you to do.
I understand that, but in simple math, if he was to play 4 quarters, 12 minutes, he'll average 16 points a game, right?
Yeah.
I understand that, but they're not
So
doing it.
okay,
So
I'm
why
just
are
saying.
you going to
So
keep on saying that if he was getting it, if he was getting it? You can't wait on that. Not unless you want to wait on it.
well, we're
I'm
not saying
not
that he's
knocking his game. I'm not knocking his game, guys. I'm just saying if you with an organization, let me throw this one stat out to you guys. Did you guys know out of all 30 NBA teams, you know who's the only NBA team to never win a division title?
The Hornets.
Oh, let me know.
The Hornets. They're the only
Charlotte
team.
Hornets.
Yes.
You talking about lifetime?
Lifetime.
Forever.
The Hornets. Forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Hey man, just remember they were New Orleans.
They have never, ever won a division title. And if you
No,
want to
never.
mention New Orleans, hold on. If you want to mention New Orleans, they
Not
only won it once.
no, they were the New Orleans Hornets at a point in time. Not even them.
If you want to say New
Once.
Orleans, they only won it once.
They
Okay.
won. They won as the New Orleans Jazz.
New Orleans
Yeah, they weren't
Jazz.
the Hornets. They was the Jazz.
Okay. Yo, who just
The
gave me that
Charlotte
stat?
Hornets.
Who
The
just gave that
Charlotte
stat?
Hornets.
That,
Charlotte Hornets
that
have
was Slim.
only,
Marvin.
yeah.
no, I didn't get
Oh.
that stat. I'm over here listening to Marvin thinking.
All right,
Keep going.
listen, guys.
Now
Let
who
me
gave
just
the
run
New
a couple
Orleans
stats,
Jazz
man.
stat?
Let me just run a couple stats.
It was me.
The Charlotte Hornets
Oh,
have
true.
the second less playoff appearances. They only have 10. the team with the less playoff appearances is the New Orleans Pelicans. They only have 8. But the Hornets have never won a division title.
Never. That's
And that
terrible.
lets you know, listen, that lets you know they definitely ain't never won a conference title, and they definitely ain't never won an NBA final. They have never even won their division. Now, I understand his brother's on this squad.
He's not
But
lying, bro.
what does that tell you? That
Yo, they have
organization hasn't been successful. It hasn't.
no
And then
division
I asked No Panic a couple of times, and he give me one example, and then what I'm talking about is this. Can you guys tell me any players that they really have developed? The only ones No Panic bring up are the twin brothers.
And
Miles.
You know how far
What about Miles? Did they not developing Miles?
I mean,
What's his name?
No.
he was
PJ
already
Washington. PJ
he was
Washington is developing over there.
Miles was almost averaging decent points when they got. I'm talking
Okay,
about
what about
players
PJ
like
Washington?
Jello. I'm talking about players like LaMelo. I mean,
And Book Night.
Liangelo.
And Book Night.
And even in Book Knight's case,
Devontae
I
Graham.
don't know if it's the
I don't think
injuries.
LaMelo Ball needs to develop. He just needs film study and defensive.
Liangelo.
Oh
I mean,
my
Liangelo.
God.
you don't need to develop. Yo, you're funny.
What
Every
you
player,
What
mean?
is wrong?
needs to
LaMelo
develop.
is cold, bro. He's nigga.
Hey,
Yeah, but
Slim, you
everybody
lost me,
needs
bro.
some form of development, though.
Yes.
No
You could
access
you
was
could
on
be
it.
raw. You could be raw. And you could be a raw talent. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
Access, what's up, Dex? Not a
Yeah,
hello,
salute
how
to
you doing?
everybody. Yeah, I just want to creep in,
That's what I'm
creep out.
saying.
He made
But
his intro. You didn't see it? He came in.
No, he didn't.
it was silent.
It's not. He dropped his intro, bro.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
what as in
on the
development? What
on
you
the
mean?
truth side, everybody, even though Melo's a premium talent now, we're not going
Yo,
to take anything from Melo. He entered the league as a premium talent, but
That's right.
you still need development. Everybody still need development.
can
There's
I
always
ask you
room
which
for
area?
growth.
Which area?
Which area? His
Yeah,
defense, his
that's what
footwork on defense.
Okay.
Footwork.
He need to develop
Foot speed.
on being able to meticulously attack a defense, not just tack it on just sheer talent alone. You follow what I'm saying?
Knowledge of NBA offenses.
All right, I'm cooked
Yeah.
on that. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Damn, you fall out quick, man.
I mean,
you got
if you
your
got
white
me, you
flag
got
ready.
me, dog.
Yeah, I feel you. You don't waste time on that, right?
No, I ain't gonna waste time. Move
Even
on.
MJ had to develop, bro.
Yeah.
And most of the time, you
I mean,
ain't
that's
developed
natural.
until you win a championship. I'll be
Moses
honest.
Malone.
And Slum.
Moses Malone was one of the rawest talent coming out of high school, and he still had to have some development.
A prime
Yeah,
example
when
of
I think of
development.
development, I was
Hold
thinking
on,
about
guys.
like
A prime example of development is Giannis.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
remember when
he
he first
definitely
came in the
needs to
league, he
develop.
was a little wiry, skinny. Look at him now. That's called
A monster.
development. Y'all.
Yeah,
A
I
beast.
agree with that. Giannis is developing faster than any player I've ever seen before. Like for real, for real.
It took him a minute.
Yeah,
It
it
just
take a
looks like
while.
he's
It
been
take him a
this
while.
Yeah, it took a
just
minute.
looks like
Dennis
he's been
Rodman
this
was
way
another
for a
one. You know.
Right.
But
Yeah.
him and Ben Simmons, they transformed they body. Pause. But Giannis,
Pause.
hey, Jesus Christ, bro,
Nah,
dude
Giannis
is
is the
crazy.
Giannis
He
is the
just needs to
Bro,
work
ultimate.
on
he
his shooting.
Giannis is the
Pause.
ultimate.
Giannis is an
Oh,
ultimate. He's a mirror image of how you should develop a player.
amen.
Let
And
him build, and then let him top off. He's a
yeah,
mirror image. He's a
and what
mirror image.
and what make it even more facts is that he won a chip. And mind you, he didn't do it with a bunch of all stars, man. He's
That's
probably
right.
like
No.
he's the first one in a long time to do that, man.
Yeah, they developed Chris
But
Middleton to
but
a
are
good
y'all
point
really
too.
gonna give Giannis the best player in the world title though?
I
I won't
am.
say the best player in the world.
I
No,
mean,
no,
in the league.
I
Excuse
am.
me, in the league.
Well, that
Excuse me.
title is held periodically because players get better and players get worse.
Thank you. That's
Me.
exactly what I was trying to get at.
What? Hey,
That
I am.
Giannis is not the
Best
best
I
player
player.
in the
don't.
league
The
just
get
yet.
it.
reason I say that is this, guys, is because there's never been one player. I guess a lot of people might say Jordan has started at the top and they ended at the top. But can we say that his last years in the NBA was he the best player in the NBA? I don't think so.
Talking about
No,
You
he
talking
was
about
with
the
the
Wizards?
Wizards. Ugh. I hate breaking up that part of Jordan. Yeah.
And he
You
been
know,
pretty decent with the Wizards now. He ain't like he been trash. He just been
but
He was
was
old.
he the
He
best
was
player?
just old, man, when he got with the
What?
Wizards.
He was
Yeah,
still
I'm just
cooking though, bro. Stop holding, yo. Cut it out, man. He was still
he was
cooking though.
still, but he. I didn't say he wasn't cooking. I said, was he the best player when he retired?
No.
No.
Nah,
No.
of course not.
So that's what I mean by the best player in the world comes and goes.
Exactly.
But
LeBron might not even
before we
be the
go any
best player
further,
when he
I had a
retires.
couple. I had a
Nobody's
couple
really
of
the
fun
best
facts.
player when they retire.
Since I got a couple of guys on the panel, and I just been listening and waiting till you guys come to the conclusion of y'all, discussion. Had a couple of fun facts on here. I gave mine one on my way just then. I was going to ask that little trivia. Did y'all know who was the only team who hadn't won a division? But because we were so intent on talking about LaMelo, Liangelo, I had to let you guys know about Charlotte. But I did want to ask y'all a couple of questions, if y'all don't mind.
Go ahead.
What's up?
This is just something I want to see if you guys just even realize. Because these teams here that I'm going to bring up are pretty notable teams. And some of their accolades probably wouldn't be or maybe more or less than what you guys think.
Right.
First of all, first question is this. Do you guys know how many NBA titles the Los Angeles Clippers have?
Zero.
Y'all all agree it's zero?
I mean, shit, I ain't that old, but I mean, if you're talking about the current state of the Clippers, that's
I
what
said,
say.
I
how
think
many
it's like one.
NBA titles? NBA titles.
They ain't got no banners. I'm pretty sure they don't
Yeah,
got
I would
banners,
say
right?
zero. If they been called something else 80 years ago, then maybe I'm not 80, but like
I'm gonna say
60 years ago,
one,
maybe.
but
I'm
they
gonna be
wasn't
shocked if
called the
I'm wrong.
All right.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
say
shocked.
one,
Before
but
I
they
give
wasn't called the
hold on,
Clippers.
before I give you guys the answer,
Put it down.
before I give you
All right, Flight.
Pull up. Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him. You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV. Like I said, Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.